about you. Besides, Mr. Xiao has 4 beast girls at home who are as beautiful as you. He must have become immune to beautiful women. How could he be unable to walk when seeing a beautiful woman? Xiao Yi smiled. Uncle Yi still understands me. Seeing Yi Zier still hiding behind the sofa, Yi Tai personally went over to bring her over, and forcibly placed her in front of Xiao Yi, saying expectantly, Mr. Xiao, what do you need to do to diagnose the condition? My daughter will fully cooperate with you, and Yi will also fully assist you. Wu Qingzu looked at him with doubt. What could he really see? Yun Bing's beautiful eyes were shining. She guessed that Xiao Yi was already confident. Just like he was at the beginning. Xiao Yi raised his hand and grabbed Yi Zier's white and tender little hand, squeezing it gently, feeling the flesh and the delicateness of the skin. Swish, it was the first time that Yi Zier was touched like this by someone of the same age. Her pretty face turned red all the way to her ears. Xiao Yi pinched his fair little hands, frowned, looked worried, and raised his eyebrows from time to time, as if he was really observing the condition of the patient. In fact, he was just pretending he already knew what the physical problem was and how to solve it. Everyone just watched quietly as Xiao Yi continued to pinch the tender little white hand. The more Mu Qingzu looked, the more she felt that Xiao Yi was taking advantage. Yun Bing didn't think there was anything wrong. Yi Tai's attention was on Xiao Yi's expression. Watching Xiao Yi frown, look worried, and raise his eyebrows, which made him feel very nervous. 10 minutes later, Xiao Yi had had enough fun. No, he felt that the time was almost up. So he let go of Yi Zier's red little hand, put his hands behind his back, and said to Yi Tai with a serious expression, It's very difficult. There are almost no good solutions. Yi Tai's eyes lit up, and he said happily, Mr. Xiao, according to what you said, is there a solution to Xier's physical problem? Xiao Yi replied, Yes. Yi Tai was overjoyed and said in surprise, Zier, your physical problem can be cured. Yi Zier smiled happily, her eyes squinting like a crescent moon. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and his expression was in vain. He could only speak out, Uncle Yi, Miss Yi's physical problem is due to the leakage of 2 kinds of rule power caused by the template problem. One is the power of auspicious rules, and the other is the power of cursed rules. Anyone who comes into contact with your daughter may be contaminated by the power of curse and become cursed, or may be contaminated by the power of auspiciousness and become blessed. It's not what you said. Contact with Miss Yi will only bring bad luck. Everyone was shocked when they heard this. Yi Tai's eyes widened. Yi Zier opened her mouth wide. There are actually 2 kinds of rule powers. People who come into contact with her will not only be lucky, but may also be lucky. Ah, Yi Tai slapped his thigh. He comes into contact with Yi Zier every day, and when he looks closely, it's true. I was wondering why I was so lucky. Sometimes when I encountered a problem, it was solved by itself before I could do anything, but sometimes I was so unlucky that even drinking water would get stuck in my teeth. It turns out that Zier has 2 completely opposite fortunes. That's how it is. Wu Qingzu looked at Xiao Yi with surprise, and looked him up and down carefully. She felt that Xiao Yi was becoming more and more mysterious. She became more and more curious about him, and fell deeper into his trap. Xiao Yi smiled and said, At present, there are 2 solutions. First, to completely solve your daughter's physical condition problem, you need to fate rule fragment crystals. Second, temporarily solve the physical problem and make your daughter normal within a week. I need to use secret massage combined with special means to calm and eliminate the disordered power in your daughter's body. Yi Tai was overjoyed when he heard this. He couldn't stop smiling. All the shackles in his heart were loose and he clasped his fists and praised. Mr. Xiao is a man of great talent. He has such instincts at such a young age. He is thousands of times better than those so-called medical families. He admires him very much. Rule fragment crystals are resources for Saint Rome cultivation. The creation type is the basic type of rules. My ancestor should have some. I will ask him for them now. He opened a circular halo space channel and entered the small world. A minute later, he came out covered in dust and said in disappointment, My ancestor is seriously injured and in seclusion. I'm afraid it will take some time for him to come out. Mr. Xiao, can you temporarily solve my daughter's physical problem? After my ancestor comes out of retreat, I will apply for the fortune-like rule fragment crystals to completely cure Xier's template problem. A corner of Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. The ancestor of the Yi family was kicked hard by Tang Hao and kicked from a height of 10,000 meters into the ground. Was he seriously injured? Of course, no problem, Xiao Yi replied with a smile. And please take off all your clothes and wait for me on the bed, Miss Yi Zier. Chapter 298 Solving Yi Zier's Physical Defects. Yi Tai was very happy and urged, Zier, just follow Mr. Xiao's instructions and cooperate with him to the fullest. The moon is shining brightly. Yi Zier blushed with shame and whispered, Dad, he asked me, to wait for him in bed. The medical masters who treated me in the past never asked me to take off my clothes. Yi Tai scolded, Can those quacks be compared with Mr. Xiao? Zier, go quickly. Don't be ashamed. Mr. Xiao is here to help you solve your physical problems, not to take advantage of you. Easier whispered. Is it not okay for me to go? She walked towards the bedroom with awkward steps. When they were halfway there, Itai said again. Wait, go take a shower first after you've washed yourself clean. Let Mr. Xiao treat you, so that your sweat odor won't affect the treatment. Easier was a little annoyed when she heard this. She clenched her fists and retorted a little aggrieved lie. Dad, I just took a shower last week, and I didn't sweat. My body smells good. Not bad. Itai had a blank expression on his face. Do you still want to cure your physical problem? Of course I do. Easier pouted and had to walk into the bathroom obediently and start taking a bath. Itai smiled and said to Xiaoyi, Mr. Xiao, if you need any resources and materials, I will prepare them right away. Xiaoyi waved his hand and said, no need for that. I can do it alone. Itai's eyes lit up, and he admired Xiaoyi even more in his heart, praising him from the bottom of his heart. Mr. Xiao is a man of talent. He is not from a medical family, but he is better than all the medical families. If those great medical experts come, it's common for them to put on airs and show off their displeasure, asking for this or that. There are very few people with medical ethics. Mu Qingzu and Yunbing looked at Xiaoyi with some resentment. Both of them had experienced the scene of being massaged by Xiaoyi. Although Xiaoyi did not want to take advantage, he still took the biggest advantage. Half an hour later, the bathroom door opened and Yi Ziar, wearing a cartoon pajamas, walked out in the white mist. 3,000 black hairs were scattered on her shoulders. Her delicate face was rosy and tender, her pure big eyes revealed nervousness and fear, and she walked out step by step. This picture of a beauty emerging from the bath left both Mu Qingzu and Yunbing stunned. I was moved by what I saw. Oh no, Xiaoyi won't have another beast girl, will he? Easier and Xiaoyi were both pushed into the bedroom by Yitai. The bedroom door was closed and locked by Yitai. He shouted from outside, Ziar, cooperate with Mr. Xiao fully. No matter what he asks you to do, you must cooperate fully. This is about whether your physical condition can be resolved on. Be petty and don't be shy. In the bedroom, Eziar's pretty face was pink, and she was stared at by Xiaoyi as he was a little embarrassed and whispered, can you turn around? I want to take off my clothes. I dare not change my mind if you keep watching me. Of course. Xiaoyi turned his head. After 2 or 3 seconds, there was a rustling sound. 2 minutes later, Eziar's somewhat nervous and pleasant voice rang out, Mr. Xiao, I'm ready, you go ahead. Xiaoyi took out the Xuan Huang gem, extracted the template adjuster and provided the massage secret method as a temporary solution for Eziar, then looked up and down at Eziar. The massage secrets are slightly different for each person's physical defects, so he needs to familiarize himself with them first, rehearse them in his mind a few times, and finally put them into practice before he can get the hang of it. Being stared at by Xiaoyi, Eziar's pretty face turned red. Her whole face was red. She took the pillow to cover her blushing and shy face, and asked nervously, is it pretty? Xiaoyi replied subconsciously, it looks good. And she was smoking with shyness. 10 minutes later, Xiaoyi finally finished the rehearsal and felt that he was able to get the hang of it. He moved the pillow that Eziar had placed on her face, looked directly into her big eyes, and said, this pillow is in the way, I'll take it away. Next, I'm going to start the secret massage. Eziar was stunned when Xiaoyi's handsome face came into view. Okay. Then Xiaoyi started directly according to the steps of the secret massage method. The skin is very tender, and feels smooth and soft. There are 128 acupoints on both sides of the 12 main meridians, 52 ren and du acupoints, 160 extra meridian acupoints, and 72 points in the radial area. As Xiaoyi connected one acupuncture point after another in the human body, mysterious runes emerged from the void and were imprinted on Eziar's body. The mysterious runes possessed a mysterious unknown power, which drew out the unstable power of rules hidden deep in Eziar's genes. The Xuan Huang gem radiated light, constantly absorbing the power of the riot rules that were drawn out. The power of auspicious rules and the power of curse rules. Xiaoyi massaged the parts of the body from the head to the torso, to the limbs, and then to the feet. After all the acupuncture points of the human body in the secret method were completely connected according to special steps and special routes, Eziar's body was already covered with runes. Under the effect of the mysterious runes, strands of the power of riot rules continue to emerge from. If the power of these riot rules is allowed to dissipate, I am afraid that the city lord's mansion will become a forbidden area that cannot be set foot in. But the rule levels Xuan Huang gem emitted light, and absorbed it completely the moment the riot rule power appeared. Just like that, an hour later, Xiaoyi stopped his movements, sweat dripping down his forehead. He put away the Xuan Huang gemstone and looked at Eziar and said, this stable state can last for about a week if you don't practice or fight. Okay, this treatment is over. Your physical problem has been temporarily solved. After saying that, Xiaoyi walked towards the bedroom door without looking back and wanted to go out, but the door was locked. 1 minute later, Xiaoyi walked out of the bedroom, closed the door, and ran into Yitai, who was waiting anxiously. Yitai hurried forward and asked, Mr. Xiao, what's the situation? Xiao Yi smiled, with my help, Miss Yi's limb problems were naturally solved, she was no different from a normal person within a week. Yitai was overjoyed and did not doubt Xiao Yi's words, he held Xiao Yi's hand and kept going to express his gratitude. Everyone could clearly feel the gratitude on his face. Thank you, Mr. Xiao. Mr. Xiao is a great talent, a great talent. From now on, Mr. Xiao is the great benefactor of our Yi family, and the guest of honor of our Yi family for generations. Mr. Xiao, if you need any reward, just ask for it. As long as I have it, I will definitely give it to you. Xiao Yi waved his hand and said, I have already received the reward, you just have to go against the family rules and send us into the Bronze Palace. At this time, Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu attacked from behind and pulled Xiao Yi to the corner. Mu Qingzu put her hands on her hips and asked, Is she older than me? Xiao Yi recalled and nodded. Mu Qingzu glared with her beautiful eyes. Yun Bing smiled and said, Does it feel good to touch you? Is it more comfortable to massage me or Yizr? Xiao Yi pointed at the sweat on his forehead and complained. It's not comfortable at all. I'm really tired. I'm sweating. Are you blind? Chapter 299 Promise. The two women looked at his forehead at the same time, and sure enough, that broad forehead was covered with fine and dense beads of sweat. Xiao Yi complained, Did you see it? Okay, we get it. Really, you don't even wipe off all the sweat. Mu Qingzu took out a handkerchief from her bosom and threw it to Xiao Yi. Hurry up and wipe off the sweat. A handkerchief was thrown on his face. Xiao Yi smelled the fragrance and couldn't help but sniff it twice. He touched his forehead roughly twice, threw the handkerchief back to Mu Qingzu, and asked curiously, This handkerchief smells good, did you spray perfume on it? Mu Qingzu took back the handkerchief, raised her head and said proudly, Do I need to spray perfume? That's body fragrance. I used the handkerchief to wipe my feet. Xiao Yi's face darkened. Yun Bing chuckled and rolled her eyes. This trip is over, we should go back. At this time, Yizr and Yitai, wearing fairy-like white wide-sleeve dresses, walked over. Both of them had joyful smiles on their faces and were very happy. Xiao Yi asked, Miss Yi, how do you feel? Yizr's cute little face was very happy. I didn't feel anything special, but my father sensed it, and the vague threat from me disappeared. I can live like a normal person from now on. Xiao Yi smiled, In that case, Uncle Yi. Miss Yi, we'll take our leave now, we'll see you again if we're lucky. After saying that, Yun Bing opened a spacecraft channel and was about to take Xiao Yi and Mu Qingzu to leave Jinling City and return to the Demon City base city. The moment Xiao Yi stepped into the spacecraft, Yizr shouted, Xiao Yi, I will repay you. Xiao Yi jokingly replied, How do you repay me? Will you pledge your love to me? The magnetic voice echoed in the villa, and he stepped into the space channel and disappeared. Yizr's face turned red, and she thought to herself, You have seen me naked, I am no longer innocent, it is not impossible for me to marry you. Yitai laughed. Zr, if you like him, marrying him is also a good choice. The template problem can be solved. You don't have to marry the young master of the Yi family in the imperial capital. Yizr became thoughtful. The other side. Villa No. 2 in the No. 1 Lakeview Villa District, the villa of the vice president. There was a tearing sound on the open space on the first floor. And a pitch-black space cracked 2 meters high and half a meter wide appeared. Yun Bing, Xiao Yi, Mu Qingzu and the other two walked out of it. When she got back here, Yun Bing slapped her head and said in surprise, Oh, by the way, where is my sister? She didn't even show up at the wedding yesterday. Does she still care about me, her twin sister? That powerful high-level supreme divine thought swept out and directly penetrated into Villa No. 1, which was not far from Villa No. 2. But before she could see the situation inside clearly, her divine thought was bounced out. Yun Bing felt a little resentful and snorted. What is Yun Shi doing? Why is he so mysterious? No, I have to go and see. Sister Yun Shi is trying to reach the Saint Realm. Xiao Yi held her back and said, Don't disturb her. Yun Bing's eyes widened. Saint Realm? Didn't she just advance to Quasi-Saint Realm? Mu Qingzu was also very surprised. If she remembered correctly, Supreme Yun Shi was at the same level as her father Mu Cheng. Not long ago he broke through to the Quasi-Saint Realm. In recent days she was able to reach the Saint Realm so quickly. Yun Bing narrowed his eyes, revealing a sharp gleam, and stared at Xiao Yi dangerously, interrogating him. Xiao Yi, did you secretly upgrade my sister's template? That's why her breakthrough speed is so abnormal. Have you been spying on my sister for a long time? And want to take us both down? Okay, stop messing around. I got some rare resources from the Bronze Palace that can improve the secret method of upgrading the template. After you upgrade the template, your cultivation realm will remain the same. Hearing this, Mu Qingzu and Yun Bing were overjoyed, especially Yun Bing, who immediately forgot about Yun Shi's matter and asked in surprise, Are you telling the truth? Xiao Yi nodded. Looking at that handsome face, Yun Bing took a step forward, gave him a lip print on the left cheek, and said, Xiao Yi, you are so great, I love you so much. Wu Qingzu was not to be outdone. She gently waved her hand on his right cheek. Then said proudly, seeing how hard you worked to conquer the Bronze Palace, this is a reward for you just this once. I don't really want to kiss you. Xiao Yi touched his face and immediately took out the universe level, origin of order energy body from the system space. This energy body has no shape and is chaotic. Here, look, this is it. Xiao Yi raised the energy body in his hand. Wu Qingzu and Yun Bing were bewildered. They could not see what was in his hand at all. They only saw him waving his empty right hand as if he was holding something. Nothing. That's right, even I, a high-level supreme being, can't see it. And my divine sense can't scan it. Ah, Xiao Yi was a little stunned and looked at the irregular chaotic energy body in his hand. How could he not see it so conspicuous? Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he said, maybe your level is too low, just like when you meet it. You can't see it, touch it, catch it, or subdue it. He clapped his hands and sent the irregular energy body into the system space, moving it towards the universe level, template adjuster in the system space, and issued instructions to integrate the origin of order and improve the template upgrade function. Template adjuster function in progress. Exploration function, can detect template information. Extraction function, can extract rule fragments of templates in Warcraft bodies. Template repair function, repair any defective template. Template upgrade function. Use resources to upgrade template level. Functions being improved, 1 to 4. Looking at the progress bar slowly growing, Xiao Yi was very satisfied. He only needed to wait for a while. We have obtained the time rule fragments, and the next is the reincarnation rule fragments. Wu Qingzu smiled with a sad face and said, but magical beasts with attributes like reincarnation are as rare as magical beasts with attributes like time. Where can they exist in this era? Yun Bing frowned and thought. I know where it is. The 4 super families in the imperial capital have these rare magical beasts in captivity. But I have never interacted with the 4 major families in the imperial capital. I don't have any connections in this area. It is almost impossible to ask them to open the small world for us to go in and kill a few monsters. Wu Qingzu bit her lower lip with silver teeth and said, then don't upgrade my template yet, upgrade sister Yun Bing's template first. As for the reincarnation attribute monsters, we'll wait a little longer. Yun Bing said helplessly, this is the only way. Then, Xiao Yi opened the circular halo door, which was the portal to the realm space of the Holy Spirit secret realm. In a mountain range on the edge of the Holy Spirit secret realm. In the south, Xiao Yi and the other 2 appeared. This is the base camp of space-type monsters, where for 500 of them live. Chapter 300 Harvesting Space Rule Fragment Crystals. Space Gibbon, Space Ape, Space Monkey King. Several species of monkeys have spatial attributes. After these space-type monsters were captured by Yun Shi from the Mu family's land, they re-established their base camp here and lived and reproduced here. The appearance of Xiao Yi and the other 2 broke the peace of the monkeys, making them restless and uneasy. The monkey guards immediately reported to the Monkey King, and the order team surrounded them in circles, encircling Xiao Yi and the other 2 3 or 4 times. Wu Qingzu looked at these orderly and nimble space monsters with a complicated expression. These all used to belong to her family. Xiao Yi used his spatial perception to sense it and said, there are more than 100 Grand Masters in the monkey group. More than 200 Venerable S, 70 to 80 Great Venerable S, and 9 Monkey Kings and Elder Monkeys at the peak of the Great Venerable. There are about 500 of them in total. We only need to kill 30 to 40 Grandmaster level monsters. The 3 of them ignored the monkey group's orderly encirclement and believed that there was no threat. But these monkeys did not launch an attack immediately. Roar! 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 Suddenly the monkeys dispersed, making way for a path. 9 Monkey Kings and Monkey Elders at the peak of the Great Venerable realm climbed over. Dear Supreme Lord, welcome to the monkey base camp. The Monkey King clasped his front limbs like a human and spoke politely in human language. The 8 Monkey Elders also clasped their fists and followed suit, saying in human language, respected Supreme Lord, welcome to the monkey base camp. Yun Bing sneered, looked at the Great Venerable realm order team that was packed with people, and said in a cold voice, is this your way of welcoming people? A Monkey King waved his hand and asked the order team to disperse, but the great monkeys in the order team were a little restless and did not retreat immediately. Roar! The Monkey King roared. The orderly team gradually went away and left here, but not far away in the jungle trees and in the grass. They were staring at this place with sharp eyes. Last time, Xiao Yi brought Yun Shi here and killed several space monkeys, which made these monkeys dislike humans. Your Majesty, welcome to the monkey base camp. Please move to the tree hall. We will treat you well. The Monkey King clasped his fists. Yun Shi and Yun Bing are twin sisters who look exactly the same. These monkeys mistake Yun Bing for Yun Shi. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. The Monkey King was so polite that it made it difficult for him to kill the monkey beast. However, the space-type monster monkey must be killed, and he must obtain the space-type rule fragments. Yun Bing snorted coldly, no need. We are not here as guests. I need 50 Grandmaster level monkeys. Do you want to hand them over yourself, or should I catch them? The Monkey King was stunned and said nothing. The Monkey Elder was indignant and angry. 50? There are only 500 of us in the tribe. 50 this time, and 100 next time, King. We will fight her to the death. Yes, so what if she is the supreme? Let's attack together. She will be skinned alive if she doesn't die. They are all spatial properties. Let us seal off the space and kill these two adulterers. The Monkey King shouted coldly. Shut up. The noisy noise suddenly became silent. The Monkey King took a deep breath, and said with a frustrated and angry look, find the disabled, sick, and stupid monkeys in the tribe, gather 50 of them, and give them to the Supreme Lord. From the moment we were captured here, we had to be prepared to be kept in captivity and slaughtered. Your extreme ideas will only lead to the extinction of the monkey group all at once. The 8 monkey elders at the peak of the great venerable realm were very agitated, and 2 or 3 of them pounced directly towards Xiao Yi and Mu Qingzu. Tear! Yunbing waved his hand and used his innate skill Space Blade Free Invisible. Colorless and delusive Space Blade slashed across and directly split the 3 great venerable monkey elders in half. Fresh blood filled with a pungent smell splattered everywhere, engulfing the Monkey King and other monkey elders. Yunbing waved his hand, and the red blood that was spraying was blocked by the space barrier. The Monkey King and the monkey elders looked stunned. Kill in one move, how is that possible? Is the Supreme so powerful? Just because there is a realm between us, is it destined to be insurmountable? They were angry, sad, and frightened. They were frightened by Yunbing's strength, and also afraid that they would be killed by the poisonous hand and split in half and die instantly. Xiao Yi activated the extraction function of the template adjuster. The 6 pieces of the corpse that were split in half on the ground were eventually turned into powder and dissipated into the air under the effect of the extraction force. Great Venerable Realm Space-type Magical Beast, successfully extracted for Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. Great Venerable Realm Space-type Magical Beast, successfully extracted to Creation Type into Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. Great Venerable Realm Space-type Magical Beast, successfully extracted 1 Creation Type 3 Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. A Grandmaster level monster can extract 1. A Grandmaster level monster can extract 2. A Venerable level monster can extract 3, and a Grand Venerable level monster can extract 4. Monsters in ordinary levels cannot withstand the force of extraction and cannot extract. The 3 great Venerable level monsters extracted a total of 3 Creation Type and 9 Space-type Rule Fragment Crystals. Yunbing looked at the angry Monkey King and Monkey Elder and said impatiently, it seems you had made your choice very good. After saying that, Yunbing waved his hand, and the Space Teleport talent skill was activated. 50 Grandmaster level space monkeys were teleported directly to the front, and the space was blocked by space solidification, making them unable to move. The Monkey King looked at these monkeys anxiously. Some of these monkeys were very talented. Some were strong and powerful, and some were the offspring of the elders. Thinking of the fate of these monkeys, the Monkey King wailed in pain and the monkey elders were extremely sad and angry. Space solidification, make the space fall into a quagmire, slow down and imprison the enemy according to the difference in strength. Yunbing directly blocked the space. Even if they were at the peak of the great venerable realm, they could not move at all. Even if they had spatial attributes, they could not break free from the spatial blockade of the high-level Supreme. Xiao Ya, now we have 50 magical beasts, what should we do next? Yunbing asked curiously. Xiao Yi replied, just chop them up. Is that all that matters? Yunbing widened her beautiful eyes in surprise. Could she obtain the space rule fragment crystals? You know, as a high-level Supreme being, she almost lost her life in the chaotic space before she successfully condensed to rule fragment crystals. Space Blade talent skill is activated. A 50-meter-long space blade was condensed, and Yunbing waved his hand and chopped towards the 50 space monkeys. 50 monster heads shot up into the sky, and blood spurted out like a column of water dozens of meters high. Xiao Yi immediately activated the extraction function of the template adjuster. Under the influence of the extraction force, the bodies became dilapidated, the smell of decay spread, and finally they turned into powder and disappeared. Grandmaster level space-type monster, successfully extracted to space-type rule fragment crystals. Grandmaster level space-type monster, successfully extracted 1 good fortune type and 1 space-type rule fragment crystal. Grandmaster level space-type monster. A total of 76 space-type and 24 creation-type rule fragment crystals were extracted. At this time, Xiao Yi already owned 85 space-type ones. 85 pieces, far more than the 50 pieces needed to upgrade the template. Chapter 301. The function was successfully improved, an unexpected surprise. All the heads exploded. Such a cruel method made the Monkey King and the Monkey Elders' eyes burst and their backs chilled. Not even a corpse was left behind. The people died without a burial place, which made the Monkey King and the Monkey Elders both angry and scared. Yunbing said expressionlessly, I have given you a chance. If you are kept in captivity, you must be prepared to be kept in captivity. The monkeys in the Beast Girl era are mutated monsters. They have no origin relationship with humans and no blood connection. They are two completely different races. As a human, Yun Bing will not show mercy to the monsters. At the border, alien monsters are invading the territory of Dragon Kingdom all the time. Many brave and selfless soldiers are sacrificed on the Dragon Kingdom's defense line every day and die at the claws of monsters. In the Beast Girl era, humans and monsters are in natural opposition. Xiao Yi took a step forward and said, "From now on, you monkeys must increase the number of matings, increase the fertility rate, and strive to double the number of monkeys within a year. In the Holy Spirit secret realm, you don't have to worry about being invaded by other magical beasts. Just focus on mating and giving birth to little monkeys." The Monkey King and the Monkey Elders were still in anger and fear, so they were not able to listen. Yun Bing snorted coldly. The sound was not loud, but it echoed in the ears of the Monkey King and the Monkey Elder, striking their souls and making them wake up suddenly. "What? Do you want me to reiterate it again?" Yun Bing threatened in a cold voice, sensing that the restraining force around him was getting tighter and tighter, and that if it got any tighter, his life would be in danger. The Monkey Elder's hair stood on end, and he quickly responded, "We will do what the adults say." The Monkey King also responded, "From now on, the survival strategy of the monkey group has changed. Mating and reproduction are the main focus, and cultivation is secondary. Whoever gives birth to more offspring will have a higher status." After that, the Monkey King looked embarrassed again and said, "My lord, the fertility rate of the monkey group is not high. Even if we try our best to have babies, it is impossible to double it in 1 year." Xiao Yi smiled, "Don't worry, Zuer will prepare drugs to increase your reproductive success rate and aphrodisiacs to increase the number of matings. It's okay if the offspring you give birth to can be promoted to the Grandmaster level." The Monkey King clasped his fists and thanked him. "Thank you, sir." The Monkey Elders responded one by one. "Thank you, sir." Mu King Zu's pretty face turned red with embarrassment. Why did she have to prepare those indecent things? She approached Xiao Yi, grabbed the soft flesh on his waist and pinched it hard, saying unhappily, "I don't know anything about this. How can I prepare it if you ask me to do it?" Xiao Yi scratched his head and smiled. "You have experienced the effects of aphrodisiacs, so you should know which one is more effective. Drugs that increase fertility should be similar. Have you ever tried aphrodisiacs?" Wu Qingzu thought of the underground crystal mine, and the time she begged Xiao Yi to detoxify her. Her pretty face suddenly turned red, and her delicate face was flushed. She glared with her beautiful eyes and said, "I'll just go find it." "Why are you mentioning that?" "Really?" Then Yun Bing removed the space solidification, allowing the world to return to normal. She then went to several other locations of this huge mountain range and warned the captured monsters not to start a war. After finishing these things, Xiao Yi took out the Quasi-Emperor level and Quasi-Rule level Bronze Palace and activated the Dimensional World recording function. And he used the authority of the Holy Spirit secret realm to prevent them from resisting. The small Bronze Palace flew high into the sky and returned to its original size. The tower had a diameter of 10,000 meters and a height of 1 million meters. The Bronze Palace hummed and emitted a gentle power, which spread out and enveloped the entire Holy Spirit secret realm. The Bronze Palace jumped out of the small world and came into the void space. In the void space, a Holy Spirit secret realm is just a small spot of light, and the Bronze Palace directly captures and absorbs the small spot of light. The small world was successfully included and became the 9th level dimensional world of the Bronze Palace. The original 9th level tower top became the 10th level. Xiao Yi is still in the Holy Spirit secret realm, but the Holy Spirit secret realm has been included in the Bronze Palace. Just now, the three of them only felt the world shaking, and the movement lasted only a few tenths of a second. Yun Bing sensed the spatial node and was surprised to find that the Holy Spirit secret realm was no longer on the blue star, but in a high tower. It's worthy of being the Bronze Palace. It can even capture small worlds, she sighed. Xiao Yi waved his hand, and a blue light gate appeared. The three of them passed through the blue light gate of the Bronze Palace and came to the void space in the mezzanine of the blue star space. In this empty space, everything is empty, there is no material existence, and you can't see anything at a glance. There is only a tall tower emitting a mysterious glow. Xiao Yi raised his hand, and the tall tower automatically shrank into a delicate, palm-sized small tower floating above his palm. He smiled and said, "From now on, no one can force their way into the Holy Spirit secret realm from here. They can only find the Bronze Palace and break through the Quasi-Emperor level perfect Bronze Palace's defenses to enter the Holy Spirit secret realm. I don't even know if there are any strong people in this world who can break through the defense of a Quasi-Emperor level perfect spiritual weapon." Then, Yun Bing, the high-level supreme being, tore open a space crack and brought the two back to Villa No, 2 in the No. 1 Lakeview Villa District. Back in the villa, Yun Bing came up, her beautiful eyes looking forward, and she stretched out her hand and said, "Xiao Yi, where are the space rule fragment crystals? Take them out and have a look." Xiao Yi smiled and said, "You want to see my big baby?" Yun Bing nodded. "Yeah. I'll see." Mu Qingzu also came over. Xiao Yi took out two space-type rule fragment crystals and two time-type rule fragment crystals, handed them to Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu respectively, and said with a smile, "To each for you." Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu accepted them with joy, holding them in their fair hands and examining them carefully. Space type and time type, one exudes the mysterious power of space rules, and the other exudes the mysterious power of time rules. When the two forces of rules collided, Xiao Yi discovered that the small piece of space and time was actually distorted, as if there was a great terror, which made people instinctively take a step back. "Don't get so close to each other, you two." Xiao Yi pushed away Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu, who were huddled together. The two of them did not notice the distorted time and space, and moved away with a puzzled look on their faces from their surprised and delighted eyes. It can be seen that they liked the two different types of regular fragment crystals very much. Template Adjuster 100 functional. Template Adjuster function successfully improved. Extraction function. You can select any attribute type of rule fragments from the monster and extract them. Template upgrade function. After the template is upgraded, the original state is retained, but it consumes a huge amount of energy. When the information entered his mind, Xiao Yi was overjoyed. This time, the function improvement not only improves the template upgrade function, but also improves the rule fragment extraction function. In the future, after the template is upgraded, the realm will not be lowered, and when extracting rule fragments, he can choose which type of rule fragments to extract. For example, there are time type, wood type, earth type and destruction type on the ancient demon tree. If he wants to extract time type rule fragment crystals, he will only extract this type and will not extract rule fragment crystals of other attributes. Of course, he is free to choose whether to extract 2 or even more. Chapter 300 to Xiao Yi, stand up and step on it. Of course, how many rule fragment crystals of the same type can be extracted depends on the level of the Warcraft template and the number and types of rule fragments in the template. Sister Yun Bing, your template is only missing the fragments of dark attribute rules. When do you want to upgrade the template? Xiao Yi asked. Yun Bing asked back, won't my realm be reset to 0 after upgrading the template? Mu Qingzu put the time rule fragment crystal in her arms and looked over curiously. Xiao Yi raised his lips and said, it depends on your attitude. If I'm in a good mood, I can figure out a way to keep my realm. But if I'm in a bad mood, it may not be the case. Yun Bing rolled her eyes at him, with a half smile in her eyes, as if she had seen through Xiao Yi's thoughts. Mu Qingzu suddenly realized and made up her mind to treat Xiao Yi well. The dark attribute monsters are in the monster forest, the training base of our school. Let's go there now. Yun Bing opened a space channel. Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu couldn't wait to step into the space passage. Xiao Yi's legs were rooted to the ground and he didn't move. He crossed his arms over his chest and said, my feet are numb and I can't walk anymore. You guys go ahead. The two women paused and turned back in unison, their mouths twitching. You are the first person in the venerable realm to have cramps in your legs for no reason. How come you are even more arrogant than me, really? Xiao Yi simply replied, my feet are numb. Mu Qingzu walked over and squatted in front of him. She raised her tender white hands and grabbed Xiao Yi's calves, massaging them vigorously with her white fingers. After pressing for a while, Mu Qingzu raised her little face, blinked her beautiful big crystal clear eyes, and asked, are your feet still numb? Xiao Yi looked down at her and replied, put on the maid outfit and give me a massage. Then my feet won't be numb anymore. Mu Qingzu thought about the scene of herself wearing a maid outfit, her beautiful eyes widened, and she shook her head violently. No. How could a TS underage girl like her wear such a shameful maid outfit? Xiao Yi looked at Yun Bing and asked curiously, then will you wear it? Yun Bing was speechless. He came back and suddenly raised his long white legs, drew an arc and kicked out, hitting his drum and pushing him into the space crack. Clapping his hands, Yun Bing smiled and said, done. Mu Qingzu was stunned. Then, the two of them followed into the space channel, the other side, the center of the 10 academies in the Magic City. The training base headquarters is in the Warcraft forest, somewhere in the north of the Warcraft forest. It will be noon soon, when the sun's rays are the strongest. This is the best time for us to break into the dark attribute monster's lair. Are you all ready? Boss, get ready. Once we capture this monster nest, our Kunpeng Academy will be ranked first in the points ranking. Isn't tight? The first place this month belongs to our Kunpeng Academy. In the bushes, 12 talented students, concealing their figures and breath, or staring intently at the tree hole of the huge ancient tree. I'll count to 3. When you count to 3, we'll immediately rush into the tree hole and kill the dark attribute chameleon monster. Someone spoke. The others immediately responded, no problem, we'll listen to the boss, we believe in the boss's plan. The man whispered, 1, 2. When the count reached 2, the space crack appeared in front of the tree hole of the huge ancient tree, and the dark air emitted a terrifying aura. Damn, A man flew out from the space crack in a dog-crawling style and almost fell flat on his face. Fortunately, he had good skills and landed beautifully with a backflip. "You are such a jerk, Yun Bing. You have no moral principles," he cursed. The person counting stopped talking abruptly. "Who is this handsome guy? He looks very familiar to me. I also think I've seen him somewhere. I remember. This is Xiaoshen, the one who ranked first on the Tianjiaui list. Wow, it's him. Why is Xiaoshen here? Is he going to snatch the magic beast from us?" The man who was counting said. It turned out to be Xiaoshen. "Everyone, stay still and see what he is going to do." Just as Xiaoyi was cursing, two long legs stretched out from the crack in space. With perfect leg shape and beautiful curves, followed by a curvy body and a slightly underdeveloped body, and finally two beautiful and delicate faces. One is a mature lady. The other is a pure girl full of youthfulness. Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu. Wow, it's the goddess vice president. I actually met the supreme goddess Vice Dean here, my dream goddess. I'm so excited. The one next to the goddess is also very beautiful, but a little flat. The talented students of Kunpeng Academy who were hiding in the bushes were very happy and excited, just like fans meeting a goddess Sora superstar. Xiao Yi noticed them, but ignored them instead. He pointed at Yun Bing and said, "I'll stand up and kick at night." Yun Bing shrugged, indicating that she understood and said, "You can kick it however you want. But now it's important to obtain upgrade resources, don't think about those extra things." Wu Qingzu had a puzzled look on her face. "What were you kicking?" Yun Bing's divine sense swept out, penetrating into the trees and underground, and discovered the locations of the dark attributed chameleon monsters sleeping in the tree holes and underground caves at once. Space teleportation. Long-distance teleportation space solidification to talent skills are activated. She took immediate action and captured all the dark attribute chameleon monsters that slept during the day and were active at night, and imprisoned them in front of the tree hole of the huge ancient tree. Swish, 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 swish. One by one, the sleeping monsters appeared and piled up in front of the tree hole. Within 10 seconds, a huge pile of about 120 of them had formed. The highest realm was at the peak of the Grand Master realm. The average realm was 6 stars in the Grand Master realm, and the lowest realm was 9 stars in the Mortal realm, which was the 9th level in the Mortal realm. "That's it," Xiao Yi said. Yun Bing nodded and used space compression to crush all the monsters into meat patties, with blood splattering all over the ground. Xiao Yi activated the extraction function of the template adjuster. Select to extract only dark attribute fragment crystals. The extraction power of the supreme being descended, and the corpse of the meat pie that had just died began to twitch. Emitting a foul smell, the body became broken and then disintegrated into pieces. The pieces quickly decomposed into powder and finally dissipated in the air. Grandmaster level dark attribute monster successfully extracted 128 dark rule fragment crystals. Xiao Yi made an okay gesture. Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu were overjoyed. The goal was achieved. But the space crack was still there, so Xiao Yi urged the two women to step in. Just when Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu stepped into the space crack, Xiao Yi saw the right opportunity. Jumped up and kicked out with both feet. Snap, snap. He kicked the two girls hard on their buttocks. Damn, ouch. Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu staggered and fell directly into the space passage. Xiao Yi's face was filled with smiles, and he walked into the space crack with contentment. This scene was witnessed by the Kunpeng Jiaoyi who were hiding in the bushes. They all widened their eyes in disbelief and said in shock, "Fuck. Xiaoshen is really brave. That's the supreme goddess Vice Dean. How does it feel to kick her?" I seem to hear Xiaoshen say something about standing up and kicking. Wow, that couldn't be what I understood. Chapter 303 Contrasting Women's Clothing. Yun Bing. To upgrade the SSS level space Kunpeng template, you need 50 creation rule fragment crystals, 50 dark attribute rule fragment crystals, and 50 space rule fragment crystals, and 50 space rule fragment crystals. But this is an upgrade condition before the template adjuster function is fully functional. After returning to Yun Bing's vice president's villa, Xiao Yi used the template adjuster to explore Yun Bing's template and check the template upgrade conditions. Mythical Space King Kunpeng template upgrade conditions. Check the upgrade conditions. Rule fragments. 50 pieces of creation type, 50 pieces of dark attribute, 50 pieces of space type. Energy resources, 159 level crystal cores, 150 Grand Master level crystal cores, 150 Great Grand Master level crystal cores, 150 Venerable level crystal cores, 150 Great Venerable level crystal cores, 150 Great Venerable level crystal cores, and 120 Supreme level mid-grade crystal cores. The strength of the SSS level template and the mythical level template of the same realm differs by hundreds of times. After the template is upgraded, in order to retain the original realm, A lot of energy resources are needed to replenish it, so that the realm of the template owner is not superficial, and the realm can be stable and the foundation can be solid. Xiao Yi looked at it and frowned. Yan Bing's realm at this time is the Supreme 9 stars, which is the Supreme 9th level. He is only one step away from the Supreme 10th level. The amount of energy required to replenish it is too huge. He has 150 monster crystal cores of various realms below the Supreme realm, but where can he get 120 mid-grade crystal cores of the Supreme realm? You have to kill 120 Supreme level monsters to harvest so many Supreme level crystal cores. This is the disadvantage of the powerful template. The qualifications are beyond the same realm and the potential is unlimited and the upgrade is fast, but the resources for upgrading are more than 10 or even 20 times that of the SSS level. Yan Bing walked over with her graceful figure, and said impatiently, Xiao Yi, we have gathered enough resources for upgrading, shall we upgrade the template now? Xiao Yi looked embarrassed and hesitated. Yan Bing rolled her eyes at him cockathiously, pouted her lips and said unhappily, your feet are numb. Let me massage them for you. She took the initiative to squat in front of Xiao Yi, raised her hand and gently massaged his calves. Her technique was clumsy and she couldn't control the strength well. But Xiao Yi's vanity was greatly satisfied when the Supreme Goddess Dean gave him a massage. After pressing this calf for a while, Yan Bing raised her head and showed an extremely beautiful face of a queen. She asked, are your legs no longer numb? Xiao Yi shook his head. Yan Bing rolled her eyes at him again, knowing that his legs were not numb. But he wanted her attitude, so she said in a domineering tone, squatting and looking up, you can kick as much as you want tonight. You can push while standing, lying down, sitting, or even upside down. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. Yan Bing saw that he was not going to move yet in order to upgrade the template. She decided to risk it all and said, can I wear a maid outfit and give you a massage? I am the Supreme, but I am wearing a maid outfit. Really? She muttered as she walked into the bedrooms. He came out in less than half a minute. He was still wearing the same leather jacket and shorts. Her beautiful face was embarrassed. She scratched her head and said, I forgot, I don't have a maid outfit. I'll buy it now. Yan Bing's figure disappeared and he moved away in an instant. Mu Qingzu's face darkened, and she glared at Xiao Yi, saying, you don't want me to wear a maid outfit before you upgrade my template, do you? I am the daughter of the city lord's mansion. There is no way I can wear such shameful clothes. Xiao Yi shook his head and said straight to the point, it's not a question of whether to wear a maid outfit or not. It's not that I don't want to upgrade Sister Yan Bing's template. After the secret method is upgraded and improved, to retain the original realm, a very huge supply of energy resources is required. Yan Bing is a Supreme 9 star. He must maintain this state in addition to some basic resources. He also needs 150 Supreme middle grade crystal cores. Upon hearing this, Mu Qingzu was stunned. 150, and they are Supreme middle grade crystal cores. Even with thousands of years of heritage in her city lord's mansion, she might not be able to produce so many crystal cores. I bought it, the pleasant royal sister's voice sounded, and Yan Bing used instant teleportation to come back, holding an exquisite wooden box in both hands. Mu Qingzu moved her lips, wanting to say something, but in the end said nothing. Yan Bing entered the bedroom and came out half a minute later. White and black mini dress. The clothes were completely pushed up by Yan Bing's proud and upright figure, showing off her devilish figure with a protruding front and a curved back. The skirt of the mini dress just reaches the middle of the thigh, covering the perky and beautiful private parts. It is paired with 2 pairs of black lacquered socks, leaving only a small section of light thigh exposed. What is most noticeable is Yan Bing's aura being the Supreme for a long time, her identity as the Vice President's teacher, her beautiful royal face, and her easily knocked-down maid outfit, which create a sense of contrast. Even her pretty face turned red with embarrassment, and she walked step by step to Xiao Yi, squatted down, raised her slender hands, and gently pressed Xiao Yi's calves. Xiao Yi raised his hand and touched her head, smiling. Thank you for your hard work. Yan Bing's pretty face was pink and rosy, and she looked up and said, do you like it? Xiao Yi nodded. Yan Bing smiled, like a beautiful rose blooming, very beautiful. Eyes full of love, she said, as long as you like, I can wear it every day for you to see. Mu Qingzu opened her mouth into an O-shape in surprise. The supreme ruler, the top figure in the magic city, is actually willing to lower himself to please a man like this? Women dress up to please themselves? Is this the power of love? Mu Qingzu twisted her body awkwardly at this moment. She realized that her feelings for Xiao Yi were not as deep as her love for Yan Bing. She was willing to abandon unworldly views and rules. Sister Yan Bing can do it, so can I. Mu Qingzu clenched her fists, bit her lower lip with her pearly teeth, and made up her mind. She realized that for the sake of love, there was nothing wrong with temporarily putting aside her pride. She felt herself elevated at this moment. Xiao Yi held Yan Bing's stuttering chin with one hand, asking her to look directly at him. He said with some reluctance, I have some bad news to tell you. Yunbing blinked her beautiful eyes, a look of confusion rising on her pretty face. Waiting for him to finish, Xiao Yi said bluntly, the resources required to upgrade the template have increased a lot. Not only rule fragments are needed, but also crystal core resources. 159th level crystal cores, 150 master crystal cores, 150 great master crystal cores, 150 venerable crystal cores, 150 great venerable crystal cores, and 120 supreme middle grade crystal cores. You still need these resources to ensure that your realm does not drop after the template is upgraded. If you don't have enough energy resources, your realm will inevitably drop after the template is upgraded, and you will need to practice again after the drop. Mu Qingzu turned her face away, unable to bear to look at Yunbing's lost and regretful expression. Yunbing was stunned. 120 supreme middle grade crystal cores. After being stunned, she fell silent, expressionless, but the disappointment in her beautiful eyes was hard to conceal. Chapter 300 for upgrading the Yunbing template. Her collection over the years has amounted to an astonishing 15 Supreme Realm Crystal Cores. The 15 Supreme Crystal Cores were obtained by killing 15 Supreme Beasts. This record alone made her the Queen Kunpeng, respected and admired by everyone. The 10 most powerful Vara Supremes at the bottom of the Demon City base city can kill no more than 2 Supreme level monsters. Being in the same Supreme Realm, it is not difficult to defeat or repel the monster, but it is very difficult to kill it. Even if the Supreme Demon Beast cannot defeat the Supreme Human, it will wisely choose to escape, breaking through space and tearing open a space crack to run away directly. Xiao Yi said that the required resources required were 150 Supreme Middle Grade Crystal Cores, which undoubtedly told her that after upgrading the template, her realm would inevitably be lowered. Either you choose not to upgrade the template, or you accept the cost of lowering your realm after upgrading the template. Yunbing was silent for a while, then he raised his hand, and 15 Supreme Realm Crystal Cores appeared on it, including 8 Supreme Lower Grade, 6 Supreme Middle Grade, and 1 Supreme Upper Grade. These are all the crystal cores of the Supreme Realm that I have. I also have 150 crystal cores for each realm below the Supreme Realm. 15 Supreme Crystal Cores should be able to prevent my realm from dropping to low, right? She asked. Xiao Yi estimated and said, these crystal cores should be enough to lower your realm to the 2nd or 3rd level of the Supreme Realm and will not drop any lower. Have you really thought about it? Upgrading the template now? Yunbing nodded solemnly. I've considered it. Xiao Yi smiled. Okay, let's go to the Holy Spirit's secret realm first. Upgrading the template will make too much noise, and it won't attract the attention of the powerful there. Don't be too disappointed. The 3rd level of the mythical template may be much stronger than the 9th level of the Supreme Realm of the SSS level template. Although your realm has been lowered, your combat power may be improved. Yunbing's beautiful eyes lit up, and the disappointment disappeared in an instant. A bright smile appeared on her pretty face again, and she stood up and said, I believe you. Mu Qingzu pondered for a moment and said in surprise, that's right, the realm has been lowered, but the combat power may not necessarily decrease in the same Supreme Realm. How can the SSS level be compared with the myth level? Xiao Yi waved his hand and opened the blue light gate leading to the Holy Spirit's secret realm on the 9th floor of the Bronze Palace. The portal to the realm space was 2 meters high and 1 meter wide, standing on the open space. The 3 of them walked into the blue light gate, passed through the boundary space channel, and entered the quasi-emperor level perfect spiritual Bronze Palace, and directly appeared in the Holy Spirit's secret realm on the 9th floor of the Bronze Palace. After the Holy Spirit's secret realm became a small dimensional world included in the Bronze Palace, a domain teleportation array with an isolation barrier appeared in the center. The realm teleportation array allows one to travel freely between every level of the Bronze Palace. Of course, Xiao Yi, who has the authority, does not need to use the teleportation array to go to any level. The secret realm of the Holy Spirit. On the endless and dilapidated grassland, Xiao Yi and the other 2 appeared here in the past. Shengbing Shi and Liu Yi had also upgraded their templates at this location. And now it was Yunbing who was at the Supreme Realm. This prairie has no traces of magical beast activities, and all living creatures are extinct. It is located at the very edge of the Holy Spirit's secret realm. At the end of the prairie is the boundary barrier. Yunbing, wearing a miniskirt-made outfit, sat cross-legged on the grass, almost exposing herself to the forbidden scenery. She spread her hands around, and crystal cores fell from her hands one by one, scattering all over the ground around her. 150 Mortal Realm 9th level crystal cores, 150 Master Crystal Cores, 150 Grand Master Crystal Cores, 150 Grand Master Crystal Cores, 150 Venerable Crystal Cores, 150 Great Venerable Crystal Cores and 15 Supreme Crystal Cores. Since the energy is locked inside the crystal core, there is not much noise when so many crystal cores are released. Seeing Xiao Yi staring at her skirt, Yunbing said Kokatha sly, you bastard, you can look at me all you want at night. Now upgrade the template. Mu Qingzu's mouth twitched, and she kicked him in dissatisfaction. Xiao Yi scratched his head, retracted his gaze and said, "These crystal cores are energy aggregates full of impurities. I will purify them first so that you can absorb them better. So that you don't have to spend too much time upgrading the template. If you upgrade the template for a year or two, it will be barbecue." Xiao Yi took out a rule-level treasure, the Xuanhuang gem. Holding the Xuanhuang gem, he raised his hand and explored it, and an extremely strong suction force emanated from the Xuanhuang gem. All the crystal cores around Yunbing were pulled up by the suction force and stored in the Xuanhuang gem. The suction was so strong, equivalent to a strong wind, that it completely lifted up Yunbing's miniskirt, revealing the absolutely forbidden area, giving Xiao Yi and Mu Qingzu a feast for the eyes. Yunbing's pretty face turned red, but she didn't try to cover it. The suction came and went quickly, lasting only 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, the suction disappeared and the lifted miniskirt fell down. Rule level Xuanhuang gemstone can purify, calm, stabilize, chaotic, violent rules, force, rhyme, energy, potential energy, energy, artistic conception energy, ordinary energy, etc. The Xuanhuang gem emitted bursts of light, and within 10 minutes, 6 balls of pure energy liquid of different sizes sprayed out and quietly hovered in the air. From the mortal realm to the Grand Master realm, the venerable realm, the great venerable realm, and the supreme realm, the mixed energy in the crystal core of each realm is perfectly purified, and each realm is a ball of pure energy liquid. Xiao Yi looked serious and said, "Are you ready? Let's start upgrading the template." After Yunbing nodded, Xiao Yi mobilized the power of the contract. She sensed it and immediately mobilized the power of the contract as well, beginning to summon the template contract beast. Roar! Yunbing and Xiao Yi disappeared, the sky and the earth dimmed, and a Kunpeng monster with a body that covered the sky and the sun appeared in the air. Mu Qingzu looked up at the sky, her face blank as she exclaimed, "What a big fish!" The upgraded template needs to be upgraded on the summoned beast Xiao Yi, who exists as a conscious body, activated the template upgrade function of the template adjuster. The supreme, vast and profound power emerged from the void and descended upon Kunpeng. The conscious body Xiao Yi found 50 creation type, 50 dark attribute, and 50 space type rule fragment crystals from the system space, took them out and scattered them around Kunpeng. So many crystallized fragments of rules are suspended around Kunpeng. Then, under the influence of the supreme power of the template adjuster, one by one they entered the body of the Kunpeng sum and beast in an orderly manner. First, the fragments of the rules of creation crystallize, then the fragments of the rules of space crystallize, and then the fragments of the rules of dark attributes crystallize. Each one escapes into one, and after Kunpeng merges, it escapes into the next wave. 3930. The 3 kinds of rule power continue to emerge in the Kunpeng sum and beast. The tiny bit of rule power that leaked out caused the surrounding space to vibrate and move. The dark attribute rule power deprived the world of light, causing the world to fall into absolute darkness. Mu Qingzu left the prairie relying on her memory, and her vision returned to normal. Looking over there, all I could see was pitch black. Even when I used my mental power to probe, I couldn't see anything at all. The darkness not only blocked my sight, but also my spiritual thoughts. Chapter 305 Mythical Space King Kunpeng Template. Looking at the horrifying vision, Mu Qingzu felt that she had learned a lot. A mythical template that has never been seen since ancient times, and no one has ever possessed a template of this level. But at this moment, she will witness the birth of a myth and a template. She is witnessing a miracle. Mu Qingzu became excited. Ahead, the entire prairie was plunged into complete darkness, and the Kunpeng summoned beast in the center of the prairie was in a state of enlightenment. Space is born, space is destroyed. Chaotic space, void space, main world, and dimensional world. Complete or destroyed in a single thought. Compress, pull, cut, imprison, teleport, move, photograph, open up, destroy. As Kunpeng entered the state of enlightenment, different kinds of rule fragment crystals continuously entered Kunpeng's body under the influence of the supreme power. Kunpeng's understanding of space is becoming more and more profound. Half an hour later, all 150 rule fragment crystals escaped into the body of Kunpeng's summoning beast and turned into the most essential rule power under the influence of the supreme power of the template adjuster. They were integrated into every part of Kunpeng's summoning beast's body and penetrated deep into its genes. Template is a concrete statement. It is reflected in the whole body of the summoned beast, from the microscopic to the macroscopic, from genes to the body, in all aspects. All the rule fragments were absorbed, and the enlightenment of Kunpeng's sum and beast also ended. A series of insights came to my mind. My understanding of space became deeper. I comprehended new talents and skills, and had a deeper understanding of old talents and skills. Open up space, open up a portable space. Space collapse, an advanced version of space fragmentation and space compression. which can cause the entire space or even the dimensional world to collapse and annihilate. Space storm. A storm composed of space blades, space confinement, and space shattering once caught in it. You will be affected by the cutting effect, confinement effect, shattering effect, and splitting effect. Space turbulence. A talent skill composed of space teleportation, space confinement, and space compression. It manifests itself in space turbulence like a stream. Once hit, the target will be confined and compress, and then teleported to the chaotic space, the core of the sun, the surface of the black hole, etc. Xiaoya and Yunbing, who exist as conscious beings, also mastered the new innate skills. Template upgrade complete. This 95 detailed information can be viewed. Check the detailed information. Template upgrade completed. Realm preservation step in progress. The 6 balls of pure energy liquid suspended in the air, starting from the mortal realm. Pure energy liquid, one ball after another. The Master Energy Liquid and the Grand Master Energy Liquid directly entered into Kunpeng's body. Between heaven and earth, the complete darkness vanished, and the distorted and vibrating space returned to normal. A brand new Kunpeng summon beast appeared in Mu Qingzu's sight. It's getting bigger again. The beard has turned golden, making him look even more majestic. Mu Qingzu widened her eyes in shock. The previous Kunpeng was 10,000 meters in size, but now Kunpeng's size had increased by more than 10 times, reaching an astonishing size of 100,000 meters. It is simply covering the sky and the sun, like a dark cloud covering a city. Is this the mythical template? Mu Qingzu became more and more looking forward to upgrading her template. Mu Qingzu suddenly discovered that although Kunpeng was large in size, his realm aura was extremely unstable. He burst out with the aura of the Supreme Realm in the previous second, burst out with the aura of the Mortal Realm in the next second, and burst out with the aura of the Grand Master Realm in the next second. Xiao Yi and Yunbing, who had just woken up from their state of enlightenment, also sensed this phenomenon. But the two were not in a hurry. The pure energy liquid prepared before the upgrade is replenishing and enriching the superficial state in Kunpeng's body. But the replenishment of pure energy liquid and the influence of the supreme power of the template adjuster, the realm of Kunpeng Sum and Beast became extremely solid and the aura and body became very stable. The Mortal Realm, the Grand Master Realm, the Venerable Realm, the Great Venerable Realm, the Supreme Realm. A realm of Kunpeng Sum and Beast has become the second level of the Supreme Realm. The foundation is extremely solid and the realm is extremely stable. As time passed bit by bit, after an unknown amount of time, all the pure energy liquid was absorbed. Template upgrade completed. Information came from the template adjuster. All the strange phenomena disappeared, and the Kunpeng Sum and Beast returned to normal. But the surging spatial Taoist power, the changes in its body shape, and the changes in its body shape, and the changes in its inner talent potential and strength, that it had just undergone a huge transformation. In Mu Qingzu's perception, Kunpeng's aura became stable, and the intensity of his aura was stronger than before. It should be a successful upgrade. She clenched her fists, her pretty face excited. This is a mythical template. A mythical template that has never appeared in ancient times. A mythical template favored by heaven and birth and blessed by the laws of heaven and earth. Suddenly her eyes flickered, the scenery changed, and the surrounding scenery turned into the sky. Mu Qingzu was shocked to find that she was already sitting on the head of the huge Kunpeng Summon Beast. This was done by Yunbing. Xiao Yi muttered, "You sit on my head now, and then I will sit on your head." Yunbing was a little excited and shouted, "The me now can definitely kill the me before in seconds. This strength, this power, this control over space is more than 10 times stronger than before." Yunbing, who was at the Supreme Realm, had a very detailed understanding and control over his own strength. So at this moment, with just a slight perception, he knew the difference between before and after. In a flash, the teleport talent skill is activated. The Kunpeng, which covered the sky and the sun, instantly jumped from the edge of the Holy Spirit's secret realm, that is, the prairie, to the center of the Holy Spirit's secret realm. Outside the teleportation array barrier in the center of the island, a distance spanned hundreds of thousands of kilometers, and the space fluctuations caused were settled to the microscopic level. This means that Yunbing's control over space has been greatly improved. The more profound the control over space, the less energy is required to use the innate skills, the smaller the noise caused, and the higher the combat power that can be exerted. The Supreme Realm Kunpeng appeared brightly in the air due to his huge size. He attracted the attention of the life-type monsters on the sea islands. A demon beast of the Supreme Realm? No, this is a quasi-saint. Yes, great quasi-saint. No offense, I'll get out of here right now. This little world is about to change. I declare that my clan will close the mountain and will not leave for 10,000 years. The leaders of all races at the peak of the Great Venerable Realm exclaimed one after another, their expressions showing a mixture of yearning and fear. Then, the Kun Peng summoned beast went to the mountain range where the space attribute monkeys were located and wandered around. Shocking them, it then cancelled its summoned beast form, and turned back into human form. The second stage of the Supreme Realm, Yun Bing sensed the realm in his body. And the realm of his human form also dropped to the second stage of the Supreme Realm. My realm has risen to the 7th level of the Venerable Realm, Xiao Yi said with a smile. Wu Qingzu's face darkened. Why did you level up again? I'm only at the peak of Grand Master, Xiao Yi confessed. My beast girl has become a summoned beast to practice. I will get feedback from the summoned beast, and my realm will naturally improve and break through. Yun Bing and Wu Qingzu felt jealous after hearing this. After returning to Villano, through the blue light gate, a day and a half had passed since entering the Bronze Palace, and now it was the second night. Looking at the sky, Xiao Yi wanted to go back to Liuya's Villano, 10 with Wu Qingzu. But before Xiao Yi stepped out of the door, Yun Bing grabbed him and said passionately, "Damn it, you don't want to kick me anymore, I want to be kicked. Don't leave." Chapter 306 mission is triggered, and a rule level treasure is rewarded. It had only been 2 days since Yun Bing signed the contract with Xiao Yi. Yes, he hadn't enjoyed enough of being a woman. How could she be willing to let Xiao Yi go and leave herself alone in an empty room? Xiao Yi's eyes widened. These tiger-like words are explosive. Sister Yun Bing. I was just joking, why did you take it seriously? He looked incredulous. Hearing this, Yun Bing's beautiful face was filled with anger. She glared with her beautiful eyes and said angrily, "Anyway, I promised you. So just tell me whether you will come or not. If you don't come, I will punch you a few times." She waved her fists and walked toward Xiao Yi, her beautiful eyes full of threats. Xiao Yi retreated step by step, and was eventually forced to the wall. Yun Bing blocked his retreat, and pressed her devilishly curvy body against him, threatening him, "You must be kidding me, I was waiting for nothing. Are you coming or not?" At the gate of the villa, Wu Qingzu looked at Xiao Yi being pushed against the wall by Yun Bing, her face full of surprise. And she said crisply, "Sister Yun Bing, wait a moment." Yun Bing raised her eyebrows and pleaded, "Qingzu, you and Xiao Yi have only recently concluded a contract, but today, I hope you can give him to me." Wu Qingzu nodded, "Of course, no problem. But I have a question. What does standing up and pushing mean?" She looked confused. Yun Bing explained it to her privately, and then said, "You can come along if you want." Wu Qingzu's pretty face flushed in an instant. Like a ripe apple, she stamped her feet and said shyly, "I don't want to. You guys can have fun by yourselves, I'm going back." She moved as fast as a rabbit and ran away quickly, as if she was afraid that Yun Bing would force her to stay. As the daughter of the city lord's mansion, she used to be very arrogant and looked down on men. She spent her days studying and practicing. Her realm and combat power far exceeded her peers, so she became the #1 prodigy in the Demon City-based city. She knew very little about that aspect. After meeting Xiao Yi, she gradually let go of her resistance to men, and after her marriage, her knowledge also expanded. Xiao Yi looked at Yun Bing, who was so close to him, shrugged and said, "As you wish, I will agree to whatever you want to do. You are my beast mother." Xiao Yi, "Of course I have to pamper my own beast mother." Yun Bing smiled, a gleam of brilliance flashing in her beautiful eyes. And she pulled him into the master bedroom on the 3rd floor. The villa door and bedroom door closed automatically. "Accept your trial." The next morning at 10 o'clock. Knock knock knock, knock knock, knock. There was a regular knock on the door of Villano. 2. Wu Qingzu and a burly man were standing outside the door. On the 3rd floor. Yun Bing and Xiao Yi had woken up long ago, after a night of tossing and turning and learning about the human body. The two were inseparable and now lay in bed and didn't want to get up. "Someone is coming." Yun Bing rested her head on Xiao Yi's chest. Xiao Yi sat up and stretched, then slapped her hips twice and said, "Got it. Wake up, lazy little cat." 10 minutes later, the two finished washing up and went to the 1st floor to receive the guests. The one who opened the door of the villa was Wu Qingzu and Jinling City Lord Yi Tai. "Brother Xiao, Sister Kun Peng, good morning." Yi Tai clasped his fists and smiled. He sensed it, took a breath, and congratulated. "Sister Kun Peng has reached a higher level, congratulations." The strength of Yun Bing's aura was more than 10 times stronger than before, and Yi Tai believed that he had made a breakthrough in his realm. "As expected of you, Brother Xiao, you must have practiced all night yesterday. You really practiced hard and didn't waste any time. You are a role model for my generation." He was generous in his praise, and it came from the heart. "Yes, that's right. As cultivators like me, we must not waste even a single minute to practice," Xiao Yi responded without blushing or blinking. Wu Qingzu spat inwardly a few times. "You don't practice, it's the beast girl who's practicing. You just accept the feedback to upgrade your realm, and you still say that you are seizing the time to practice all the time. How shameless. And what were you doing last night, don't you know?" Yun Bing laughed and said, "City Lord Yi, is there something wrong?" Yi Tai's expression became serious, and he clasped his fists and said, Sister Kunpeng, Brother Xiao, I have applied for 2 pieces of good fortune rule fragment crystals from the ancestor of my family. I came here this time to ask Mr. Xiao to completely solve my daughter's physical problem. Of course, I will pay you and I will make sure Mr. Xiao is satisfied. Xiao Yi said, there's no rush, I just treated your daughter 2 days ago, the effect will last for a week. To be honest, Xiao Yi was not very willing to solve the template problem for Yi, or she was not his beast girl, so it was okay to solve her physical defects. It was a convenient thing to do anyway. Moreover, the reason why he was willing to help Yi solve her physical defects was because he admired Yi Tai's character and his reward for entering the Bronze Palace. But he is not familiar with the Yi family and their relationship is not deep. The Bronze Palace did not originally belong to the Yi family, so there was no need to feel guilty about taking it away. Yi Tai was choked. As an expert in observing facial expressions, how could he not see that Xiao Yi did not want to solve the template problem for his daughter? Yi Tai's heart sank. He had finally found a solution. For the sake of his daughter, he would not give up easily. Bang! Yi Tai knelt down and begged. Brother Xiao, please help save ZR. Xiao Yi jumped aside, preventing him from approaching him, and said, City Lord Yi, please don't use moral kidnapping to force me, I won't fall for it. Yun Bing frowned. Mu Qingzu felt quite sympathetic towards ZR's experience, so she said, I heard from Sister Bing Shi that City Lord Yi came 3 times yesterday but couldn't find you. Today is the 4th time? Yun Bing stretched out his hand, and the power of space swept out, forcing the kneeling Yi Tai to stand up. Yi Tai wanted to resist and wanted to continue kneeling until Xiao Yi agreed. But then, he was shocked. He, who was at the 10th star level of the Supreme Realm, was unable to resist no matter how he used the power of restriction. He could not erase this force of space. He was directly straightened up by the force of space. After standing up, he wanted to kneel down and beg again, but he couldn't even kneel down. Sister Kunpeng's realm must have been promoted to quasi-saint. He was secretly surprised. Xiao Yi felt embarrassed. He admired Yi Tai's character very much, but that was just admiration, nothing more. Detect host encounter events. Mission rigor. Task: solve the template problem for the daughter of the Yi family. Ask reward: rule level treasure hunting pointer. Introduction to the rule level treasure hunting pointer. As long as it exists in the world, it can find the hiding places of all natural treasures, including the locations of monsters of any attributes, the locations of souls, the locations of secret realms, the locations of space nodes, and the locations of treasures. You can refuse to accept the task, and there is no penalty for refusal. After Xiao Yi received the message, he was stunned. Seeing Xiao Yi remain silent for a long time, Yi Tai saw that Xiao Yi looked embarrassed, and he already knew the answer in his heart, so he clasped his fists and said, since Brother Xiao is in trouble, I won't force it, I'll come again next time. Brother Xiao, Sister Kunpeng, there are still many matters to be dealt with in Jinling City, I will take my leave first. He said something politely, then turned around and walked towards the gate of the villa, and was out of the gate in a few seconds. After Xiao Yi finished reading the message, he suddenly shouted, Uncle Yi. Wait. Chapter 307 EZR, I choose Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi took a fancy to the system reward. A rule-level treasure hunting pointer that could find all the treasures in the world, and could also point out the location of special monsters. If he had a treasure pointer, it would not be easy for him to find the habitat of the reincarnation-type magical beasts. The crystals of the fragments of the reincarnation rules are necessary resources for upgrading Mu Qingzu's time template. All the crystals of the fragments of the creation and time rules have been collected, leaving only 50 of the reincarnation type. Besides, this system task is very simple, and it only takes a few clicks. Moreover, Yi Tai's character is trustworthy and he will not leak secrets at will, etc. When Xiao Yi shouted, a flash of white light appeared, and Yi Tai's figure appeared in front of him. Yi Tai's face was full of expectation, and he asked, Brother Xiao, do you have any instructions? Xiao Yi held up 2 fingers. 2 conditions, and I'll agree to you. Yi Tai was overjoyed, and the joy on his face could not be suppressed. He said in surprise, don't say 2 conditions, even 100 conditions will do. Brother Xiao, please tell me, what are the conditions? Xiao Yi said, first, I will not allow anyone other than you and your daughter to know about the template I solved for your daughter, not even your family's ancestors. Second, I haven't thought about the second condition yet, I'll tell you when I have it figured out. Yi Tai was very happy when he heard it. I have no problem with the first condition, and Brother Xiao can set the second condition as well. He threw out a token with the word Yi engraved on it and said, with this token, the Yi family will unconditionally do one thing for Brother Xiao. As long as the Yi family exists, this token will be valid. Xiao Yi accepted it and said, then Uncle Yi, please go back first into ours. Sister Yun Bing and I will go to Jinling City to completely solve the physical problem for Uncle Yi's daughter. Yi Tai clasped his fist to express his gratitude and left. Mu Qingzu looked at Xiao Yi carefully. Strange, you are a guy who doesn't do anything without profit. Why did you suddenly agree to him? You are not attracted to the eldest daughter of the Yi family, are you? Tell me, is it true? Hearing this, Yun Bing's eyes turned dangerous. Xiao Yi's face darkened. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Am I, Xiao Yi, that kind of person? Mu Qingzu nodded. Yes. Yun Bing echoed. You are. Xiao Yi hit them on the head with his left and right hands. Mu Qingzu cried out in pain and held her head with both hands. Yun Bing glared at him. I am the supreme. And you are the first person to hit me on the head. Xiao Yi blew his hands proudly. So what if you are the supreme? I will still beat you. What's wrong with hitting your head? I have hit you everywhere before, and I will beat you again tonight. Yun Bing's pretty face turned red. Xiao Yi's expression became serious, and he asked, But if you don't want me to treat the eldest daughter of the Yi family, I can immediately reject City Lord Yi and say that the conditions are void and I can't treat her. Mu Qingzu rubbed her aching little head, shook her head and said, Since I've agreed, I'll just get the tree. Yun Bing said, I won't stop you no matter what you want to do on worry. I won't be an obstacle to you. If you want to be treated, you can be treated. If you don't want to be treated, then don't be treated. Mu Qingzu agreed very much and said, Me too. Seeing how considerate she was to the two beast girls, Xiao Yi sighed. What more could a husband ask for with a wife like this? The other sighed. After Yidai returned to Jinling City, he appeared directly outside Yiziar's villa. He wanted to tell his daughter the good news as soon as possible, so he knocked on the door and waited for a while, but got no response. Instead, the communicator rang after the call was connected. The butler's voice came from inside. Master, the Yi family from the imperial capital has come to our city lord's mansion. They are now in the main hall of the city lord's mansion and have brought a lot of betrothal gifts. It seems that they are planning to get engaged. Yi family. Engagement? I understand. I'll be there right away. Yi Tai responded and hung up the phone. That being said, he did not immediately go to the main hall of the city lord's mansion. Instead, he looked towards the villa and thought to himself, Seer is not here, where did she go? He thought about it and set his sights on the small forest in the back hills of the city lord's mansion. But the Yi Tai's body was like a phantom, flying towards the small forest at the back of the mountain. Sure enough, under a towering ancient tree, next to a clear stream, Ezr was here. She sat on a stone slab by the stream, took off her shoes, revealing her small, white feet, and put them into the stream, shaking and playing in the water. The huge towering ancient tree behind him was the one Xiao Yi stood on to release water last time. What kind of person is Xiao Yi? She supported her white chin with both hands, and Xiao Yi's handsome and suave face appeared in her mind. These 2 days, ever since Xiao Yi gave her a full-body massage treatment, she couldn't help but think of Xiao Yi in her mind. I think of his handsome face and his long, strong hands. CR, you are here indeed, a deep voice sounded, and Yi Tai's burly figure appeared beside Ezr. Dad, Ezr called out in a cute voice. Yes, Yi Tai immediately told his daughter the good news. Father Xiao has agreed to treat your template and completely solve your physical problems, so that you can completely become a normal person again. Ezr smiled brightly after hearing this and asked in surprise, Really? Yi Tai nodded heavily and said firmly, Really, he will come to Jinling City in 2 hours. Go back and prepare yourself now. Take a shower and clean your body so that Brother Xiao can get started. When Ezr heard this, her pretty face turned red and she replied, Okay. Dad, please go away. I want to take a bath here, she urged. Yi Tai looked at the clean stream water without impurities and said, Then hurry up and don't waste time. Usually, only Ezr comes to this place. It is Ezr's relaxing park and no one else is allowed to set foot here. There is no need to worry about being peeped at by others. Yi Tai turned around and was about to leave, but he suddenly thought of something, stopped, and asked, Zr, the Yi family in the imperial capital is here to propose marriage. Do you want to marry the young master of the Yi family? Ezr was confused when she heard this and replied, I don't know. Yi Tai smiled and said, You don't need to feel any psychological pressure if you don't want to get married. I will just cancel the engagement. Your template already has a solution. The Yi family in the imperial capital is not the only choice. The child marriage is just a figment of imagination. So how do you feel about Xiao Yi? Do you like him? When Ezr heard the words, Xiao Yi, she remembered the embarrassing scene of him massaging her, and her pretty face turned red all the way to her ears. She covered her face with her hands. I don't know if I like Xiao Yi or not, maybe I do. Looking at her little woman's demeanor, Yi Tai, who was an experienced person, had already come to a conclusion in his mind and said, I understand. After saying that, he left. Ezr was a little confused. What did Dad understand? She didn't say anything. Then Ezr moved. There was a rustling sound, and pieces of clothes fell onto the clean stone slabs one by one. She walked into the stream without even wearing panties, and her whole body was soaked. Ezr asked herself, if she had to choose between the young master of the Yi family and Xiao Yi, she would choose Xiao Yi. Chapter 300. Yi Tai, Zr has someone she likes. She was engaged to the young master of the Yi family when she was a child. The engagement was arranged by their elders when they were very young, but it was a verbal engagement and no written contract was signed. Up to now, Zr has never met the young master of the Yi family. She knows nothing about what he looks like, what his hobbies are, or whether the two of them are compatible. They are complete strangers. On the contrary, the feeling towards Xiao Yi is different. Whenever she thought of that overly handsome face, her heart would beat faster and faster uncontrollably. Moreover, these days were the most comfortable days she had ever had. She had never felt so relaxed and comfortable before. All this was thanks to Xiao Yi. A clear stream reflected Bi's delicate body, and her curvy figure could be vaguely seen. The other side. Outside the main hall of the Jinling City Lord's mansion, there is a 3-story spiritual weapon loft hovering. Inside the main hall of the City Lord's mansion, the young master of the Yi family with flashy red hair and an elderly man with wrinkles on his face were sitting in front of the tea table, quietly waiting for City Lord Yi to arrive. Young Master Yi, Senior, my patriarch is busy with work. You came in a hurry and did not notify me in advance, so my patriarch did not come immediately, but I just notified him and he will be here soon. The Yi mansion's housekeeper was entertaining them. The young master of the Yi family was a little impatient in his opinion. The Yi family was just a small family as the young master of the super family. The Yi family came to the small family to propose marriage in person. The Yi family should welcome him respectfully with a smile. But now, he has been waiting here for an hour. And the Yi family has not come to receive the guests. No matter whether the Yi family has something to do or not, it is not as important as receiving the Yi family. Such neglect shows that they don't take him or the Yi family in the imperial capital seriously. Yi Fan, the young master of the Yi family, stood up and said angrily, "No more waiting. Where is Yi Zr? Take me to see her. Don't waste time." The Yi mansion's housekeeper looked embarrassed. "Sorry, I can't take you to see the young lady. Please wait a moment, Master Yi. In less than 5 minutes, the head of our family will be here, and he will personally take you to see the young lady." Yi Fan was a little annoyed. "If Uncle Yi doesn't come within 5 minutes, I will go find Yi Zr myself." Seeing that the young master was losing his temper, the old man secretly scolded him. "Young master, we are here to propose marriage, not to go shopping and have fun. Please restrain your arrogant temper for a while. As the mayor of Jinling City, Yi has to deal with many affairs on weekdays. We came without prior notice, so it is understandable that he is unable to take time off to receive us." Yi Fan sighed, feeling a little depressed, and returned to the tea table. The elderly man is both his elder and his protector. No matter how arrogant he is, he still has to listen to the advice of his elder. At this time, the housekeeper of the Yi mansion sensed something. His face lit up with joy, and he said, "My master is here." As soon as he finished speaking, a middle-aged man with a burly figure and a tough face walked in from the back door of the city ward's mansion. It was Yi Tai. He smiled heartily and said, Master Yi, I was busy with something important just now. I'm sorry for neglecting you." Yi Tai walked to the main seat and took the initiative to party for Yi Fan and the elderly man. Seeing the main person coming, the old man smiled and said, "It's okay, City Lord Yi is very busy. We understand." Yi Tai asked, "What brings you to the Yi mansion?" Yi Fan stood up and clasped his fists, saying, "Uncle Yi, I'm here to propose marriage. As you know, Yi Zr and I have been engaged since childhood. Although we have never met, she is always my fiancée. We have reached the age to sign a contract. I am unmarried and she is unmarried. Today is a good day for us to get engaged." Yi Tai raised his eyebrows and laughed. "Yeah, today is a good day. Young Master Yi has good looks and extraordinary talent. He is a perfect match for my Zr." Yi Fan smiled. "So, Uncle Yi has agreed to my Yi family's proposal?" He waved his hand, and a pile of exquisite boxes appeared in the air. About 20 of them. Boxes were lined up one after another, and the lids of the boxes opened automatically, revealing the contents inside. "This is my Yi family's betrothal gift. 10 great venerable top-grade crystal cores, 3 supreme lower-grade disposable items, 3 supreme middle-grade disposable items, 3 supreme lower-grade magical beast crystal cores, and a supreme perfection level amulet. 20 pieces in total." Looking at these high-end things, the lowest level of which were great masters, top-grade crystal cores, 10 of which were supreme-level props, Yi Tai swallowed and felt a little excited. As expected of one of the 4 super families in the imperial capital, the Yi family is generous and the betrothal gifts are luxurious. Looking at Yi Tai's somewhat excited expression, Yi Fan said inwardly, "This marriage proposal is a sure thing." These 20 betrothal gifts were much better than the betrothal gifts he had given last time at the Mu family in the City Lord's mansion in the Demon City base city. If he had not come to propose marriage, he would not have been able to apply for these expensive and high-end items from the family. Yi Tai was somewhat tempted by these things, but it was just a little tempting, because he already understood his daughter's intentions. Tai's face became expressionless, and he said, I'm sorry, Master Yi, Zr already has someone she loves, and I'm afraid she can't sign a contract with you. I'm sorry, but you have to take back all these betrothal gifts. My Yi family cannot marry into the Yi family. The smile on Yi Jia's face froze in an instant. And he felt awkward. He actually refused. The reason for rejection is exactly the same as the reason given by the Mu family of the Demon City Lord's mansion last time. They all have someone in their hearts. They all have someone they love. Yi Fan's face darkened and he said, City Lord Yi, in this world, only my Yi family can cure your daughter's physical problem. Marry me, and I will naturally help Yi Zr solve her physical problems. But if she marries someone else, she will be doomed to be troubled by physical problems for the rest of her life. Yi Tai shook his head and said inferently, It's okay, Zr has long been used to it and doesn't mind her physique anymore. Yi Fan's face turned ugly. He proposed marriage twice and was rejected twice, the last time at the Mu family and this time at the Yi family. He has brought shame to the Yi family. Unlike Yi Fan's impatience, the old man was neither anxious nor slow, and smiled. Master Yi, you said your daughter has a crush on someone, but I'm sure they're not together yet, right? It doesn't matter as long as they are not together. After marrying my young master, your daughter will fall in love with him. There is no one better than my young master in this world. Yi Tai shook his head. No, that person is much better than Yi Xiao. Yi Fan chuckled and looked disdainful. Impossible. Che. At this time, a space crack formed outside the main hall of the City Lord's mansion. Yun Bing, Mu Qingzu and Xiao Yu walked out from there. Yi Tai sensed their arrival, and a joyful smile immediately appeared on his tough face. He stood up and said with a smile, Young Master Yi, Xir's crush is here. Yi Tai ignored Yi Fan and the old man, and walked directly out of the City Lord's mansion to greet Xiao Yi and the other two. Yi Fan sneered and said arrogantly, I want to see who that rubbish is. Yi Tai welcomed Yun Bing, Mu Qingzu, and Xiao Yi and walked into the main hall of the City Lord's mansion. When Xiao Yi Mu Qingzu's figure appeared in Yi Fan's sight, he was dumbfounded. Why is it him? Yi Fan screamed, this man is his nightmare. Chapter 309 Brother Xiao, Zr is in the small forest in the back mountain. Ever since he was defeated last time, the news spread throughout the imperial capital and he became the object of many people's ridicule and the topic of conversation after dinner. Every time when others saw him at a party, they would mention Xiao Yi, which made him very annoyed. He often had nightmares at night, and the scene of being defeated would reappear in his dreams every day, waking him up in a sweat. So when he saw Xiao Yi, Yi Fan felt a little frightened unconsciously, his whole body tensed up, and bloodshot appeared in his eyes. Xiao Yi was a little surprised. It's you, a defeated general. Mu Qingzu looked at the betrothal gifts in the air and thought, this is a proposal to the Yi family. Yi Fan was very hostile. Xiao Yi, I want to duel with you. This time I will definitely beat you. A powerful force emerged from his body and spread in all directions. The second level of the Venerable Realm. Xiao Yi dug his ears, and the aura of the 8th level of the Venerable Realm exploded, directly crushing Yi Fan's power. When said, I didn't hear what you said just now. A force like a hurricane swept over, and Yi Fan was almost blown away. It was only thanks to old Yi that he did not smell it. Yi Fan's face froze, his eyes were dull, and he said in disbelief, at level of the Venerable Realm, how is it possible? It hasn't been that long and you've already been promoted to a high-level Venerable. In less than 10 days. He was promoted from the first level of the Venerable Realm to the second level of the Venerable Realm, which made him complacent and picked up his shattered invincible heart again. But Xiao Yi completely crushed him, and once again shattered his upgraded invincible spirit. It exploded with a loud bang. Mu Qingzu said disapprovingly, Hey, red-haired bastard. Don't you want to challenge Xiao Yi? Go ahead. What are you doing standing there in a daze? Are you scared? Red hair, hanging hair. Yi Fan's face turned dark. It was the first time he was called that. A good man doesn't fight with a woman. Xiao Yi, one day, I will defeat City Lord Yi. Goodbye. Yi Fan felt that he could not stay here any longer, so he put away the betrothal gifts in the air, flashed out of the City Lord's mansion, and entered the attic carriage. The old man slapped his forehead and waved his hand, and Yi Fan was pulled back. He said, City Lord Yi, you said your daughter already has a crush on someone. Could that person be Xiao Yi? Yi Tai nodded as a matter of course. Yes, it's Brother Xiao. When Yi Fan heard this, his eyes widened with anger. Xiao Yi, why is it Xiao Yi again? Is Xiao Yi specifically trying to steal other people's fiancés? How despicable. The old man's mouth twitched. He looked at Xiao Yi carefully, then looked at Yi Fan, his eyes looking back and forth between the two. Finally, the conclusion is that whether in appearance, temperament, or talent as a beastmaster, Xiao Yi is far superior to Yi Fan and completely crushes him. The young master has bright red hair, and if he weren't dressed gorgeously, he would look like a show-off loser. Of course, there was no way he could say these words. Yi Fen noticed the contempt in Yi Lao's eyes. And he became even angrier and was about to break down. The old man questioned, "This young man has already signed the contract. Do you want your daughter to be a mistress who is not allowed to see the light of day?" Yi Tai laughed. "This is our own business. There is no need for Elder Yi to worry about it." The old man's face darkened. "You don't put the Yi family in the capital first." Before Yi finished speaking, he was interrupted by Yi Fan, who leaned close to him and whispered, "I checked the information. This Xiao Yi is very strange. He can contract multiple beast girls including Mu Qingzu. He has already contracted for beast girls." The old man choked. I laughed heartily. "Old Yi. Young Master Yi. Brother Xiao and I have something important to discuss, so we won't keep you here any longer. Please go back. Child marriage is a verbal engagement. There is no contractual effect since it is not suitable. There is no need to force it. Butler, send the guests away." The housekeeper of the Yi mansion said politely, "Young Master Yi. Old Master Yi. Although the engagement is annulled, the friendship between our two families will not change." Yi Fan had a gloomy face and walked away dejectedly without looking back. The old man snorted coldly, looked at Xiao Yi meaningfully, and left. Mu Qingzu sneered. "How dare this kind of bastard challenge my man? Why don't you look in the mirror and see how much you are worth?" Yi Tai looked apologetic and said, "I'm sorry for wasting everyone's time." Xiao Yi waved his hand. "That's fine, but I have a question. Uncle Yi, who is your daughter's crush?" Mu Qingzu and Yun Bing looked over with a hint of danger. Yi Tai was a little embarrassed and scratched his head, saying, "I'm sorry for using Brother Xiao as a shield." He knew what Zi'er was thinking, but Zi'er's happiness had to be controlled by herself as a father. He couldn't be rash and speak frankly to her, as it would be bad if it caused a bad impact. Mu Qingzu and Yun Bing breathed a sigh of relief. Xiao Yi shrugged and said disapprovingly, "I have already been a shield once, so it doesn't matter if I am a shield again. Uncle Yi, let's go to your daughter and ask her about the template treatment. The sooner we can solve it, the sooner it will be over." Seeing that he had no intention of blaming him, Yi Tai's eyes lit up. And he admired Xiao Yi even more in his heart. Brother Xiao really has a vision, and he deserves to be the number one of the younger generation. It also makes people feel at ease that Zi'er follows him. Yi Tai waved his hand and took out a box full of forbidden runes, handed it to Xiao Yi and said, "There are 2 fortune-die cruel fragment crystals in this box. They are the healing items that Brother Xiao told me about. As for my daughter, she is currently in the small forest at the back of the mountain. She is waiting for Brother Xiao. There can Brother Xiao, so entreat her alone." He was creating an opportunity for Yi Zi'er to be alone with Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi took the rune box and nodded. "The small forest in the back mountain? Okay." Xiao Yi didn't think too much about it. He only wanted to quickly solve the template problem for Yi Zi'er, complete the system task, and get the task reward. Yi Tai smiled. "Yeah, then we'll wait here for Brother Xiao and Zi'er to return successfully." Yun Bing said, "Xiao Yi, you go ahead. The city lord's mansion is very safe if all else fails. You can use the bronze palace to smash someone. Even the supreme can be killed by smashing him." Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he walked out of the back door of the hall with a gate. Then leapt towards the small forest behind the city lord's mansion. In the small forest at the back of the mountain, since Xiao Yi arrived at the city lord's mansion more than an hour earlier, Yi Zi'er was soaking in the stream water naked. Still bathing. A female wolf came to the stream to drink water, and snatched away the small panties and light skirt on the clean stone slab. Yi Zi'er was not paying attention to this and did not see or know anything about it. At the entrance to the back mountain, Xiao Yi recalled and landed on the path at the entrance to the small forest after going 50 meters deep. He happened to meet the Grandmaster level female wolf running around. Seeing that Xiao Yi's aura was powerful and not easy to mess with, the female wolf shook her head and threw the thing in her mouth towards Xiao Yi's face, then ran away. "There's a hidden weapon." Xiao Yi was quick and grabbed the thing thrown to him with his right hand. When he saw it in front of him, he was stunned. This seems to be Yi Zi'er's, a small kawaii pattern. Fragrant. Where's Yi Zi'er? I'll send the things back to her. Chapter 310. Yi Zi'er. If it's beautiful, just look at it for a while longer. A white dress is very light and gives people a fresh and refined feeling if it is worn on a person. It may look very beautiful. Xiao Yi carried 3 hidden weapons in his hands and went along the forest path towards the depths of the forest. With the experience of coming to the grove last time, Xiao Yi's destination was the stream. About 5 minutes later, after passing through the path in the woods, the view suddenly opened up and a 10-meter wide stream appeared in front of us under a huge towering ancient tree. There was a 3-meter-sized, clean, flat stone slab. Xiao Yi looked towards the stream and was instantly attracted by the whiteness in the stream. His eyes fixed on it. Because the stream water is so clear, the scenery under the water can be easily seen. When Xiao Yi walked to the stone slab, squatted down and supported his chin with his hands, Yi Zi'er realized it. He screamed in surprise, her face turned red with embarrassment. And her whole body became hot. "Rogue! Xiaoya, turn your head quickly. A hint of stubbornness flashed across Yizier's delicate and tender face. Xiao Yi shrugged and looked away as she wished. Then Yizier saw the three-piece suit in Xiao Yi's hand, which included kawaii pattern underwear and a white dress, and was shocked. You actually stole my clothes, a pleasant and unbelievable voice sounded. At this moment, the upright and majestic image of Xiao Yi in Yizier's heart collapsed. What replaced it was the bad impression of a vulgar hooligan. She felt lost in an instant. Xiao Yi was actually such a person. Xiao Yi's face darkened. Don't slander me, just now a white wolf took my clothes away. I just happened to see it. Who am I? I am Xiao Yi, how could I do such a thing? White wolf, Yizier suddenly realized. She had bathed in this stream more than once, and the captive white wolf had also taken away her clothes and played pranks on her more than once. A white wolf is very intelligent, and is her companion pet. Yizier's expression brightened. Xiao Yi, I knew you were not that kind of person. That wolf is called Xiao Bie. He often plays pranks on me. This is not the first time he has taken my clothes. Yizier's impression of Xiao Yi instantly returned to that of an upright, tall, and warm-hearted man. Xiao Yi smiled. It seems that the white wolf is an LSB. Yizier responded. That's a she-wolf. Xiao Yi. A big man was standing not far away. And Yizier felt very safe. This man solved her physical problems and brought her comfort and happiness. Splash! Yizier paddled in the stream and said, Xiao Yi, can you wait for me for a while? I'll be there soon. Xiao Yi took a secret glance and actually saw the forbidden scenery. Sorry, he turned around quickly. What? Yizier didn't see his movements and thought he was talking about clothes. Just put the clothes on the stone slab. Xiao Yi threw the three-piece suit lightly and landed lightly on the huge stone slab. Splash! 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 Behind him, the sound of playing in the water continued, making Xiao Yi feel itchy. I'm here this time to help you completely solve your physical problems, not to spy on you bathing. Can you hurry up? The splashing sound of water was Yizier swimming towards the shore in a dog paddle style. Within 10 seconds, she reached the shore. She was a little shy, and walked slowly behind Xiao Yi. He didn't even put on the clothes on the stone slab, and just stood there naked. Yizier raised her hand and touched Xiao Yi's back with her fingers, and said crisply, I know Dad has already informed me. Xiao Yi, I've finished my bath. I'm clean now, I promise it won't stink. She struggled for a while and said with determination, You can watch it casually anyway. The treatment requires massaging the acupuncture points all over the body. After getting permission, Xiao Yi turned around and was shocked to find that Yizier was lying horizontally on the clean stone slab, with her body covered in white. She looked like she was ready to give it her all. With her arms and legs spread wide apart, and said shyly, Xiao Yi, you go ahead. Xiao Yi. Solving template problems is different from solving physical defects. There is no need to take off clothes or use secret massage methods. The patient can stand, squat, or stand upside down, and there is no need to lie down. He slapped his forehead. It was his fault, because he didn't explain clearly. However, since Yizier had no objection, he would not correct this minor mistake which was insignificant. I'm going to do it. Xiao Yi took out the box covered with forbidden runes, opened the box, took out the 2 creation rule fragment crystals placed inside, threw them out, and they quietly floated 10 centimeters above Yizier. Yizier closed her eyes tightly. Her skin flushed, and she said in a crisp voice, Go ahead, I can bear it. Xiao Yi activated the template repair function of the template adjuster. A supreme, vast and profound power descended upon Yizier, and the 2 crystals of the creation rule fragments automatically entered Yizier's body. Under the influence of the supreme power, these 2 fragments of rules turned into the purest power of rules, which penetrated into every aspect of Yizier's delicate body, from the body at the macro level to the cell genetic factors and genes at the micro level. The power of creation rules has a neutralizing effect. It is a neutralizer that maintains the power of other attribute rules and can stabilize the template. The auspicious power and curse power deep in the genes tried to restrain it, but were quickly stabilized by the power of creation, allowing the 2 to reach a balance point. The auspicious power and curse power in every aspect of the body became gentle and stable. Yizier felt extremely comfortable, and this comfortable feeling made her let out an embarrassing moan of pleasure. Template repair successful. Exploration function activated. SSS level virtual beast template. Lucky blessing. The person who is blessed will be favored by the power of auspiciousness, which will increase their good luck and fortune. The strength of the blessing can be controlled. Bad luck curse. Trigger the power of the curse. Curse the enemy, and make the enemy have bad luck. The strength of the curse can be controlled. Xiao Yi squatted on the edge of the stone slab, holding a dogtail grass in his mouth, looking at Yizier's template and analyzing some things. These 2 talents can only control the strength of blessings and curses, but cannot control the specific blessings and curses. You can't make others have good luck where you want them to, nor can you make others have bad luck where you want them to. For example, you can only curse the enemy with bad luck, making him unlucky. But the way he becomes unlucky is uncontrollable. You cannot just let the enemy fall to death while walking. Easier felt her body very comfortable, but she didn't feel Xiao Yi giving her a full body acupuncture massage, so she opened her eyes to see what Xiao Yi was doing. As a result, she saw Xiao Yi staring at her delicate body, motionless, in a trance. The shyness that had faded from Yizier's pretty face surged up again, and she asked curiously, "Does it look good?" Xiao Yi was looking at the template when he heard the pleasant voice. He shifted his gaze and looked into her beautiful eyes. "Does it look good?" Yizier asked again, with a hint of anticipation in her voice. Xiao Yi looked at her carefully and nodded. "Beautiful. Yizier has a better figure than Mu Qingzu and Cheng Bingxi, but not as terrifying as Nangong Xia, Liuya and Yun Beng. It's beautiful, you can look at it for a while longer." Yizier covered her face with her hands, and she was actually secretly happy in her heart, and said this sentence for some unknown reason. Chapter 311. Terrifying innate skills. What are you looking at? Am I that kind of person? Xiao Yi handed her to soft, thin, Hawaii patterned panties on the stone slab and said, "Put them on. Your physical condition has been completely resolved. You are now well. Is it okay?" Along with her joy, she felt a little lost in her heart because Xiao Yi hadn't given her a massage yet. Xiao Yi turned his head and saw her getting dressed quietly. "Xiao Yi, how do you want me to repay you?" The graceful Yizier stood on the stone slab, her white skirt making her look ethereal. A blush appeared on her delicate face, and she spoke crisply. Xiao Yi waved his hand. "No need to repay, your father has already paid. You can feel your own template and try your innate skills. If nothing goes wrong, you can now control your innate skills freely. It won't be like before, when your innate skills were activated unconsciously without control." Okay. Yizier closed her eyes and stimulated the power of awakening. The understanding of the innate skills automatically emerged in her mind. There were two innate skills in total. One was the power of blessing and the other was the power of curse. These two innate skills are like her body and can be used at will. "Xiao Yi, it's true. I now truly possess the talents and skills. Before, I had no talents or skills at all, and only had a certain level of cultivation." She was very happy, and a smile appeared on her delicate and pretty face. From now on, Ziar can interact with others like a normal person. "Xiao Yi, thank you." Yizier showed gratitude on her face and excitedly rushed towards Xiao Yi and gave him a loving hug. Feeling the joy in her heart, Xiao Yi raised his hand and gently patted her back, smiling warmly. "You're welcome." Yizier held him tightly and was reluctant to let go. She felt that she had never been so happy in her life. Today was the happiest and most relaxing day in the past few years. And all this was brought by Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi gave her a new life. Naturally, Yizier developed an inexplicable feeling for this man, and this feeling made her heart beat faster involuntarily. "Oh no, no. This is a heart-pounding feeling. I really want to hold him like this forever." After being hugged for more than 2 minutes, Xiao Yi felt that he was being hugged tighter and tighter, and the softness in front of him was just pressed against him, so he pushed her away, stared into her beautiful eyes and said, "Ms. Yi, men and women should not touch each other. It's not good for you to keep hugging me like this." Yizier's pretty face was flushed, and she shyly said with a dodgy look, "If it's Xiao Yi's words, I don't mind." The corner of Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. Yet he thought to himself that this was not good. The girl's behavior was a sign of the beginning of her downfall. It's obviously a phenomenon of a young woman in heat. "Ms. Yi, you can try to use your talent skills. Speaking of which, I'm also curious about the effect of your skills. The power of auspiciousness and the power of curse are both very rare attribute categories. When they are combined together and appear in one person, it becomes even rarer and more precious." Yizier pouted and said dissatisfiedly, "Calling you Miss Yi is too strange." Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. "Then I'll call you Yizier?" Yizier shook her head and said shyly, "Just call me Ziar." "Ziar?" Xiao Yi spoke. "It was just a name. It didn't mean anything." Xiao Yi changed the name naturally. Yizier smiled, her pretty face blooming like a beautiful flower, and she said excitedly, "Xiao Yi, I will go find a little white mouse to experiment with the innate skills." Well, who should I look for, Daddy or? She didn't want Xiao Yi to be a guinea pig, and the first choice in her mind was her daddy Yi Tai. At this time, near the trail, a female wolf walked towards the stream and appeared in the sight of Yizier and Xiao Yi. Yizier's beautiful eyes lit up. She raised her white and tender little hand and waved, saying, "Xiao Bie, come here quickly. I'll play something fun with you. You will definitely like it." The white wolf is intelligent, with an IQ comparable to that of a human child. It can understand human language. When it sees its owner Yizier waving at it, it happily runs over, wagging its tail. It jumped happily into Yizier's arms, and looked at Xiao Yi with a vigilant look. "Xiao Yi." It was this female wolf who threw a hidden weapon at him and almost ruined his reputation. So Xiao Yi said, "Ziar, this is the test subject. This silly-looking white wolf is very suitable to be a guinea pig. Try to use the curse power on it with a small force first." Ezr laughed heavily and said maliciously. Xiao Bie, Xiao Yi said that you are very suitable to be a test subject. Then you are definitely suitable, so you will have to work hard. A white-haired female wolf's hair suddenly stood on end, and it kicked its limbs wildly in an attempt to escape, but there was no way it could break free from the arms of Ezr, who was at the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. Cursed Doom minimum power. The talent skill is activated, and a mysterious force envelops the little white wolf. Ezr let go of the white-haired female wolf after landing. A white wolf suddenly jumped up, trying to jump onto the stone slab, then jump across the 10-meter stream and leap towards the other side of the shore. But it pushed its limbs hard, and the clean and tidy stone slabs caused its feet to slip, and the whole wolf fell into the stream with a splash. All his hair was soaked and he looked like a drowned wolf. White Wolf was speechless. He had jumped here tens of thousands of times before, but this was the first time he fell into the water. Somewhat unconvinced, it returned to the stone slab again and leapt towards the other side of the shore. Swoosh, it drew a beautiful parabola, leapt over smoothly and landed steadily on the other side of the shore. A white wolf raised its head proudly, shook off the water on its fur, and left here triumphantly. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. This is still a she-wolf with a very unique personality. He saw something. The power of the cursed is very subtle, but it can be sensed if you sense it carefully. When the white wolf jumped for the first time, the power of the curse was still on it. After it fell into the water, the power of the curse dissipated. But this clean and tidy stone slab will not make people slip no matter how they step on it. But the mother wolf slipped. Therefore, Ezr's curse of bad luck is also a conceptual talent skill. As long as you are cursed, even if the environmental conditions are not good, even if the cursed person tries his best to avoid it, he will definitely be unlucky. The power of a curse is like this, and correspondingly, the power of an auspicious blessing should be similar. It cannot be avoided and is bound to happen. Hiss. After reaching this conclusion, Xiao Yi took a breath of cold air. It's so terrifying. What? Ezr was very satisfied with her own talents and skills but was a little confused when she heard Xiao Yi's words. Isn't it just a slip? Is it scary? If these two skills are used well, they can produce unexpected results and even turn the tide of the battle. Xiao Yi patted her shoulders. I've tried the power of curse, now you can try the power of blessing. Ezr nodded. Auspicious blessing. Increase good luck and fortune. Maximum power. She raised her hand and used the blessing skill on herself and Xiao Yi. A mysterious tower emerged from her, enveloping her and Xiao Yi. Chapter 312. I kidnapped a beautiful beast girl and brought her back. This power is very mysterious, unique and difficult to detect. It is luck. Luck and fortune are linked to fate. Luck is such a mysterious thing, it is much more advanced than space and time. The power of auspiciousness descended upon him. Xiao Yi, who had spatial perception, could only roughly sense that there was something extra on his body, but this thing could not be captured or dispelled, could not be touched or seen. Ezr used the talent skill Auspicious Blessing at its maximum power. She felt that the auspicious energy in her body was directly drained, and her spirit became exhausted. She was in a daze and unsteady on her feet, and almost fell to the ground. Xiao Yi supported her and prevented her from falling to the ground. It seems that there is no upper limit to the consumption of this talent skill. It directly drains Ezr dry, Ezr said with embarrassment on her pretty face. Just 1 second and it was drained? Xiao Yi was a little surprised, and he felt more and more that this kind of destiny-side talent skill was very terrifying. Not only was the effect outstanding, but the consumption was also astonishing. Seeing Ezr's embarrassed expression, he comforted her. It's just that you're not proficient in using it the first time. Use it a few more times, and you'll be able to control your energy consumption freely after you become proficient. Besides, the greater the energy consumption, the better the effect of this talent skill. After being comforted, Ezr's depressed mood became cheerful. Xiao Yi looked at Ezr and himself, and said curiously, I just don't know what will happen if my luck increases. Task, help Ezr solve the template problem. The task has been completed. The task reward is being distributed and has been placed in the system space. Please check it yourself. Task reward, rule level treasure hunting pointer. The cold, mechanical prompting sound of the system came from my mind. Xiao Yi was overjoyed, and got another rule level treasure. With this treasure, it would be much easier and more convenient to find template upgrade resources in the future. And he would not have to worry about not being able to find upgrade resources. At this moment, he put aside his good luck and said, let's go back together so that I can report to Uncle Yi. The two of them returned all the way out of the grove at the back of the mountain and returned to the main hall of the city lord's mansion. Inside the main hall of the city lord's mansion, Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu were drinking tea easily and calmly. However, Yi Tai, on the contrary, was a little anxious and wanted to know how his daughter was doing. The physical problem is caused by the template problem. Can brother Xiao solve the template problem at one time? If there is even the slightest mistake, will my daughter be affected and develop other physical problems? Yun Bing watched him pace back and forth in the hall, and said with a smile, City Lord Yi, don't worry. Xiao Yi can even solve the template problem of a supreme like me. Miss Yi is only at the venerable realm, so it will be easier to solve her template problem. After hearing this, Yitai's inner anxiety was reduced a little, and he nodded and said, I believe in Brother Xiao's ability. At this time, the people walked out from the back door of the city lord's mansion. The man was handsome and the woman was graceful. They were Xiao Yi and Yi Zi'er. Uncle Yi, I have accomplished my mission. All problems have been solved. You don't have to worry about physical problems in the future, Xiao Yi said. A magnetic male voice reached his ears, and Yitai rushed to Yi Zi'er. In one step he looked at her carefully and felt her. He said with great joy and excitement, it's gone. That vague sense of threat is completely gone. Zi'er, your physical condition is really healed. He held Yi Zi'er's hands excitedly. His hands trembled with excitement, and 2 lines of tears flowed down his tough face. But even with tears, his eyes were full of joy. For 10 years, Zi'er has been troubled by physical problems since she awakened her template 10 years ago. In the past 10 years, I have visited all the medical families, traveled all over the country, and tried countless methods, but none of them worked. Everyone is secretly saying that my daughter is a disaster and a calamity. As he spoke, sadness, fatigue and helplessness appeared in his eyes. The lord of a top-level base city burst into tears in front of everyone. Xiao Yi, Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu were watching, but they didn't find it strange or funny at all. As the saying goes, men don't shed tears easily, but only when they are heartbroken. As long as the most fragile string in the heart is touched, both men and women will shed tears. But one is audible and the other is silent. Yi Zi'er was infected by her father's emotions and also burst into tears, giving people a pitiful and sympathetic feeling. The snot was running so long on that delicate and pitiful face that she could even go fishing. Swoosh, she took a deep breath and sucked the snot back into her nose. The father and daughter held hands and vented their emotions with tears in their eyes. 2 minutes later, they returned to normal, with their hearts filled with joy and happiness. Zi'er, wipe your nose. It's so ugly. Yitai tittied himself up and said jokingly. Yi Zi'er used her mental power to observe herself, screamed, covered her face and ran into the bathroom. Yitai walked in front of Xiao Yi, knelt down, bowed to Xiao Yi, and said gratefully, Brother Xiao, from now on, you are my real brother. I will remember this kindness in my heart. If you need anything, just come to me. No matter how many things it is, as long as I can do it, I will help you. That token. It doesn't matter whether you use it or not. Xiao Yi helped him up and said with a faint smile, just do one thing. This is the reward we agreed on beforehand. Okay, your daughter's template problem has been solved, and we should go back. Yun Bing nodded, and directly tore open a space crack in the open space of the city lord's mansion hall, and then used the space teleportation talent skill to create a stable and safe space channel in it. See you again if we're lucky. Xiao Yi waved his hand and was about to follow Yun Bing into the space crack. Xiao Yi, wait. A pleasant voice came from not far away. Yi Zi'er ran over anxiously and asked, can I go with you? Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu widened their eyes. What was going on? This bastard Xiao Yi kidnapped a beautiful beast girl just to treat the template problem? Xiao Yi almost choked on his saliva. Zi'er, you'd better explain clearly what you mean by coming with me, otherwise I will be beaten by multiple women. Sure enough, just as he said, Yun Bing and Mu Qingzu looked at him with dangerous eyes. Why? She just didn't want to separate from Xiao Yi so soon. Yitai frowned. He could see what his daughter was thinking, so he said, Father Xiao, Zi'er didn't have many friends before, and she didn't go to the Beastmaster Academy for further studies. She wants to go to Kunpeng Academy with you. Yi Zi'er's beautiful eyes lit up. Yes, I want to go to Kunpeng College with Xiao Yi to study further. Yitai continued. Sister Kunpeng, I have a small request. I hope you can agree to it. Let Zi'er become an external student at Kunpeng College, and let her live and study with Xiao Yi. She has been out of society for too long and needs to reintegrate into society. Chapter 313, Rule Level Treasure Hunting Pointer, Treasure Hunting Successful. Yun Bing was stunned for a moment, and said, of course we can arrange for someone to be an external student. However, Miss Yi's realm and age are far beyond the admission standards of Kunpeng Academy, especially her realm, which is already the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. Even if she goes to Kunpeng Academy, she won't be able to learn much. It's better for her to be taught by the elders in the family. Yitai smiled and said, it's okay. The main thing is to let Zi'er integrate into society. Yun Bing thought about it for a moment, then readily agreed and said, no problem. Miss Yi can come to Kunpeng College anytime. With her authority as vice president, it was only a matter of a word to arrange for Yi Zi'er to enroll. Yi Zi'er's beautiful eyes lit up and she jumped for joy. Xiao Yi asked curiously, how old is Zi'er? Mu Qingzu glared at Xiao Yi. Why did you call her so intimately? Just call me a proud little girl. You must have something wrong. Yi Zi'er hesitated, looked at Xiao Yi nervously, and said, I am 28 years old. and it has been 10 years since I awakened the template. Does this make me an old aunt? Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. She was actually 28 years old, 10 years older than him. ZR is a few years older. But she has almost no social experience, even less than you. She has not left the house for the past 10 years apart from those medical masters. She only has contact with a handful of people on a regular basis, Itai explained. Although she is old, her mental age is only 18 years old. Xiao Yi nodded thoughtfully. Mu Qingzu smiled and said, then Yi Zr can come with us, we will take care of her. Itai clasped his fists and thanked him. Xiao Yi waved his hand. Arrogant girl, I just solved the template problem. And I must stay with my family for a while. Why are you so anxious to let me come to Kunpeng College? Yun Bing said, indeed. Miss Yi can come to Kunpeng College at any time, we welcome you. Itai looked at Yi Zr and asked, Zr? When do you want to go to Kunpeng College? Yi Zr looked at Xiao Yi, then at Itai, and finally made up her mind and said, I want to go to Kunpeng College with Xiao Yi to study further. Daddy, you will come to Kunpeng College to see me, right? Itai's face darkened. His daughter was so moved that she wanted to go with Xiao Yi directly. She was so naive that she was sold out and probably even helped others count money. However, he trusted Xiao Yi very much and believed that Xiao Yi would not do anything to hurt Yi Zr. Yes, facing Yi Zr's words, Itai nodded, took out a storage ring and put it on Yi Zr's hand himself, and explained, this is not only a storage ring, but also a supreme perfection level offensive and defensive prop. There are 10 teleportation tailnesons in it. After crushing them, you can return to my side. Don't worry. Go ahead, come back anytime. If you miss home, if you miss me, you can use your mental power to vibrate the storage ring. I will sense it and come to see you. After finishing the instructions, Yi Zr followed Xiao Yi, Yunbing and Mu Qingzu, stepped into the space crack, passed through the space channel, and came to Villa No. 2 in the No. 1 Lakeview Villa area of Kunpeng Academy. Xiao Yi, Yi Zr will live in your villa first. After the formalities are completed, we will arrange a villa for her. Yunbing lay lazily on the sofa, kicked off her shoes, and placed her pair of jade feet directly on the table. Xiao Yi nodded. Being able to live with Xiao Yi, does that mean we are living together? Yi Zr became excited and her pretty face flushed slightly. Yi Zr, you haven't visited Kunpeng Academy yet, right? I'll take you around and familiarize you with the environment. Mu Qingzu took Yi Zr's hand and ran out of the villa. Seeing that Xiao Yi didn't leave, Yunbing's beautiful eyes lit up and asked, why you don't want to go back to meet your other beast girls? You want to stay and kick me? Kick you? Are you addicted to being kicked? What kind of vicious words are you saying? Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he took out the mission reward he had obtained this time, rule level, treasure hunting pointer. Seeing that he didn't say anything, Yunbing placed her feet on his legs and said, if you don't say anything, I'll take it as your consent. Now that you have become my contractor, you have to satisfy me. Don't even think about leaving today. Xiao Yi didn't listen. He was looking at the treasure hunting pointer, a rule level treasure, the same level as the Xuanhuang gem. This is a treasure in the shape of a compass, with only a blue pointer, and the shell is heavy and emits blue light, exuding a vicissitudes of ancient atmosphere. Detailed introduction to the rule level treasure hunting pointer. Treasure hunting function can find everything in the world, including human treasures, natural treasures, earthly treasures, soul bodies, spiritual bodies, secret realms, space nodes, rules, entities, etc. Navigation function can automatically navigate the route, give the route and spatial nodes. Treasure hunting function. But this function is very powerful and can find everything in the world. Xiao Yi laughed heavily with this treasure. What could he not find in the world? Well, let's try it first. The treasure hunting pointer automatically recognized its owner. Successfully recognized its owner, Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi felt that there was a mysterious connection between him and the treasure hunting pointer. Please describe the characteristics of the search object. The treasure pointer has no intelligence, but it has its own internal logic that runs independently and is quite mechanical. Xiao Yi looked at Yunbing and described it to the treasure hunting pointer. There are 2 big watermelons hanging on his chest. He is the vice president of Kunpeng Academy. After the description was completed, the treasure hunting pointer glowed blue, and a mysterious chain stretched out from it, absorbed into the void, and then stretched out from the void and connected to Yunbing. Treasure hunt successful. Navigation function automatically starts. A 3D navigation map was transmitted into Xiao Yi's mind. There was a blue dot, a blue arrow, and a red dot in the map. The blue dot represents his location. The blue arrow is the direction, and the red dot is where Yunbing is. Xiao Yi moved towards Yunbing and kissed her. The blue dot and the red dot on the navigation map overlapped. Navigation successful. Information is coming from the treasure hunting pointer. The mysterious chain in the void also disappeared. Yunbing was completely unaware of the existence of the mysterious chain, only Xiao Yi could see it. After being kissed, Yunbing's beautiful eyes widened as her mouth was blocked. She said in a muffled voice, "Are you so thirsty?" It's not even night yet, but you can't wait? Okay. Xiao Yi, you asked for this. Xiao Yi exclaimed, no. You misunderstood. Yunbing didn't care and rushed towards Xiao Yi directly. A few hours later, Yunbing raised her head proudly and walked into the bathroom very proudly, leaving Xiao Yi behind with a tired face. Xiao Yi's face was very dark. What a sin, he was totally defeated. Lying on the sofa, in order to make up for his wounded heart, he once again activated the treasure hunting function of the treasure hunting pointer and described it, reincarnation type magical beast. Grandmaster level. This description is very rough, it only gives a name and doesn't mention any characteristics. Buzz buzz buzz. The treasure pointer glowed with brilliant blue light, and a chain stretched out from the pointer and entered the void. In an ancient secret realm, a mysterious chain emerged from the void and linked to a magical beast that was defecating. Treasure hunt successful. Navigation function automatically starts. When the information came, Xiao Yi was overjoyed. Reincarnation type monsters really exist. Chapter 314. The ancient secret realm where the magical beasts with reincarnation attributes are located. A 3D navigation map was projected directly into Xiao Yi's mind by the treasure hunting pointer. There were no buildings on the navigation map, only spatial coordinates and spatial nodes. The starting point is the blue dot where Xiao Yi is, and the end point is the red dot where the reincarnation type monster is, and there is a blue arrow between the two. 7. These are the spatial coordinates of the reincarnation type monsters, which are also the spatial coordinates of the red dot. Xiao Yi felt a headache looking at the navigation map. At present, he didn't understand spatial nodes and spatial coordinates. The spatial coordinates of the spatial nodes can only be initially accessed when one has reached at least the supreme realm. Only when one has reached the supreme realm can one tear through space and use the spatial nodes to quickly cross the void. If they are not space-type beast masters or beast girls, they cannot perform space jump. 7. If they tear the space apart, they can only escape to the back of the space. Quickly cross the void on the back of the empty space, reach the destination space coordinates, and then tear the space apart to return to reality. The back of the space is a void space with no obstacles. One can travel quickly, much faster than in reality, where there are rules that enforce the air resistance of buildings to reduce speed. Only the beast masters and beast girls who summon beasts with space attributes can perform space jumps and reach the end space node from the starting space node within a few seconds. This 7, where is it? Xiao Yi looked at the space coordinates where the blue arrow passed. There were 12 space nodes. 230 123. 14. His space coordinates were 456. The red dot spatial coordinates have an exclamation mark, while the others do not. Xiao Yi couldn't understand these spatial coordinates. But Xiao Yi followed the direction of the blue arrow, went to the window and looked outside, then found that this direction was the direction of the imperial capital base city. At this time, Yunbing, wrapped only in a bath towel, walked out of the bathroom. The white bath towel barely covered the key parts of her devilishly curvy figure, leaving the rest of her body exposed, with a pair of round, white and long legs shining brightly. Yunbing raised his head and said with some pride, Xiao Yi, I am satisfied. You can go back. Xiao Yi's face turned dark. His body had undergone an upgrade in evolution, but after Yunbing's template was upgraded, her body also evolved and her life level was improved. The level of their bodies was not much different, and the realm gap between him and Yunbing was too big, so he could not defeat her now. There are only cows that die of exhaustion, but no land that is damaged by plowing. I have to go back, but before that, I have some questions to ask you. Xiao Yi's expression turned serious. Yunbing put away his playful heart and asked, what's the matter? Xiao Yi said, 7, where is it? Yunbing was a little surprised and said in astonishment, this is the coordinate of a secret place behind the space layer within the Dragon Country Supreme Alliance headquarters. The corresponding real coordinate is 7, which is within the Supreme Alliance headquarters in the Imperial Capital base city. Is there any problem? Sure enough, it was in the Imperial Capital, with an exclamation mark, which turned out to be the spatial coordinates of the secret realm. Xiao Yi got straight to the point and said, in this secret realm, there are groups of magical beasts with reincarnation attributes. Yunbing frowned. Are you sure? Xiao Yi took out the rule-level treasure hunting pointer and nodded. I am sure and certain. This is a treasure hunting pointer. It can find anything in the world as long as you can describe the name or characteristics of the thing you are looking for. As long as it exists in the world, you can find it. Wow, so awesome. Yunbing felt that his eyes had been opened and his knowledge had been broadened. She took the treasure hunting pointer and felt it carefully with her white fingers, saying, there is a complete force of rules inside. The force of rules is like a hall. The shell material is very old, at least 20,000 years old. This is at least a quasi-emperor level treasure. As she analyzed, Yunbing widened her beautiful eyes and said in disbelief, Xiao Yi, where did you get so many treasures? I have lived for 1500 years, but I don't have a single treasure above the supreme Those ancient family heritages that have been passed down for a long time probably don't have many quasi-emperor level treasures. But you have obtained high-level treasures one after another. Xiao Yi had no expression on his face. Then what? Yun Bing's eyes became fiery, staring at him straight, and said, "Tell me, are you the descendant of some hidden ancient family? Or even the young master of an ancient hidden family, and I am the young lady of an ancient hidden family?" As she spoke, the corners of her mouth curled up and she became a little excited, not even noticing that the bath towel had fallen off. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he slapped her perky but hard with a crisp and sensual sound. He said speechlessly, "No. Don't guess randomly, I am Xiao Yi, an orphan. As for the origin of these treasures, don't pursue it." He looked serious. Yun Bing seemed to be poured with a bucket of cold water. His excitement disappeared in an instant. His mood returned to normal and he nodded. "Okay." Xiao Yi smiled, "Thank you." Yun Bing rolled her eyes at him. "Why thank you? We've already signed a contract and are now husband and wife. If I ever hear you say thank you, I'll keep you in bed every day." Xiao Yi's face darkened. He felt that his realm was still too low. If he had reached the supreme realm, he would definitely be able to turn the tables and become the master, taking control of the initiative. Yun Bing saw the bath towel falling off, so she deliberately pulled it away and said, "Come over and help me lift it." Xiao Yi did as she wished. After the towel was picked up, Yun Bing returned the treasure pointer to Xiao Yi and said, "Those coordinates are the coordinates of the secret realm of the Supreme Alliance. This secret realm is also the private secret realm of the Supreme Alliance. We cannot enter it, let alone kill the monsters to obtain the rule fragment crystals. Is it not possible to enter secretly?" Xiao Yi asked. Yun Bing shook her head. "The leader of the Supreme Alliance, Ziran, is in the quasi-saint realm. There are also saints in the Supreme Alliance. If we want to sneak in, we can't escape their sight." Xiao Yi frowned. "This is troublesome." Ding-ling-ling. At this time, Xiao Yi's communicator rang. When he took it out, he saw it was a call from King Kong's Supreme Cheng Gang. "Brother Cheng, is there something wrong?" Xiao Yi answered the phone. King Kong's Supreme Cheng Gang replied, "Brother Xiao, is Sister Kun Peng next to you?" Xiao Yi glanced at Yun Bing and said, "Yes." King Kong Supreme's face changed, and he said nervously, "Brother Xiao. You are my brother Xiao. Just call me Xiao Gang. Don't call me Brother Cheng in the future. I can't bear it." Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. "Okay Xiao Gang." Cheng Gang laughed. "Tomorrow is the day when the Supreme Alliance recruits Supremes. Brother Xiao, are you interested in going with me and joining the Supreme Alliance? The Supreme Alliance is the only one besides the Imperial City Lord's Mansion that can compete with the 4 ancient families in the Imperial City. There are many benefits to joining. There are resources to be gained, and you can also enter the ancient secret realm for training." "Can you enter the ancient secret realm?" Xiao Yi's expression lit up with joy. He was just worrying about entering the secret realm, but now he has a solution. When did his luck become so good? Chapter 315. His ear is poisoned. Even if he is usually lucky, he is not this lucky. When you feel sleepy, the pillow comes. Joining the Supreme Alliance is based on the realm of the Summon Beast, as long as the realm of the Summon Beast is the supreme realm. Xiao Gang, if the Supreme Alliance expands, I will participate, Xiao Yi said. King Kong Supreme Cheng Gang smiled and said, "Okay. Brother Xiao, let's go together tomorrow. I also plan to join the Supreme Alliance, so let's meet at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning." Xiao Yi nodded, "Okay." Then King Kong Supreme Cheng Gang said nervously, "Wait, Brother Xiao, don't you want to discuss this with Sister Kun Peng? Let me make it clear to you. I didn't induce you to join the Supreme Alliance, you wanted to go there on your own." Cheng Gang vaguely remembered that when Sister Kun Peng had a hot temper, she would come to him every week to practice, beating him so hard that his face was bruised and it took him several days to recover. Xiao Yi glanced at Yun Bing, who was lazily lying on the sofa, and said to the address book, "No need to discuss. I am the head of my family. I can go if I say so, and Yun Bing has to listen to me. If she dares to resist, I will kick her to death." When Cheng Gang heard this, his eyes widened in shock, and he gave a thumbs up and said in an admiring tone, "You are worthy of being Brother Xiao. Finally, someone can subdue Sister Kun Peng." Xiao Yi raised his head and said proudly, "That's right, don't you see who I am? Okay, it's settled. Let's go together tomorrow." Bye. After hanging up the call, a huge monster appeared above Xiao Yi's head. He looked up and the monster suddenly pressed down and completely submerged his head in it. Yun Bing's beautiful eyes sparkled with brilliance, and she said sinisterly, "Who do you want to kick to death? How do you want to kick? Stand up and kick. It seems that I haven't made you realize it just now." Xiao Yi's vision went dark, and he felt the whole world become S of the asked in a muffled voice, "What are you going to do? What do you think?" Yun Bing tore off the bath towel and threw it on the ground. Teleportation, short distance space jump, the range is within the field of vision and divine consciousness. Xiao Yi felt something smooth touching his face. and he quickly used his innate skill to teleport out of the villa and came to the gate of the villa. Then he ran out in a panic, muttering as he ran. It's not good. Sister Yunbing has already reached the stage of being as fierce as a wolf or a tiger. How can I handle it? Yunbing watched him leave through the window and chuckled. Am I that scary? I just scared him and he ran away. You really think I'm haughty at this level? I can resist not touching a man for 100 years. Join the Supreme Alliance, whatever. The Supreme Alliance is a public force formed by some supreme organizations across the Dragon Country. Joining it does not restrict personal freedom. It is just that sometimes tasks will be assigned, allowing the Supremes to complete the tasks selectively. They can also receive rewards for completing the tasks. It is equivalent to the Summoning Beast Guild and the Bounty Guild. But the threshold is very high and only the Supreme is eligible to join. In Villa No. 10 of the No. 3 Lakeview Villa District, Wu Qingzu took Easier to visit the college and then came back. After coming back, she found many bottles of medicine, big and small, in mineral water bottles, placed on the table in the living room on the first floor. The aphrodisiac and fertility-enhancing potion that I ordered have arrived. Wu Qingzu checked and found that there were about 200 bottles. 100 bottles of aphrodisiacs and 100 bottles of fertility-enhancing potions. Aphrodisiacs, as the name suggests, are drugs that increase hormones. Fertility-enhancing drugs are drugs that enhance the activity of sperm and sperm. In each type of potion, there are 10 bottles of Grandmaster level potion, 10 bottles of Grandmaster level potion, 60 bottles of Venerable level potion, and 20 bottles of Grand Venerable level potion. There is only medicine, no antidote. At this time, Qing Bingshi came up from the underground training room with a dry mouth. Water. I want to drink water. Seeing the mineral water bottle of medicine, she picked up one without thinking and drank it down. Sister Bingshi. Don't drink it, that's. Wu Qingzu wanted to stop her, but before she could finish her words, Cheng Bingshi finished the bottle of potion. Cheng Bingshi patted her belly and said with a smile, it's still a coconut-flavored drink, sweetly refreshing, and delicious. Wu Qingzu blinked her big eyes and asked with a guilty conscience, don't you feel uncomfortable? Cheng Bingshi was stunned. No, there's nothing wrong with drinking water. Hey, isn't this Miss Easier? Are you here at Kunpeng College to play? Cheng Bingshi had seen Easier at the wedding banquet and had a deep impression of her. She recognized her at a glance. Easier smiled and responded. Yes, my physical problem has been solved. I have come to Kunpeng College to study further during this period of time. Cheng Bingshi nodded. Then you should study hard. After saying that, Cheng Bingshi ran away happily and continued to practice in the underground training room. Wu Qingzu looked at the small print on the bottle and saw that it was a Grandmaster level aphrodisiac. She breathed a sigh of relief and thought to herself, Sister Bingshi is already at the 7th level of the Venerable Realm, and the aphrodisiacs at the Grandmaster Realm will have no effect on her. Ezr, a simple, weak and elegant girl who had not experienced much of the intrigues of society, heard that the drink was sweet and delicious. So she immediately picked up a bottle, unscrewed the cap, and drank several sips. Smack your lips a few times. Ezr smacked her lips and said with a happy smile, so sweet, so delicious. Wu Qingzu was shocked and quickly snatched the potion bottle saying, this is an aphrodisiac, don't drink it. If you have a reaction, who will help you detoxify it? I looked at the small print on the label, and saw that it was an aphrodisiac for the Venerable Realm. Miss. Wu Qingzu took a breath of cold air and said with a guilty conscience, Zr, you only drank 3 or 4 sips, do you feel any discomfort in your body? Ezr is at the 6th level of the Venerable Realm, just a few bites should be okay, right? Ezr widened her beautiful eyes. Her body became hot, and her pretty face became flustered. Aphrodisiac? I actually drank an aphrodisiac. I seem to have a fever. Sister Qingzu, do you have an antidote? Wu Qingzu touched her forehead with the back of her hand, and felt that it was only a little bit hot. She immediately breathed a sigh of relief and said, there is no antidote, but it's okay, you only drank a few sips. With your realm and body, I think a slight fever will be fine. She put all the potions into the storage ring, then took out a bottle of liquid beverage from the Beast Girl era that was 0 degrees but not frozen from the refrigerator and handed it to Ezr to relieve her fever symptoms. It's okay, drink this, Wu Qingzu said with a smile, I'll go tidy up the guest room so you can move in. After saying that, she left, leaving behind Ezr who was sipping her cold drink. Ezr took small sips of the drink. But she felt her body getting hotter and hotter. A little panicked, she tilted her head back and drank it in big gulps. After drinking a whole bottle, my body temperature stopped rising, but it didn't drop either. She twisted her body in a twisted manner, her brows furrowed, her face flushed with an expression of pain. What's wrong with you? At this time, Xiaoyi returned to Villa No. 10 and saw Ezr who was in a bad state at a glance. Chapter 316 Xiaoyi cures the poison. Ezr's condition was very bad at this moment. Her hands, feet, neck and face, which were exposed to the air, looked as if they had been scalded by boiling water. Xiao Yi, I'm so hot. When Yi Zi'er saw Xiao Yi appear, she felt like she had found her backbone and her heart was filled with a sense of security. She pounced towards Xiao Yi and hung her whole body on Xiao Yi. Damn, it's hot, even through her clothes. Xiao Yi could feel the heat of her body. What did you do? It's so hot, Xiao Yi asked. Yi Zi'er said shyly, I drank the aphrodisiac, please help me. Aphrodisiac? Xiao Yi's face darkened, and he said unhappily, Wu Qingzu actually took you to drink aphrodisiac. Is she sick? She asked you to go shopping, but she asked you to drink aphrodisiac? This arrogant little girl needs a lesson. Looks like I need to teach her a lesson. He suddenly widened his eyes, and Yi Zi'er actually moved her mouth closer to him and blocked his mouth. Xiao Yi, please help me detoxify. After a few seconds the two separated and she pleaded. Xiao Yi's expression was solemn. He nodded and said, okay, I will detoxify you right away. Then, he carried Yi Zi'er to a guest room and gently placed her on the bed. Zi'er, this is urgent, I'm sorry. Xiao Yi pulled her clothes and tore them off with great force with a ripping sound. Yi Zi'er's clothes were torn into pieces, turning white. Yi Zi'er said, be gentle. Xiao Yi shook his head. This kind of thing requires speed and force. He took out a regular level Xuanhuang gemstone, and then used an ancient massage secret method to start massaging Yi Zi'er's acupuncture points to force the aphrodisiac out of her body. The ancient massage secret method can draw out the riotous rules of power and riotous Taorim energy in the human body, and can also draw out the aphrodisiac poison in the human body. The Xuanhuang gemstone can absorb all the turbulent and chaotic rules, Taorim energy, mental power, soul power, etc. Hey, don't move. Oh my god. Why are you touching me? Wait, that won't work. Hold on a little longer. The poison will be drawn out soon. The acupuncture point secret route will be arranged soon. While Xiao Yi was giving her a massage, Yi Zi'er was very dishonest. Or rather, she approached him unconsciously or subconsciously. Xiao Yi, who was disturbed, slapped Yi Zi'er's mischievous hand away while concentrating on massaging the acupuncture points of the human body in order. 10 minutes later, with Xiao Yi's accelerated technique, a channel connecting the human acupuncture points was finally completed. The Xuanhuang gemstone absorbs the poison in Yi Zi'er's body. The bridge was built, and the black and yellow gemstone emitted bursts of light, which sprinkled on Yi Zi'er's body. A particle was directly sucked out. These are the poison particles that haven't yet fully exerted their medicinal effects. In just 10 seconds, all the poisonous particles were absorbed. The brilliance of the dark yellow gem faded, and it floated quietly in the air. Then Xiao Yi used control of water to condense several strands of ice and spread them around Yi Zi'er. The temperature in the room suddenly dropped to minus 50 degrees Celsius. With the penetration of the cold temperature of the ice, Yi Zi'er's body temperature gradually dropped. The whole body is no longer red and becomes normal. Zi'er, how do you feel? Xiao Yi asked, putting away the Xuanhuang gem. Yi Zi'er covered her face with her hands and said shyly, I'm much better. Xiao Yi stood up and walked outside saying, you should have brought some clothes in your storage ring. The guest room has its own bathroom, I'll go out first. When he reached the door, Yi Zi'er suddenly said, wait. Xiao Yi stopped, what's wrong? Yi Zi'er covered her face and said, actually, I wouldn't mind if you used the most primitive detoxification method to detoxify me. Isn't the most primitive method the one that detoxified Mu Qingzu? Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he said, you don't mind, but I do. Yi Zi'er was stunned and felt a little disappointed. Do you think I am not worthy of you? That's not the case. Xiao Yi shook his head, opened the door and walked out of the room. Ouch, the drum hurts. Zhang Bingxi, Nan Gongxiao and Mu Qingzu, who were eavesdropping outside the door, fell to the ground and rubbed the drum in pain. Xiao Yi looked at the three women at his feet. His face darkened. What are you doing? Zhang Bingxi jumped up with a backflip, raised her finger and pointed at Xiao Yi. Angrily said, okay, Xiao Yi, you took advantage of us not paying attention and attacked other beast girls. You are really good. You hurt Yi Zi'er, bullied the new beast girl. And now you have to be responsible for the new beast girl. That's right, you have been harboring ill intentions for a long time, wanting to have sex with Yi Zi'er. Being accused by the three women, Xiao Yi's face turned even darker. Especially when Mu Qingzu pointed at him, he was furious and said angrily, hey, arrogant girl, I haven't bothered you yet but you're blaming me. Where's your face? Look at what you had done. I asked you to take Yi Zi'er shopping and asked her to drink aphrodisiac. Is this how you treat your guests? If I hadn't come back in time, Yi Zi'er would have been tortured by the aphrodisiac. Mu Qingzu shrugged her head, feeling guilty and not daring to look up at him. She stammered, I didn't ask her to drink the aphrodisiac, she drank it on her own. Xiao Yi glared at her, how dare you quibble? You had an obligation to watch her and prevent her from touching the aphrodisiac, but you didn't do it. This was the first time Xiao Yi scolded her harshly. Mu Qingzu lowered her head even more. Her eyes were a little red, and she said in a voice as small as a mosquito, "I was wrong." Xiao Yi dug his ears and said, "What did you say? I didn't hear you, speak louder." "I was wrong." Mu Qingzu shouted. Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongxiao stood by without saying a word. The two women watched quietly before they understood the whole story. Xiao Yi snorted coldly. "You should apologize to Yizi or what? What's the point of apologizing to me?" Mu Qingzu raised her head with red eyes and said, "I will apologize to her." "Why are you so fierce? You asked me to buy the aphrodisiac to help the monkeys reproduce." Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongxiao suddenly realized what was going on. The two girls quickly surrounded them and waved their hands, saying, "Okay, stop arguing. It's good that Yizi is fine now. Qingzu didn't mean it. Xiao Yi, I still say that you must be responsible for what you had done and you must not let Yizi down." Cheng Bingxi's pretty face was serious. Mu Qingzu hid behind Cheng Bingxi and said, "I've seen it for a long time. Yizi is attracted to Xiao Yi." Nan Gongxiao crossed her arms across her chest with a scrutinizing look. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he told the truth. "Then you are thinking the wrong thing. I didn't do anything to Yizi to cure the aphrodisiac poison. I used the ancient massage secret method, just like solving physical defects. To guide the aphrodisiac poison particles out of the body. It's not what you think." Nan Gongxiao questioned. "I heard Yizi screaming." At this time, Yizi was dressed neatly and walked out in a white dress, looking fairy-like. Xiao Yi shrugged. "Just ask Zi'er directly if I bullied her." Cheng Bingxi asked, "Yizi, how did Xiao Yi cure the poison for you? Tell the truth, we will make him responsible for you." "Be responsible for me? Really?" Yizi widened her beautiful eyes, her expression actually showing a hint of joy. Mu Qingzu nodded. "Really?" Yizi looked at Xiao Yi and her big eyes rolled around. Xiao Yi had a bad feeling. Yizi smiled and said, Chapter 317 Yizi confesses. Yizi told the truth. "Xiao Yi didn't hurt me or bully me. He used massage to get rid of the aphrodisiac poison for me." Xiao Yi breathed a sigh of relief. If Yizi was lying, he would have to be besieged and judged by the three beast girls. Yizi has a simple mind and doesn't have that many schemes. She is also very upright like her father Yi Tai. Cheng Bingxi patted her chest, breathed a sigh of relief, and snorted, "Xiao Yi, Yizi is temporarily living in our villa. You are the only man here. You should be careful on weekdays and don't walk around in just your shorts with your bare chest. Also, don't drink for the next few days, or you'll get angry and do something beastly and you'll be finished." Nan Gongxiao nodded and agreed. Mu Qingzu hid behind the two women and snorted. Xiao Yi's face darkened, and he was speechless. "Do you have such a bad impression of me? Am I the kind of old pervert with no brains and only a lower body?" Cheng Bingxi said thoughtfully, "It's about the same." Xiao Yi. Yizi widened her beautiful eyes, with an incredible expression on her pretty face, and thought to herself, "Xiao Yi, he is actually this kind of person." But when she thought about the time when Xiao Yi treated her in the grove in Jinling City, Xiao Yi did not take advantage of her too much. Yizi immediately denied her previous thought. "No, Xiao Yi is not that kind of person." Cheng Bingxi said to Yizi, "Miss Yi, we are living under the same roof during this period. You must be careful of Xiao Yi and don't get too close to him." Yizi smiled and said, "Okay." Then Mu Qingzu rushed out from behind Cheng Bingxi and said to Yizi with an apologetic look on her face, "Zi'er, I'm sorry, it's my fault that I made you drink the aphrodisiac." She reached out her hand, took out a whip, and said, "If you are dissatisfied, whip me with the whip until you are satisfied." Yizi took a step back and said with some resistance, "No, I want to drink it myself. It's none of your business." Mu Qingzu's pretty face lit up with joy. "Zi'er, let me beat her for you." Xiao Yi picked up the whip and lashed at Mu Qingzu. With a bang, he hit her drum hard. Mu Qingzu groaned in pain and her skin turned red. Xiao Yi asked, "Girl, have you learned your lesson?" Mu Qingzu pouted and said nothing. Yizi had never seen such a scene before. This matter was caused by herself. She stood in front of Mu Qingzu anxiously, opened her hands and closed her eyes and said, "Xiao Yi, I took the aphrodisiac on my own. It has nothing to do with Sister Qingzu. If you want to hit me, hit me." As she spoke, her little face tensed up and her beautiful eyelashes trembled slightly. Xiao Yi threw the whip on the ground and said with a smile, "I only hit those who deserve to be hit. Why should I hit you?" Yizi opened her eyes and asked worriedly, "Will you hit Sister Qingzu again?" Xiao Yi glanced at Mu Qingzu, and seeing her pouting and glaring at him with red eyes, he shrugged and said, "No more fighting." He added in his heart, "I'll fight you again at night." Yizi breathed a sigh of relief, her heart finally at ease. Cheng Bingxi thought for a moment and said, "Yizi, no matter what, it was because of us that you drank the aphrodisiac and suffered. We will compensate you. Do you have any wish that we can help you fulfill?" Yizi shook her head. "It's none of your business. I wanted to drink the aphrodisiac on my own." Xiao Yi slapped his forehead. Ezr's values and character were really very good. She had suffered for the past 10 years, but her psychology, values and character had not been distorted. This showed that the Yi family education and Yi Dai's teaching were very good. If an ordinary person had been tortured by the evil spirit for 10 years, his psychology would have been distorted, his personality would have changed drastically, and he would have turned evil. "Zr, do you have any wishes? As the host, we will help you fulfill them." He changed the way he said it as expected. Ezr no longer resisted, a smile appeared on her pretty face. Her beautiful eyes looked at Xiao Yi expectantly, her straight legs clamped together, and she said shyly, "Xiao Yi, I want to live with you forever, is that okay?" "Xiao Yi, Cheng Bingxi? Nan Gong Saya, Walter?" Mu Qingzu's mouth twitched. Ezr's words contained many layers of meaning. It is unreasonable to want to live with a man forever. This is equivalent to confessing to Xiao Yi directly. "I like you, can I be with you forever?" Xiao Yi scratched his head and confirmed, "Zr? Are you serious? All the beast girls living here are couples who have signed a contract with me, so they have always lived with me, but you are not." Ezr looked serious and nodded, "I'm serious." Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongsaya looked at each other and saw anger in each other's eyes. As people who had been through this, they have already seen Ezr's feelings for Xiao Yi. Even if these two people did not have a substantial relationship, if Ezr had been living here, who knows when they would have had a relationship. Facing Ezr's expectant eyes, Xiao Yi nodded and said, "During the 4 years you study at Kunpeng College, you can live here. There are many guest rooms on the second floor anyway, so you can choose any one to stay in." Ezr's pretty face showed joy. She jumped up and said happily, "Oh, yeah, thank you, Xiao Yi." Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongsaya had no expression on their faces. But the words that fulfilled their wishes came from their mouths, and they had already agreed, so they couldn't go back on their word. But letting Ezr move in and live here forever would be like inviting a wolf into the house. Wouldn't that be? Mu Qingzu had long noticed that Ezr had special feelings for Xiao Yi because she felt a little guilty towards Ezr. She didn't have much resistance to Ezr moving in. "Sister Bingxi, come with me. I have a plan to tell you." Nan Gongsaya pulled Cheng Bingxi into the underground training room. After arriving at the underground training room, Nan Gongsaya said, "We can't let Xiao Yi contract new beast girls anymore. He doesn't have that much energy to take care of so many beast girls. Even if he contracts one a day, we will have to wait 5 days for a round to pass." Cheng Bingxi tilted her head and said, "2 together will do. 3 will do too." Nan Gongsaya stamped her feet and said anxiously, "Oh, 3 together is fine. But we can't let Xiao Yi keep contracting new beast girls. He signs a contract with one person a week. After a few years, he is happier than the emperor, with 3,000 beauties in his harem. By then, we old beast ladies might be banished to the cold palace." Cheng Bingxi thought it made sense and said, "Then what can you do? Ezr like Xiao Yi, and we can't change the facts." Nan Gongsaya smiled. "Who said it can't be changed? She likes Xiao Yi. Yes, he must be attracted by Xiao Yi's excellence and has a great affection for him. All we need to do is change the impression of Xiao Yi in her mind." Just think about it, when she knew and agreed in her heart that Xiao Yi was an old pervert, a bad guy, a bastard who would not do anything without profit, and a bad boy who loved to show off. Will she still like Xiao Yi? Cheng Bingxi's beautiful eyes lit up, and she said firmly, "No." Chapter 318, Brainwashing and Smearing. Nan Gongsaya snapped her fingers. "That's it. As long as we discredit Xiao Yi in Ezr's mind, a young lady like Ezr will easily dislike Xiao Yi." Cheng Bingxi hesitated a little. "Then isn't it too bad for us to do this? What's wrong with that? We are just protecting our own right. Xiao Yi is our beastmaster, we have this right." Nan Gongsaya rolled her eyes at her and pinched Cheng Bingxi's pretty face with her tender white hands. Cheng Bingxi slapped the mischievous little hand away, clenched her fists, and said with determination, "Then it's decided. Before dinner, I will brainwash Ezr and instill a bad impression of Xiao Yi in her." Nan Gongsaya smiled. "Yeah, but before that, we still need to find an ally." Zur. The two girls went up to the living room on the first floor and found Xiao Yi lying leisurely on the sofa, whistling and crossing his legs, looking very comfortable. The two women's faces darkened. Xiao Yi whistled at the two women and ordered them bluntly, "We have guests coming today. Go ask Sister Liuya to prepare dinner on tea. Practice today. Practice tomorrow." Cheng Bingxi's face turned even darker, and Nan Gongsaya snorted. "This guy is hooking up with the beautiful beast girl. We haven't taught him a lesson yet, but he's already ordering us around." Nan Gongsaya snorted. "I'll call Sister Liuya." Cheng Bingxi pulled Nan Gongsaya into the underground training room and stopped the royal sister teacher Liuya, who was practicing. He also told Liuya about the smear and brainwashing plan, and Liuya readily agreed and participated in the plan. Then, Liuya went to the kitchen, while Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongsaya went upstairs and saw Mu Qingzu, who was decorating Ezr's room. The two women directly pulled Mu Qingzu out of the room. blocked her in the corridor, and whispered their brainwashing and smearing plan. Mu Qingzu was stunned and frowned. Is this really okay? If Xiao Yi knew about this, he would beat me. Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongsaya widened their eyes. Does Xiao Yi beat you often? We have never been beat. That's right. If he dares to hit me, I will castrate him. Mu Qingzu found it incredible. Her pretty face darkened, and she said angrily, so, among all these beast girls, Xiao Yi has only beaten me. And several times he beat me so hard that my legs were weak and I couldn't even walk. Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongsaya nodded. Mu Qingzu. After thinking for a while, she said with some anxiety, I won't participate in this plan if he finds out. He might beat me up again and make me unable to walk. She vaguely remembered how painful and swollen her red butt was from being beaten. Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongsaya's mouth twitched, and they said helplessly, okay, let's complete the plan. Just don't hinder us from executing the plan. Yeah. Xiao Yi can't bear to hit us. Mu Qingzu. In fact, she not only didn't want to be beaten by Xiao Yi, but also felt guilty towards Yizir, so she was unwilling to participate in the plan. Then, Mu Qingzu walked into the guest room, and Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongsaya looked inside. The place has been perfectly arranged and decorated in a fresh, fairy style. Yizir lay down on the bed, like a sleeping beauty, giving people a fresh and refined feeling. Her fragile temperament makes people want to protect her. At this time, at the door, Cheng Bingxi was stunned by the sight. So beautiful. I like it when I see it. If a man saw it, I'm afraid he would become beastly and pounce on her directly. Nan Gongsaya narrowed her eyes, feeling a deep sense of crisis. The implementation of the plan cannot be delayed even for a second. The plan has begun. Then, the two women deliberately pretended to be very angry and spoke angrily in the corridor. Xiao Yi is a jerk who touches the legs of strange women casually on weekdays. That's right, you old pervert. You touched our legs, that's fine. But when you see a beautiful woman on the street, you want to see her stockings and long legs. Such a pervert. If I hadn't been married to him, I would definitely not like him. I don't like it either. Before we signed the contract, he broke into my room and took advantage of me sleeping, and I gave it to him in a daze. And then foolishly followed him. If it happens again, I will definitely stay away from him. That's right. He is still a person who will not do anything without benefit. He always weighs the pros and cons in everything he does. The only thing he has in his eyes is the crystal core. The crystal core is more important than all of us. Xiao Yi's dark side is usually not shown. He creates a very upright impression for himself, but when a woman relaxes her mind, he will suddenly break into the room, rip off our clothes, and press on us like a beast. The two of them spoke loudly and were clearly heard by Yizir and Mu Qingzu in the guest room. Yizir frowned and asked in disbelief, Sister Qingzu, are the two sisters outside talking about Xiao Yi? Mu Qingzu nodded. Yizir frowned even more tightly. With a character appearing between her brows, she hesitated and said, Xiao Yi, is it really like what the two sisters said? Are you a hypocrite who is sanctimonious and says one thing in public but does another in private? Mu Qingzu didn't say anything. She didn't dare to look Yizir in the eye. She quickly slipped away and said, sorry, I have to pee urgently. If I don't go now, I'll pee in my pants. Looking at Mu Qingzu running away, Yizir fell into deep thought. Half an hour later, everyone came to the living room on the first floor and started to eat dinner. Xiao Yi sat next to Yizir, but Yizir moved away a little out of fear. Xiao Yi touched his face. Was he that scary? Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongsaya, who were watching Yizir's every move, were both delighted. Yay, it worked. Great. Yizir was brainwashed successfully. Mu Qingzu sat on the other side of Xiao Yi. When Xiao Yi saw her, he put his hand under the table, on Mu Qingzu's big white legs, feeling a little depressed. Mu Qingzu rolled her eyes at him and let him do whatever he wanted. Because the dining table was made of transparent material, Yizir saw the scene clearly, causing her pupils to shrink. Cheng Bingxi suddenly asked, Xiao Yi, I saw a beggar on the side of the road at the maid hotel. He asked me for a Grandmaster crystal core, and I gave it to him. Do you think I did the right thing? Xiao Yi frowned and asked, are the beggar's fingernails clean? Cheng Bingxi said, I didn't notice. Xiao Yi said bluntly, don't give him the crystal core. He is just a beggar. He is just pretending to be a scammer. Cheng Bingxi snorted, he's just a poor beggar. Can you even give him a Grandmaster crystal core, really? Xiao Yi, you love money too much. You can't even bear to give him a Grandmaster crystal core. You don't have any sympathy at all. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he was too lazy to explain, saying, if you love money, then love money anyway. If you see a beggar in the future, just ignore him. Yizir's pupils shrank again and her face became stiff. Seeing that it was working, Cheng Bingxi looked at Nan Gongsaya and laughed. The trap was successful. I'm full. Yizir suddenly put down her bowl and chopsticks, stood up, looked at Xiao Yi deeply, left the living room with an ugly look on her pretty face and went upstairs. Chapter 319. Yizir. I understand. Seeing her abnormal state, Xiaoyi was stunned and asked puzzled Lai, what's wrong with her? Mu Qingzu, what did you do again to make her feel wronged? Mu Qingzu's pretty face darkened, what are you looking at me with? I didn't do anything, and I didn't let her suffer any injustice. Xiaoyi looked at the other girls, what about you? Cheng Bingshi waved her hands, we didn't bully her, maybe she's in a bad mood because of her period. Cheng Bingshi did not feel guilty at all when she said this. She and Nan Gong Xiao did not bully EZR, nor did they treat EZR in a sarcastic way, nor did they let her suffer any grievances, they just spread some negative information and rumors about Xiaoyi. Relatives are here, Xiaoyi nodded. In the era of beast girls, after the awakening template becomes a beast girl, the beast girl's physiological characteristics are still there and have not degenerated, such as menstruation. Liuya moved her lips, wanting to say something but didn't say it. She glanced at Xiaoyi. After the meal, Cheng Bingshi and Nan Gongxiao came to the underground training room in high spirits. They clapped their hands and said excitedly, the plan was executed successfully. Very good. EZR's perception of Xiaoyi must have declined a lot as long as we exaggerate and smear him a few more times in the future. She will be disgusted with Xiaoyi and will no longer like him. After packing up, Liuya went to the underground training room. After hearing what the two women said, she said, don't smear him too harshly. If you smear him too much, it will seem to fake Xiaoyi is what he is. No matter how you smear him, it's all fake. Besides, we have the right to stop EZR and Xiaoyi from being together, but it is a bit immoral to smear them. If Xiaoyi knew about this, who knows how he would punish you. Cheng Bingshi and Nan Gongxiao felt a little guilty about what they said. They looked away and said, okay. Don't say anything, just try to discredit his impression in EZR's mind when he's not around and don't let him know. That's right. Liuya was speechless. There is no such thing as an airtight wall in the world. Sooner or later, Xiaoyi will find out what you have done. On the second floor, Xiaoyi stood outside a guest room holding a kettle, knocked on the door gently, and said with a smile, ZR, are you feeling unwell? I have some boiled water here, you will feel better if you drink more. EZR was completely covered in the quilt. After hearing the voice, she said distantly, thank you, you leave it there. I'll get it myself. Don't come in. Xiaoyi smiled and said, okay. If you feel very uncomfortable, you can tell me, or you can find Mu Qingzu. The college has a school doctor who can help you relieve the pain. After saying that, Xiaoyi left. The door opened, and a little head appeared from inside. The big eyes blinked and looked around. After finding that Xiaoyi had left, he picked up the thermos on the ground, carried it into the and then locked the door. He is a pervert and a profit-seeking person. Drinking the boiling water from the thermos, EZR's pretty face showed confusion and struggle. Daddy told me to stay away from these two types of people, but I know he is a type of person, and I still like him. What should I do? After knowing Xiaoyi's true face, she was a little afraid to contact Xiaoyi, but she couldn't help wanting to get closer to him. This mentality was very contradictory. Should I listen to my daddy, or should I bravely pursue my own happiness? Holding the thermos, she was struggling and drank all the water one gulp at a time without noticing that the cup in her head was almost burning dry. Go ask Sister Qingzu what she thinks. Xiaoyi is such a bad guy, but Sister Qingzu still chose him. EZR put the thermos on the table, peed, and then happily went to the third floor. After Mu Qingzu's introduction, she already knew which room each person lived in. I reached the staircase, went up the stairs, and was in the corridor on the third floor. EZR stopped walking because she saw Xiaoyi outside Mu Qingzu's door. Xiaoyi raised his foot and kicked hard with a clang. The door was kicked open. And he laughed heavily, opened his hands and rushed in, shouting, girl, here I come. Then, Mu Qingzu's shy voice came out. Damn it, what are you doing here? What are you here for? Of course. I'm here to fuck you. Xiaoyi's evil smile came out. With a bang, the door was closed. EZR stood there in a daze, covering her mouth with her hands, her eyes widened in horror, trying hard not to scream. Swoosh, she ran downstairs as fast as a rabbit, her heart pounding, and returned to the guest room on the second floor. After locking the door, EZR sat on the bed, patted her heaving chest with lingering fear, and said in surprise, Xiaoyi will really break in the middle of the night and pounce on us like a wild beast. Nan Gongxiao said this to Cheng Bingshi in the afternoon. She didn't believe it at that time, but now she does. EZR was certain in her heart that Xiaoyi was a pervert. After confirming this, she became even more conflicted, and then she took out the satellite communicator and called her father Yitai. The base city of Moda and the base city of Jinling are far apart, but online calls are possible. It was a bit late now, and usually Yitai would be asleep, but EZR still made the call. Hello. TR, how is it over there? Is it fun? The call was answered immediately, and Yitai's warm voice came out. EZR nodded. It's fun, but I'm a little uncomfortable. Yitai laughed and said, it's normal to feel uncomfortable when you first arrive. You will get used to it after living there for a while. EZR hesitated and said, Dad, I have something I want to ask you. If the person you like is a pervert and a profit seeker, is he still worthy of being liked by women? Itai was stunned, and said thoughtfully. Well, the big pervert means that this person likes to find wild things, does not care about his family, and is only interested in profit. This means that in this person's eyes, profit is more important than anything else, even more important than anything else, even more important than his own beast girl. If you spend a lot of money, he will sell out his beast girl. This kind of person is not worth liking. Izir was silent for a few minutes, and then she spoke with a trembling voice. What should I do if I like this person very much? I already like him, and whether he is worth it or not, I can't change it. Itai's eyes widened as he listened, and he said in disbelief. Zr, you're talking about Xiaoyi, right? Izir blushed and stammered, yes, it's him. Itai laughed heartily. Zr, don't be shy. I'd seen it a long time ago. You are attracted to Xiaoyi. Izir's face turned even redder. Then what should I do? Stay away from him. Itai said without thinking. Stay away? Why should you stay away? Since you like him, you must pursue him bravely and fight for your own happiness. As for the pervert you mentioned, is he only interested in profit? I think CR is confused by something. Do you know what reward Xiaoyi received for giving you the treatment template? He didn't even take a single crystal core. Do you think this kind of person is only interested in profit? As for the pervert, there is no man in the world who is not perverted as long as he is perverted but not lewd. That's enough. Well, your daddy is certainly not perverted. I was talking about other men. Izir suddenly realized, and felt that she had figured it out. The entanglement in her heart instantly disappeared, and an expression of incomparable joy appeared on her face. I know, Daddy. I know what to do. Daddy, you are also very lustful. I already knew that you would secretly go to the private club to play with women. Itai's expression froze and he wanted to argue, but was shocked to find that the call had been hung up. Chapter 320. Senses twisted, plan failed. Itai slapped his forehead. Oh no, my daughter has labeled me a pervert. How can I continue to be a serious and warm father in her eyes? I went to the private club secretly, and Zr actually found out. Alas, Xir's mother went deep into the Magic Beast Mountains, more than 10 years ago, and disappeared. We can't find her until now. I'm afraid she has long been buried in the claws of the magic beasts. On the other hand, Izir is simple-minded but not stupid. After being instructed by her father Itai, her impression of Xiaoyi has returned to normal. Moreover, she vaguely felt that the two beastly sisters, Sheng Bingxi and Nangong Saito, were deliberately spreading rumors in order to make her hate Xiaoyi. Moreover, if Xiaoyi was really that bad and had a bad character, could he have contracted so many beast girls? Mu Qingzu is also the daughter of the city lord's mansion of a top-level base city. She is not blind and has mistaken the person. Xiaoyi likes to break in the middle of the night and pounce like a wild animal. Izir murmured to herself, imagining the scene of Xiaoyi throwing himself onto her bed. She covered her face with her hands, her pretty face turned red. She was shy. If it's Xiaoyi, it's not impossible. Daddy told me to pursue bravely and to grasp my own happiness. I have decided that I will take the initiative. Yeah, let's go by doors, first, just in case. I don't want to have a baby yet. After Izir put on her shoes, she opened the door carefully, then tiptoed and bent over to go downstairs quietly. When she arrived at the dark first floor, a crisp sound was heard and the lights came on instantly, dispelling the darkness and making the first floor as bright as day. Izir's body, which was hunched over and standing on tiptoe, became stiff. A puzzled voice came from the sofa. It was Liu's voice. Ms. Yi, it's so late. Where are you going? If you want to buy daily necessities, you don't have to go out. There are a lot of them in the warehouse on the first floor. I'll take you to choose. Is Durex a daily necessity? Izir was confused. There are a lot of sanitary napkins in the warehouse. Seeing that she didn't speak, Yuya smiled. Izir's pretty face flushed, and she said, is there that in the warehouse? Liuya, that? Sanitary napkins, right? Yes, come with me. Then, Liuya took Izir's hand and walked towards the warehouse behind the villa. While walking, Liu used words intentionally or unintentionally to explore Izir's current attitude toward Xiaoyi. What do you think of Xiaoyi? Xiaoyi, he is a very warm-hearted man. Do you hate Xiaoyi? No, why should I hate him? Don't you think there's something wrong with Xiaoyi? No problem, what's the problem? After several probes, Liuya discovered that Izir's answers were always very sincere and she had no intention of lying. This made Liuya stunned, and then she became confused. Hey, that's not right. During the dinner, Izir's reaction clearly showed that she was very disappointed with Xiaoyi. Why did her attitude change after a few hours? A warehouse door was not locked and opened with a slight push after the two entered. Liuya introduced herself to Izir. This row of shelves holds toiletries, this row holds daily necessities, this row holds bedding, and this row holds combat logistics supplies. Rows of shelves are filled with brand new items. Bedding? Izir's eyes lit up and she walked towards the third row of long shelves. On the third row of shelves, her face suddenly turned red as she saw piles of supplies that she was too embarrassed to mention. Ayuya smiled and said, "The daily necessities are on the second row of shelves." But Izir did not return to the second row of shelves. Instead, with a red face, she took a box of something from the third row of shelves. She quickly put the things in her arms and said with a blushing face, "Sister, I'm fine, let's go back." Ayuya saw her movements and stared blankly at the pocket on Izir's skirt with her beautiful eyes, and asked stupidly, "You can't use this thing by yourself, what are you doing with it?" Izir was very embarrassed. She covered her face and ran out quickly, saying in a mosquito-like voice, "It can be useful." Ayuya was stunned after thinking about it. She realized that the CPU was overheated. How could one person use it? Wait, Liuya was shocked. Xiaoyi was the only man in this villa. The purpose of Izir taking this thing was self-evident and anyone could guess it. After figuring out the result, Liuya took a breath. Bing Shisaya, oh. Not only did your plan fail, it may have also helped Izir. After all, you will know what kind of person Xiaoyi is after getting along with him. No matter how you try to discredit him, you will not succeed. Walking out of the warehouse, Liuya hurriedly chased after him. After entering the villa, Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongxiao both appeared, took Liuya away and came to the underground training room. Sister Liuya, our plan was executed very successfully. Izir has already determined that Xiaoyi is an old pervert and a profit-seeking person. I'm afraid she already hates Xiaoyi now. That's right, we sighed with our own eyes. Izir saw Xiaoyi forcefully break into Zuer's room. In fact, it was because we told Xiaoyi that King Zhu was waiting for him and wanted to play the game of emperor and concubine with him, but he broke into the room and pounced on her. The two girls laughed and narrated the whole incident. After hearing this, Liuya's mouth twitched and she said speechlessly, "Are you sure Izir hates Xiaoyi? Have you asked her? Did she say it herself?" Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongxiao, what else are you asking? We've already seen Xiaoyi's rude and lecherous side. There's no need to ask. That's right. As long as it's a woman, there will be misunderstandings. Liuya rolled her eyes and said bluntly, "I think it's you who misunderstood. Not Izir? I have already asked Izir just now, and I am sure that she does not hate Xiaoyi, let alone detest him." When Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongxiao heard this, they didn't believe it at all and shook their heads violently. "Sister Liuya, who are you kidding? Pa, what you said is so false." Liuya's face darkened and she said, "Izir just came to the warehouse and took it doors, right under my nose. What use is there for a woman like her to have this thing? Xiaoyi is the only man in this villa. You don't need to guess what the purpose is." Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gongxiao were stunned. And they both stood there in a daze. The plan failed. Izir's favorability towards Xiaoyi is much higher than they imagined. Forget it. Forget it. I'm going to practice and quit. Alas, Xiaoyi will have another beast girl. I don't care anymore. We can't stop Izir from doing anything. Let her go. The two women were in low spirits and very discouraged, so they simply transformed into summon beast forms and began to practice, not wanting to continue to be smeared and brainwashed. Liuya also sighed and said, "Another beast girl." Chapter 321. Izir. I'll wait for you to break in. They couldn't stop Izir from doing anything, and they couldn't force Xiaoyi to stay away from Izir. That was unrealistic and impossible. Liuya actually understood why Izir was attracted to Xiaoyi. Like Izir, she had been troubled by the template defect for a very long time. She was unable to cultivate in her realm regressed. Izir was even more miserable. She had a body of bad luck and disaster. She couldn't even contact others, and had to endure rumors and was called a disaster star. In this dark and cold predicament, no one in the world can provide help, but at this time, Xiaoyi is like a beam of warm light, illuminating everything, helping you out of the predicament and solving the template problem. Moreover, Xiaoyi is very outstanding and very handsome. No matter who you are, if you are rescued by a hero when you are extremely desperate, there is a high probability that you will have a stronger liking for this hero, or even fall in love with this hero. Especially people like Izir who have not come into contact with many people and have not come into contact with many outstanding talents. Then Liuya also transformed into a summoned beast and began to practice. Now the realm of the three women is at the 8th level of the Venerable Realm, the 7th level of the Venerable Realm, and the 7th level of the Venerable Realm. In the Venerable Realm, they can be promoted one level a day as a result. Xiaoyi's realm has also been promoted to the 8th level of the Venerable Realm. It won't be long before Yuya's realm will return to the Great Venerable Realm again. The other side. Xiaoyi and Mu Qingzhou ended the battle. Mu Qingzhou lay in Xiaoyi's arms, her arrogant personality completely restrained at this moment. She was like a shy little woman, drawing little circles on his chest. "Xiaoyi, after a few days of treatment, my figure has become terrifying now. Do you like it?" "I like it, Xiaoyi. So do you like me before or me now?" Mu Qingzhou. "You now, Xiaoyi." "Wow." You mean you don't like the old me anymore? Mu Qingzu looked resentful. I like them all, Xiao Yi. Then what do you like about me, Mu Qingzu? I like every part of you, Xiao Yi. Oh, that's not it. I'm asking you what characteristics of mine you like. Mu Qingzu's pretty face turned red. Characteristics, a TS under lady? Xiao Yi said, don't ask. I like you as a person, Mu Qingzu. Mu Qingzu chuckled, her eyes full of joy and affection. Do you want to kick it again? Xiao Yi shook his head, turned around, dressed neatly, went to the ground and rinsed his mouth. I have something important to do tomorrow. I need to rest now and not overdraw my energy. By the way, after I leave tomorrow, you have to take good care of Yizir and keep an eye on her. Don't you let her drink anything else, such as aphrodisiacs. If I come back and find that Yizir has been wronged, I will whip you. Having said that, Xiao Yi walked out of Mu Qingzu's room. Not satisfied, Mu Qingzu looked at him leaving with some resentment in her beautiful eyes, muttering, you keep talking to me about Yizir. Who is more important, Yizir or me? Just take care of her. A simple-minded person like Yizir can be easily led astray. Xiao Yi opened the door and walked out of the room before he turned on the switch of the corridor light. The light came on automatically. Wipe. Xiao Yi braked suddenly and almost hit someone. He raised his eyebrows and saw that it was Yizir. She was standing in the corridor outside the door, her small hands tightly grasping the corner of her clothes, with a hint of stubbornness on her delicate face. Xiao Yi was a little surprised and asked, Yizir, why are you standing here? Eavesdropping? Yizir's pretty face flushed and she shook her head quickly. No, I didn't eavesdrop. I don't want to eavesdrop on that. It's so embarrassing. Xiao Yi, you said you didn't eavesdrop but you know everything. Come with me, I have something to tell you. Yizir shyly took Xiao Yi's hand and walked quickly to the guest room on the second floor. Xiao Yi was very confused and joked, it's so late, what are you going to do? You are alone with me, aren't you afraid that I will go wild? Yizir shook her head, I'm not afraid. After entering the guest room on the second floor, Yizir closed the door, then quickly ran to the clothes rack, took out a piece of light pajamas, then asked, shyly, Xiao Yi, which pajamas do you think looks better on me? Pajamas or dresses? Available in white, black, purple, red and all kinds of colors. Xiao Yi, you asked him to come here in the middle of the night just for this? Xiao Yi touched his chin and said, they all look good, why don't you put them on one by one and I'll identify them? Yizir nodded, ran to the bathroom to change into pajamas, and then ran out happily. She raised her hand and turned it in front of Xiao Yi, and asked, does it look good? This one is a white pajamas, which is thin and sticks to the body, bringing out the curvy figure. Xiao Yi said, it looks good. Yizir's pretty face lit up, then I'll wear this one. Xiao Yi waved his hand and suggested, why don't you try red and purple instead, it might look better. Yizir nodded, thinking so, and ran to the bathroom happily, but came out into seconds. Still wearing her white pajamas, she ran to Xiao Yi and said with a red face, Xiao Yi, touch it and try how it feels to see if you like it. Xiao Yi's eyes widened. What are you touching, you, or your pajamas? Yizir stamped her feet. Oh, it's pajamas. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. What the hell was he touching? It wasn't like he was wearing it. But since it was Yizir who spoke, he reached out and kneaded the corner of the pajamas, saying, it's silky smooth, very thin, very light, and breathable. It's made of high-end materials. Yizir looked expectantly and asked, do you like it? Xiao Yi said, I can't say I like it, but it should be very comfortable to wear. Yizir's beautiful eyes darkened, and she said, that means you don't like it, I'll change into something else. She quickly ran into the bathroom and came out 2 minutes later. Xiao Yi, this is a blood red pajamas. The bright red color looks like the clothes of a female ghost in red when worn by Yizir, who has a sober temperament and a weak personality. It gives people a weird feeling. Seeing Xiao Yi's somewhat awkward expression, Yizir pouted and hurried back to the bathroom to change into another piece of clothing. After coming out, Xiao Yi's eyes lit up. The purple pajamas look very charming on Yizir. Mou Song is right. Purple is very charming. He snapped his fingers and smiled. Very beautiful, very tasteful, and very nice to look at. Yizir's pretty face lit up with joy, and she came over and said, can you touch it and see how it feels? Do you like it? Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. You wear it? Not me. What's the point of me liking it? The fabrics used in these pajamas are the same, right? They feel the same. Yizir shook her head. No, it depends on whether you like it. Xiao Yi, yes. I like clothes made of this kind of fabric. Yizir smiled and said, then wear this color. I have hundreds of pajamas in this color. She added in her heart, no matter what day you break into the room and pounce on me, I will wait for you wearing this dress. Chapter 322 Yizir. I won't lock the door. You don't have to kick it. Xiao Yi felt very strange. What kind of pajamas was she wearing? Why did she want him to like it, and she wanted him to touch it, and only wear it if he felt good about it? Don't bother yourself. Wear whatever you like. Pajamas are not meant to be worn for others to see or touch. You don't need to ask me. Ezr shook her head. No, that kind of thing requires us to like it, whether it's what we wear, what we use, what we make the bed with, or the quilt. Xiao Yi was confused. But several question marks on his face. That kind of thing, what is it? Clothes and quilts for making the bed. What can these be used for? Ezr's pretty face turned red, and her eyes avoided. It's the kind of thing you like to do. The corner of Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. How could he not know what he liked to do? Speak clearly, Xiao Yi said. Ezr didn't respond. Xiao Yi felt bored and said, tomorrow I will go to the imperial capital with Yun Bing to do some work. We will not be in the magic city for a few days. You can learn about Kunpeng College with Mu Qingzu and go around the magic city. Ezr nodded and said, okay. There's something I want to ask you. Besides the one I'm wearing, what other style of pajamas do you like? She asked. Xiao Yi was puzzled. Is it me who is wearing it, or you? Ezr blushed and said, I wore it. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. Just wear whatever you like. He likes many styles of pajamas, such as sailor suit, teacher uniform, maid suit, bunny girl suit, stewardess uniform and dozens of other styles. However, he cannot tell Ezr about these because Ezr has a simple mind and can be easily led astray. He couldn't lead Ezr astray. Okay. Figure out what to wear yourself. I'm leaving. Xiao Yi started to leave. Ezr felt a little disappointed. Oh. When Xiao Yi walked outside and was about to close the door of the guest room, Ezr spoke again. I don't lock the door at night. You don't have to kick it if you want to come in. You don't have to force your way in, just turn the doorknob and come in. Hearing this, Xiao Yi paused and his face froze. Kick or break in? 2 hours ago. He broke into Mu Qingzu's room by force. That was the first time in his life that he kicked the door and forced his way in. Did Ezr see it? Etc. Xiao Yi widened his eyes, and he understood what Ezr said. Instantly Xiao Yi's face darkened. And he felt a little angry. He entered Ezr's room again with a dark face, walked up to her, looked at her directly and said, Ezr, did you see me breaking into Mu Qingzu's room? Do you think I will break into your room as well? Seeing that he was very fierce, Ezr was a little scared, and nodded gently, yes. What's wrong? Xiao Yi. Speechless. Dear, I can tell you clearly that I will not force my way into your room, so you don't have to worry. Besides, am I so unbearable in your heart? Ezr whispered, it's okay, I don't care. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. You prepared these things and let me see and touch them just to prevent me from breaking into your room. Ezr nodded, yes. Why do you like me? Xiao Yi asked bluntly. Ezr's pupils shrank and she asked in shock, how did you know? Then she covered her face with her hands and said shyly, my dad is such a fool, he told you all this. It's so embarrassing. Xiao Yi. Does anyone need to tell me this? Anyone can see it. Xiao Yi touched his handsome face. It's not good to be too handsome or too outstanding. It's very late. Bye. Xiao Yi looked out the window. The sky was already pitch dark, without any light. It was almost 11 o'clock. Laugh. As he was walking, before he left the room, his foot stepped on something, which burst with a hissing sound and leaked air. Xiao Yi raised his foot and took a look. A question mark appeared on his face. It's a doors. The question is, did he lose it? Xiao Yi didn't remember carrying this thing with him. Ezr suddenly screamed, touched her pocket and found it was empty. Sorry, that's mine. Oops, I didn't even notice when I fell. She ran over with a blushing face, bringing a gust of fragrance, and squatted down, reached out to pick it up and put it in her pocket. Xiao Yi. Be reminded, this one is broken and can't be used. After saying that, he walked out and returned to the bedroom on the 3rd floor. Why did Ezr have that thing? Xiao Yi felt that it was related to him. Seeing Xiao Yi leave, Ezr closed the door and buried her face in the quilts. He was so embarrassed that she wished she could dig a hole in the ground and crawl into it. 3rd floor. While Xiao Yi was sleeping, he felt someone entering his large bedroom. The person's movements were very gentle and the sound was very small. There was a rustling sound. And 10 seconds later, Xiao Yi felt someone crawling into the bed and hugging him like an octopus. After measuring the size with his hands, Xiao Yi said, T.S. Undery girl. Why are you here so late? Oh, I've been discovered. Mu Qingzu was a little surprised. I want to complain to you about something. Complain? Xiao Yi asked in confusion. Mu Qingzu expose. Sister Bingxi and Sister Xiao have been whispering in Ezr's ear, smearing your image, saying that you are a pervert and a profit-seeking bastard. Trying to change Ezr's perception of you and make her hate you. Xiao Yi's face turned dark. It turned out that Cheng Bingxi and Nangong Xiao were the ones who did it. He asked why Ezr was in a very strange state last night. But after thinking about it, Xiao Yi smiled and said, it's okay no matter how they smear me. It's all fabricated. It's not the real me. The impression brought by this smear will be shattered by reality at any time. Besides, Ezr doesn't hate me. Mu Qingzai suddenly said angrily, Xiao Yi, can't you beat them up? Among so many beast girls, you only beat me, and you couldn't bear to beat the other beast girls. Xiao Yi thought for a moment and nodded. That's right, I've only beaten you, the beast girl. You have thick skin and flesh, so a single beating won't hurt. I have thick skin and tough flesh. Mu Qingzu's face darkened with anger. I'm very tender. Okay? Xiao Yi, tell me clearly, who is thick-skinned? Xiao Yi felt his vitals being grabbed, and the grab was very strong. He felt a chill all over his body, and hurriedly said, I have thick skin and flesh, it's me. Mu Qingzu then let go of her hand and snorted, that's right. Will you hit me again in the future? Xiao Yi said without thinking, what do you mean by hitting you? That was a competition. After you became my beast girl, did I hit you? Not even once. I hit you before you became my beast girl. Besides, this is the era of beast girls, not a peaceful era. One's own combat power is the basis, so it is normal to spar with each other. Mu Qingzu thought about it, and it was true. The depression in her heart immediately disappeared. Okay. Stop making trouble, Yun Bing, and I will go to the imperial capital tomorrow to collect your template upgrade resources and reincarnation rule fragment crystals. I'm always thinking about you, so please don't make trouble. Xiao Yi said softly. Mu Qingzu nodded like an octopus, feeling a little touched, and nodded. I understand. Chapter 323 set off to the imperial capital. The next day, morning, Xiao Yi came to Yun Bing's villa and waited for the Vara supreme couple. Yun Bing's outfit was still hot, with a black leather jacket and leather pants, a pair of mysterious and high-end black stockings on her long legs, and a mink coat. Sister Yun Bing, if I go there today, I will definitely be exposed to the eyes of many supreme beings. They will know about your relationship with me, and you might be accused of being an old cow eating young grass. Yun Bing sneered, no. Those who joined the Supreme Alliance are all new Supremes, and most of them are low-level Supremes. As one of the 10 Supremes in the Magic City, I am also a veteran Supreme. Powerful and beautiful, they will only think that you have climbed up the ladder, and will not think that I am an old cow eating young grass. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. And he put his hands on Yun Bing's waist, hugged her, and said, do you think I have climbed up the ladder? Yun Bing rolled her eyes. In the beginning, it was me who begged you to sign a contract. The truth is, I am an old cow eating young grass. But that doesn't matter anymore, I've got you. Xiao Yi climbed to the top of Yunbing Mountain, waited and said, Sister Yunbing, you are very self-aware, but I want to correct you. You are a cow eating young grass, not an old cow eating young grass. The lifespan of the Supreme Being is 5 to 6,000 years. Yunbing is now 1,500 years old. If we reduce the proportion, it is equivalent to 25 years old for an ordinary person. She is not old. Yunbing smiled and said, how can I get my hands on you through the big mink and the leather jacket? Do you want me to take it off and let you get your hands on me? Xiao Yi smiled and said, it's not good to do this so early in the morning. Yun Bing glared at him. You know it's not good, but you still did it? It makes me itchy and uncomfortable all over. Xiao Yi withdrew his hand in dismay, muttering, didn't they say that I climbed up the social ladder? I want to experience the feeling of climbing up the social ladder. So I'll collect some interest first, otherwise, when we get to the imperial capital, people will say that I climbed up the social ladder and that a frog turned into a prince. Yun Bing's mouth twitched. Is this the high flyer they are talking about? Are you the one who's high flyer? I'll let you climb up the social ladder after you come back. Now is not the right time. The two were flirting and cursing at each other when there was a knock on the door. Xiao Yi went to open the door, thinking that it was King Kong Supreme who arrived, but turned out to be Mu Qingzu and Yi Zi'er. Why are you here? Xiao Yi was a little surprised. Mu Qingzu smiled and said, Yi Zi'er is reluctant to leave you, so she wants to come and see you off. Yi Zi'er tugged at the corner of Mu Qingzu's clothes with her little hand, and said shyly, Sister Qingzu, how can you talk like that? Mu Qingzu held her hand and said, don't be shy. If you have anything to say, just tell Xiao Yi directly, otherwise, we will have to wait a few days before we can meet. Xiao Yi asked in confusion, Zi'er, what's the matter? Yi Zi'er thought for a while. Her pretty face turned red and she said, Xiao Yi, I want to make it clear to you that I only leave the door open for you, not for other men. She mustered up the courage to say, I'm not a casual person. After saying that, Yi Zi'er covered her face with her hands and ran out quickly. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. You came to see me today just to talk about this? Zi'er, I know you are not a casual person. Please rest assured, Xiao Yi shouted. When Yi Zi'er ran to the avenue and heard this, her face was filled with joy and she smiled happily. That's great. In his eyes, I'm not a loose and casual person. In the villa, Mu Qingzu's eyes widened, and she said in disbelief, leave a door open. Could it be the door to the room? Okay, Xiao Yi, you left my room yesterday and went to Yi Zi'er's room for a tryst. You are really good. Late at night, a man and a woman alone. Something must have happened between you yesterday, she said angrily, feeling a little jealous. I was wondering what you were going to do. I wanted you to kick me again, but you just ignored me and left. It turns out you went to her place." While Mu Qingzu was speaking, Yun Bing, who smelled something wrong, quietly appeared behind Xiao Yi. Listening to Mu Qingzu's words, a dangerous look appeared in Yun Bing's beautiful eyes. Xiao Yi's heart skipped a beat. "Oh no, there's murderous intent." He turned his head and just happened to see Yun Bing's pretty face filled with murderous intent. Yun Bing clenched his fists, making crackling sounds, and said, "Sinister lie. Xiao Yi, you left me for half a day yesterday, and you hooked up with a beautiful beast girl again?" Xiao Yi smiled calmly and said calmly, "I can't help it, that's all because I'm the good and charming. I can get a beautiful little fangirl every time I go out." Yun Bing. Mu Qingzu. Someone's mouth twitched and he was speechless. "Really, you are still showing off?" Yun Bing raised his white and tender fist and said with a half smile, "Aren't you afraid that I will give you to punches and beat you up?" Mu Qingzu was a little excited, and said excitedly, "Sister Yun Bing, beat him. Give him a good beating and teach him a lesson." "I, Mu Qingzu, cannot beat you, but you are just a small shrimp in front of Sister Yun Bing, and you can only get beaten." Xiao Yi narrowed his eyes, raised his face and leaned forward and said, "Hit here, I'll hit you, come on. Easier likes me, what can I do? I can't force him to dislike me." Yun Bing's mouth twitched, and he withdrew his hand and said, "Forget it, I can't bear to hit you, I'll be sad if I hurt you. In fact, I noticed it in Jinling City Lord's mansion, there was something wrong with the way Easier looked at you combined with what she said. I could guess that she had fallen in love with you." Seeing that she didn't beat Xiao Yi, Mu Qingzu was a little disappointed, so she secretly made up her mind that after the template was upgraded, she must train hard to catch up with Xiao Yi, so that she could beat him up herself. "Yes, just like how he once beat me, his butt was broken and he screamed in pain." Xiao Yi glanced at Mu Qingzu and said, "Why are you still standing here? Go and watch Eziar, or he will drink the aphrodisiac again." Mu Qingzu's pretty face puffed up, and she walked outside angrily, saying, "Okay, I get it." Only Xiao Yi and Yun Bing were left at the scene. Sitting on the sofa, Yun Bing frowned and said, "What are you going to do with Eziar? Do you want to sign a contract with her?" Xiao Yi was speechless. "What are you talking about? Am I the kind of person who wants to sign a contract with a peerless beautiful beast girl just because I see her?" Yun Bing said, "I don't believe that you have no feelings for Eziar at all." Xiao Yi took a deep breath and said bluntly, "Well, to be honest, there is a little feeling of moving. As for concluding a contract, it depends on fate." A gorgeous beast girl showed him her pajamas, let him touch her pajamas, prepared a box, and left the door open for him. If you are a man, especially a young and hot-blooded man, how can you not be excited about this kind of thing? At this moment, a hearty laugh came from outside. "Sister Kun Peng. Brother Xiao, it's almost time, are you ready?" It was the voice of the Vara Supreme Cheng Gang. He and a capable middle-aged woman with short hair walked into the villa. Xiao Yi nodded, "We are ready." Yun Bing waved his hand to open a space crack, creating a space transmission channel, and said, "Let's set off to the Imperial capital." Chapter 324 Supreme Alliance. The four people stepped into the space crack and disappeared. The Imperial capital base city is the oldest, most historically rich and most powerful base city, the best in Dragon Country. In a huge area south of the base city, on the avenue of the Supreme Alliance area, a space crack appeared out of nowhere. And Yun Bing, Xiao Yi, Cheng Gang and his wife walked out of it. Cheng Gang looked around and said with emotion, "Sister Kun Peng's space jump is so fast in a few seconds, she crossed a distance of tens of thousands of kilometers and arrived at the Imperial capital base city. If it were me, I would have to cross the void space at full speed for several hours. Blue Star is a parallel world to the Earth. Every once in a while, the sphere will expand tenfold. Now, the area of Dragon Country is dozens of times larger than the entire flat area of the Earth. It is tens of thousands of kilometers from the Magic City to the Imperial capital base city." Everyone raised their heads and looked forward. It was the front hall of the Supreme Alliance. On the doorframe, there was a plaque full of mysterious runes, with the words, "Supreme Alliance" written in a flamboyant manner. Just a front hall is very grand and majestic. Cheng Gang sensed it and said, "The buildings of the entire Supreme Alliance are deliberately arranged at each landing point. A high-level formation barrier is formed from beginning to end, completely covering the Supreme Alliance area. The Supreme Alliance is unbreakable. It is estimated that even the Saint Realm cannot easily break in." Yun Bing nodded. "There are 3 layers of barriers in total, 1 formation barrier, 1 forbidden barrier, and 1 soul forbidden barrier. They are all at the Saint Realm level. It's a big deal." When Xiao Yi heard this, he immediately felt that the Supreme Alliance had become more high-end and majestic. The 3 Holy Realm barriers have a range of at least 100,000 square meters. Such a large range of Holy Realm barriers alone cannot be set up in other base cities. The 4 of them stood on the avenue for a while, and 7 or 8 people had already gathered outside. These people are all supreme, they are the backbone of the Dragon Kingdom. They were all people from the 10 top-level base cities, and they all appeared in pairs. It's 12 o'clock noon, the time has come. 2 pairs of greeters walked out of the front hall of the Supreme Alliance, 1 male greeter and 1 female greeter, standing in unison on both sides of the gate then. A bloated fat man with a fat head and big ears walked out, with a professional smile on his face. After walking in front of everyone, he bowed and said with a smile, "Supreme Lords, welcome to the Supreme Alliance. I am Zhu-san, the captain of this expansion. Please follow me." Among the 7 or 8 Supremes, the Eagle-Eyed Supreme and his wife were a little dissatisfied and said, "Why is it a small minion who comes to greet us? We are Supremes after all, so at least let a Supreme come to greet us." Yes, the Supreme Alliance looks generous. But they are petty in their actions. A gleam of light flashed in the fat man's eyes, but the smile on his face remained unchanged. He said, "Please follow me. Everyone, the admissions director, the Supreme Golden Lion, is waiting for you. If you have any dissatisfaction, you can complain to the Supreme Golden Lion." The Supreme Golden Lion? When the Eagle Eyes couple heard this, they immediately shut up and stopped saying anything. The Golden Lion Supreme is one of the top 10 Supremes among the top 100 Supremes in the Imperial capital. He is very famous and powerful, and he can beat them all with one hand. Killing them is no different from crushing an ant. King Kong Supreme smiled and said, "Please lead the way, Captain Zhu." Zhu-san nodded, and glanced at Yun Bing, who had outstanding looks and a devilish figure. Without leaving a trace, a hint of surprise flashed in the depths of his eyes, and then he turned around and led everyone to the enrollment expansion hall. After passing the front hall, they walked for a while and arrived at the expansion hall. The expansion hall was larger and more magnificent than the front hall. After entering, everyone saw a burly middle-aged man with golden hair sitting on the main seat at the back of the hall. He looked around with a slightly disappointed look in his eyes, but when he saw Yun Bing, his eyes lit up and he said with a smile, "You all have come thousands of miles to the Supreme Alliance. You must have had a hard journey. Please take a seat. Let me first introduce to you the structure of the Supreme Alliance, as well as the benefits and obligations that can be enjoyed by joining the Supreme Alliance. The Supreme Alliance is composed of Supremes from all over the country. It has about 60 members and is the public force with the largest number of Supremes in Dragon Country. After joining the Supreme Alliance, all the Supremes can enter the ancient secret realm owned by the Supreme Alliance. Consume crystal cores in exchange for Supreme-level props that are difficult to buy in the outside world, and exchange experiences and insights with other Supremes in the Enlightenment Pool, etc., and be protected by the Supreme Alliance outside. Correspondingly, after joining the Supreme Alliance, every year the Supreme members of the Alliance must complete a task for the Alliance. The task can be freely chosen. After saying this, the golden-haired Golden Lion Supreme took out a transparent sphere and continued, "If you have no questions, please touch the treasure with your hands to detect your realm attributes and enter your identity information." He threw it lightly, and the transparent sphere floated up and hovered quietly in the air. The Eagle Eyes couple raised their hands first and said, "We have no doubts and are willing to join the Supreme Alliance." The transparent sphere automatically floated over and hovered in front of the Hook Eyes Supreme couple. They all placed their hands on the transparent sphere. The transparent sphere emitted a soft white light, and after a while, a virtual panel appeared in the sky. SSS Level Vulture Template. Attribute, Gold. Realm, Supreme Level 2. After the Eagle Eyes Supreme couple finished checking and entering information, the other 3 pairs of Supremes began to check and enter information. SSS Level Demon Plant Template Attribute, Wood Realm, Supreme First Level. SSS Level Python Template Attribute, Water Realm, Supreme Level 2. SSS Level Nether Disc Template Attribute, Dark Realm, Supreme First Level. There was some disappointment in the eyes of the Golden Lion Supreme. Templates of these attributes were all street stuff, very ordinary, not surprising at all in the Supreme Alliance. There were many templates of these attributes. To be able to cultivate to the Supreme level, one must at least have an SSS level template, that is, SSS level qualifications. There are very few Supremes with SS level templates. After these people finished testing and entering their information, it was King Kong Supreme and his wife who came next. SSS level Diamond Template Attribute, Gold Realm, Supreme Level 3. There was no trace of emotion in the heart of the Golden Lion Supreme. But when he set his eyes on Yun Bing, the smile appeared on his face, a hint of heat flashed in his eyes, and he said with a smile, "Supreme Kun Peng, you are here, are you willing to join our Supreme Alliance?" Yun Bing nodded, "Yes." The Golden Lion Supreme laughed out loud and said happily, "This is great news. I have invited Kun Peng Supreme several times before, but he rejected me every time. Kun Peng Supreme has finally figured it out and wants to join the organization." "Hey, Supreme Kun Peng is coming alone. Isn't the other Supreme Kun Peng coming along?" Yun Bing was a little impatient. "What do you mean you can come alone? my husband is right next to us. Can't you see him? The Golden Lion Supreme looked towards Xiaoyi, and when he saw the overly young face, he smiled. Supreme Kunpeng just likes to joke. This is your student, right? Chapter 325. Secretary is responsible for work, nothing else. Chapter 325. Secretary is responsible for work, otherwise. Xiaoyi was looked down upon. Yunbing's voice turned cold and he snorted. Are you kidding? Do you think I know you well? Don't waste your time here. We didn't join the Supreme Alliance to listen to your nonsense. Qi and Yunxi are twin sisters. They look exactly the same. Even the details of their bodies are almost the same. Even a few hairs are almost the same. They are beautiful and have good figures in Dragon Kingdom. I have the honorary title of the Twin Kings of Kunpeng. Naturally, they are sought after and coveted by many men. Many men want to win the beauty. The bolder ones even want to get both sisters. Those below the Supreme have lustful desires but not the courage, but those above the Supreme are different. There are several high-level top Supremes who have ideas about these sisters and are attracted by their graceful figures. From time to time, they will invite them to dinners, parties, swimming, etc. This Golden Lion Supreme is one of them. Being scolded, the Golden Lion Supreme laughed and said, Supreme Kunpeng, please check so that we can enter the information. The transparent sphere flew in front of them. Yunbing signaled Xiaoyi, and then they both placed their hands on the transparent sphere. The transparent sphere emitted bursts of soft light, but unlike the others, the light changed from soft to strong and then to dazzling. With a bang, the transparent sphere broke into pieces. Fuck, this great beauty is so bold. She destroyed someone's treasure in front of me. As expected of the Queen Kunpeng, she has a fiery personality and a hot temper. She fights violence with violence, and even ignores the Supreme Golden Lion. I didn't believe that young man and his wife just now, but now I believe it a little bit. Well, for provoking the Golden Lion Supreme within the Supreme Alliance, the Kunpeng Supreme will suffer. Most pairs of Supremes in the early stage of the Supreme realm were shocked and began to gloat over the other's misfortune. The Golden Lion Supreme stood up suddenly, but there was no anger on his face. Instead, he was full of surprise. Supreme Kunpeng, your information is too vast. Please test it again. The one just now was a basic version of the testing tool. Please use this upgraded version of the testing tool. These testing tools have a lifespan and are difficult to make in general. The basic version is sufficient. Not only did he not blame Yunbing, he took out a blue sphere that was larger than the transparent sphere and threw it lightly. The blue sphere automatically flew in front of Yunbing and hovered quietly in the air. Xiaoyi looked at the Golden Lion Supreme in surprise. This guy has some brains and is not the kind of mindless trash who would target you. Yunbing said disaffectedly, TSK, I hope your detection tool is of some use. Yunbing and Xiaoyi put their hands on it. The blue sphere emitted a soft blue light, and then the blue light became dazzling. The light shone out, illuminating the entire hall with incomparable brilliance. A crisp cracking sound was heard, and the blue light disappeared without a trace in an instant. A virtual screen appeared above a blue sphere with a huge crack. Template. Attributes, space attribute, dark attribute. Realm. Supreme level 3. Template. Attributes, space attribute, dark attribute. Realm. Venerable realm level 9. Looking at the three big question marks, everyone present was stunned, even the Golden Lion Supreme was stunned. Template, what template is this? Is there a possibility that the template level of Supreme Kunpeng is above SSS level? Damn, it's really possible, but what level is above SSS level? Above the SSS level is the myth level. But does this level really exist? The detection tool also has the function of detecting whether the two people are contractors. The detection tool did not give any warning, which means that the two are in a contractor relationship. Holy shit, Supreme Kunpeng and that young man are really husband and wife. Several Supreme couples at the scene were shocked. The Golden Lion Supreme looked at Yunbing with a fiery gaze. And his heart also became hot. His breathing became heavy, and he said, Supreme Kunpeng, I already know your template information. There is no need to test it again. I will explain your special situation to the leader. You don't need to enter it into the cloud system. From this moment on, you have successfully joined the Supreme Alliance. As the admissions director, I am in need of a secretary. Or an assistant. Your level 3 Supreme is just right for me. Are you willing? Your young husband will be my secretary. Secretary? Yunbing sneered. I'll be a secretary when I have something to do, and I'll be a secretary when I have nothing to do? You want to fuck me? Sorry, I'm not interested in your assistant position. The face of the Golden Lion Supreme darkened. Supreme Kunpeng is overthinking. I asked you to be my secretary purely for work. I can't force you to do anything. Yunbing waved his hand and said, Okay, now that you've successfully joined, bye. She took Xiaoyi's hand and went outside. The face of the Golden Lion Supreme was as black as charcoal. Ding Kong Supreme sneered, said hello, and then the two of them followed Yunbing out. Inside the Supreme Alliance, there are more than 10 areas including the secret area, training area, combat area, mission area, rest area, etc. Each area is very large, but sparsely populated. The most common people are not the Supremes, but the staff of the Supreme Alliance. Cleaners, greeters, trimmers, maintenance workers, window service staff, etc. are not the Supremes of the Supreme Realm. They are all in the Grand Master Realm, the Venerable Realm, and the Great Venerable Realm. The people who work here, in addition to being highly capable, basically have some connection with the Supreme Beings in order to be able to work here. Yunbing and Xiaoyu walked towards the secret realm area. The window staff introduced that there were more than 100 ancient secret realms, 20 of which were open to the public and could be entered without consuming crystal cores. The other 80+ secret realms required consumption of points or crystal cores to enter. Points: the Supreme can only obtain points by completing tasks. In front of the secret realm teleportation array, in the window, the staff introduced the characteristics of these secret realms one by one. Each secret realm has its own attributes and characteristics. For example, in the ancient secret realm of fire, there are various powerful fire beasts, as well as various precious and rare fire cultivation resources. Of course, the ancient secret realm of fire doesn't only have fire beasts. There are also beasts of other attributes, such as water-attributed beasts that counter fire. It's just that fire beasts make up the majority of the total number of beasts. Respected Supreme Lord, these are 2 secret realm conventions. Once you enter the secret realm, you must not violate the secret realm conventions, otherwise, your entry into the secret realm will be restricted. If you seriously violate the conventions, you will not be allowed to enter the secret realm again. Yunbing found the ancient secret realm at the spatial coordinates of 7, and discovered that this was an ancient secret realm that could be entered without using a crystal core. Xiaoyu smiled. It was so easy to get in. Okay, let's go to the dark attribute secret realm now. 10. After taking the secret realm convention, Yunbing and Xiaoyu walked around the window and came to the cross-border teleportation array. The teleportation array began to buzz, and the surrounding space shook and shattered. With a swish, a beam of light flashed, and the two were teleported away and disappeared on the teleportation array. Chapter 326, Alliance Leaders Iran. The door of the Supreme Alliance Leaders Hall was closed, and a wooden bar indicating the day of rest was hung next to the door. A beautiful girl in a yellow dress stood on tiptoe and looked around stealthily. When she saw that there was no one around, she jumped into the window and came into the hall. I smelled Master's aura. She must have ended her retreat. After entering the hall, she became calm and no longer acted sneakily. She wandered around the hall casually like a master. Master is not on the first floor. Let's go up to the second floor to check. No outsiders allowed? I'm not an outsider. Seeing a sign saying no outsiders allowed hanging at the stairs, Poppyway Xiangling ignored it and went straight to the second floor. When I got to the second floor, which was the private office area, I still didn't see anyone. She passed the second floor and climbed the stairs to the third floor. There was a forbidden barrier at the entrance of the stairs, preventing outsiders from going to the third floor, but Huangfu Xiangling walked past it as if she didn't see it and came to the third floor. The third floor of the Alliance Leaders Hall is a rest area, which is the personal rest area of the Supreme Alliance Leader. On the sofa in the living room, there were 3 pieces of clothing, a purple dress and 2 pairs of underwear. Huangfu Xiangling's beautiful eyes lit up. She walked over, picked it up and put it to her face to feel it. The next moment she smiled, and said happily, "It's warm, this was just changed yesterday. Master has indeed ended his retreat." She gently put her clothes back in place, then tiptoed to the bedroom, hunched over, and held her head high. She gently opened the door, leaned her little head over to look inside, and immediately little stars popped up in her eyes. And she rushed over with a smile. In the bedroom, under the hanging purple gauze, on the bed, the thin sheet was kicked aside. Next to the sheet was a beautiful lady in white, naked, lying on her side with her long legs curled up. She has an excellent body and a very hot body, but her beautiful queen face is very pure and her temperament is very clean. At first glance, you will feel that this is a pure fairy who is not worldly and is spotless. Huangfu Xiangling closed the door gently, walked to the bed quietly, moved a stool and placed it under the bed next to the pillow. Then sat on it, supporting her chin with both hands, staring at the pure and beautiful face of the queen with her big eyes without blinking. So beautiful. I really want to have it. It would be great if I could be with Master forever. It would be great if I could sign a contract with my master. I feel so happy when I am with Master. She muttered to herself as she kept watching, and slowly she felt sleepy and fell asleep with her head resting on the edge of the bed. While sleeping, Huangfu Xiangling felt herself being picked up and placed on the soft bed, which was filled with her favorite smell. Unconsciously, crystal clear saliva flowed from the corners of her rosy mouth, ran across her white chin, and dripped onto the pillow. Under the bed, Ziran, a leader of the Supreme Alliance who had just woken up, had a few black lines on her beautiful forehead. She felt the urge to wake up Huang Fu Xiangling, but after hesitating, she picked up a tissue and wiped it gently. Alas, she is a poor child, which is why she is so dependent on me. And I'll just rely on her. Xiangling has a deviant sexual orientation and often wants to have sex with me. What should I do? Alliance leader Ziran looked a little worried. He walked straight into the bathroom without even putting on any clothes and started to take a shower and wash up. If Huapui Xiangling was not asleep, she would definitely not take a bath at this time. Otherwise Huapui Xiangling would most likely rush in and jump into the bathtub to take a bath together. They are both women, and they are master and disciple. Under normal circumstances, it would be nothing to be seen. But this disciple likes women. Well, I've gained some weight here, but not around the waist. My height hasn't increased. I'm still 1.75 meters, after taking a bath. She changed into a purple dress, stood in front of the floor-length mirror, and looked at herself. Narcissistic ally. She has a pure face, bright eyes and white teeth, and is stunningly beautiful. No wonder Xiangling is so obsessed with me. I am just too charming. There are only two people in Dragon Country who can compare with me, Demon City Yun Shi and the Queen of Hanghouse City. At this time, a beautiful figure rushed over, stepped into her arms, and said happily, Master, you are the most beautiful in the world. At Yun Shi Empress can't compare to you. Being hugged tightly, Ziran felt a little ordered, as if offended, and gently pushed her away, saying angrily, I had something very important to ask you. Huang Fu Xiangling blinked and asked, What? Alliance leader Ziran said bluntly, Do you plan to spend your whole life with me? Don't want to sign a contract with a man? Huang Fu Xiangling nodded her little head. Yes. Master is so beautiful, and we haven't signed a contract yet. So why don't I just live with Master? Her beautiful eyes revealed a hint of ferocity as she said, None of those stinky men are good people. Don't even think about getting your hands on my master and Huapui Xiangling. They are not worthy of signing a contract with us. Alliance leaders Baran's face darkened and her heart skipped a beat just as she expected. This disciple had problems with his sexual orientation. No, we have to think of a way to get Xiangling back on track and straighten her crooked figure. Ding ding ding. At this time, the communicator sounded a prompt sound indicating that a message had been received. It was a message from the Director of Admissions, Golden Lion Supreme. Today is the day of the Supreme Alliance's expansion, which happens once every 10 years. Iran turns on the communicator and checks the information. Alliance leader, the template for the new recruit is suspected to be a mythical template above SSS level. It is likely to be, but it is not certain. The Alliance leader needs to come forward to investigate the specific information. The following is the undetailed information of the contractor. Motabase City Kunpeng Supreme. Yunbing, Template Attributes, Space Attribute, Dark Attribute Realm. Supreme Level 3. Student of Demon City Academy. Xiaoyi, Beastmaster Talent Attributes, Space Attribute. Dark Attribute Realm, Venerable Realm Level 9. Mythical Template. Oh! Ziran's rosy little mouth opened slightly, so surprised that an egg could fit in it. A mythical template is a legendary template that only exists in legends and has never appeared in reality. The highest level template that exists in reality is only an SSS level template. Wait, Yun Bing? Isn't that Yun Shi's sister from Moda? And this guy called Xiaoyi, a student? Ziran looked at the extremely beautiful girl Huang Fu Xiangling and said with a smile, Xiangling, I am not the most beautiful in the world. There are many who can compare to me. I am going to meet one of them later. Do you want to come with me? It's time to let my disciple meet some outstanding young men and let her know that men are not as rigid and traditional, ruthless and indifferent as she imagined. Mythical Beastmaster Xiaoyi, this kind of peerless evildoer who only appears once in 1,000 years. It would be great if Xiangling could be straightened out. Huang Fu Xiangling's beautiful eyes lit up, and she said excitedly, I want to go as long as I can stay with Master. I'm willing to go anywhere. Ziran. Chapter 327, The Terrifying Combat Power of the Mythical Template. Ziran waved his sleeves, opened a blue aura space door, and said softly, Our destination is a secret place. Let's go. Huang Fu Xiangling jumped in. Ziran then walked in. On the other side, 7. In the secret space node, this is a world plunged into darkness, without a single ray of light. It is dark everywhere, like the middle of the night, with only bone-chilling darkness. Xiaoyi and Yun Bing descended into a forest. It was pitch dark and they couldn't see anything. Arc at Rebute's secret realm. Yun Bing was a little surprised and said, This is a secret realm that is about to collapse and turn into a chaotic place. The chaotic rule power of the Dark Attribute is floating in the space. We can't see the surrounding environment clearly with our naked eyes. And our mental power detection has also been greatly weakened. Xiaoyi asked curiously, How many years will it take for this secret realm to completely turn into a chaotic place? Yun Bing thought for a moment and said, About 1,000 years. After 1,000 years, this secret realm will no longer be suitable for life. And even level supreme beings will not be able to enter easily. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. 1,000 years. That would be a long time in the future. Dark attribute control. Control the dark factor, which can deprive people of vision, emit death rays, stimulate people's evil thoughts, transform into a shadow and escape into the darkness, etc. Inherited to the mythical King Kunpeng template, the innate skills are stimulated. The omnipresent power of darkness around them would be a disturbance to other people and would be repelled, but to the two people who possessed control of dark attribute, it was like a fish in water. Their vision instantly became brighter, as if they had penetrated the darkness, and their vision was clearer and broader than what they could see in the daytime. After Yun Bing's space template was upgraded, an attribute was added, which is the attribute of darkness. There are indeed many dark attributed monster races here. And the highest level is. Yun Bing sensed it and said in surprise, every species of magic beasts has a supreme realm. There are 2 supreme realms in this mountain range where we are, but the realms of these supreme magic beasts seem to be stuck, and they are all only at the first level of the supreme realm. The Supreme Alliance is still as majestic as ever. The Supreme Realm magical beasts can be kept in captivity. The Secret Realm has advanced restrictions. Even if these Supreme Realm magical beasts can tear apart space, they cannot escape from this Secret Realm. Xiao Yi felt a little itchy and said, the first level of the Supreme Realm is good, should we catch 2 and raise them for fun? He took out the Secret Realm rules and regulations and looked at them. There were only 3 rules. 1. It is forbidden to cause large-scale damage to the surface of the Secret Realm. 2. Large-scale slaughter of Warcraft is prohibited. 3. It is forbidden to spy on the heart of the Secret Realm. It didn't say above that one couldn't capture or kill magical beasts. Xiao Yi thought about capturing some high-level combat forces and bringing them to the Bronze Palace Dimension World. The Bronze Palace can house magical beasts at the Saint Realm and below, and it is no problem for it to house some magical beasts at the Supreme Realm. Yun Bing looked at Xiao Yi with a strange expression, nodded and said, okay. But why bother catching these high-level monsters? It's a lot of trouble. You can just extract the fragments and crystals and catch the low-level monsters. Facing her question, Xiao Yi approached her, raised his hand and patted her perky but hard, and said with a chuckle, do you understand collecting? Maybe one day these supreme beasts can be used by me. With a wave of my hand, thousands of supreme beasts obey my command and charge towards the enemy. Just thinking about that shocking scene makes my blood boil. Yun Bing rubbed her perky butt, rolled her eyes at him and said, thousands of them? You're dreaming. There are only 10 supreme beings in the Demon City base city. If you really have thousands of obedient supreme beasts, the Demon City base city can be easily conquered by you. Xiao Yi slapped her perky butt again, but this time he hit the right side instead of the left side. He laughed and said, just tell me whether you will do it or not. The purpose of our trip is to extract the fragments of samsara resources, but it would be too monotonous to just mention the fragments. Yun Bing blared. Xiao Yi's hits just now had made her panties sink and she adjusted her panties back to their normal position and said, fuck. But before that, you have to satisfy me first. Yun Bing pouted and came over. Xiao Yi was speechless and soon felt his mouth dry. All the moisture in his mouth was taken away. He hastily pushed away Yun Bing, who was acting directly and rudely, and wiped someone's saliva from his mouth. His face darkened as he said, I noticed that you have a problem. Yun Bing was a little unhappy about being pushed away, so he moved closer and snorted, if you have any questions, we can talk about it later. I haven't had enough fun yet. Seeing her charming and beautiful face approaching quickly, Xiao Yi raised his hand and opened his palm to support Yun Bing's face, and said quickly, etc. Have you never kissed anyone before? You're so rough and awkward. You think I'm a juicer, really? Yun Bing slapped his hand away and snorted, I've lived for 1500 years, and I've only kissed you. And no more than 3 times. So what if my movements are awkward? Do you want me to kiss other people to gain some experience? Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. And there's no need. If you don't know how, I'll teach you. Yun Bing's pretty face came over again. Then hurry up, I can't stand it anymore. Xiao Yi's mouth was blocked and he gave instructions in a muffled voice. First this, then that, then this again. Yes, be gentle. Give and take. 10 minutes later, the class was over. Xiao Yi praised. You have a natural talent for this. I'll have to teach you more when I get back. Yun Bing raised his head and said proudly, that's right. But don't teach me those very indecent things, otherwise I, a supreme being, may not be able to let go of my face. Xiao Yi nodded and said, it's okay, you have no shame anyway. Yun Bing. Next, the two began to capture supreme-level magical beasts, in this extremely vast ancient secret realm of dark attribute. There are many large tribes of magical beasts. In each large tribe, there is one or even more supreme-level dark attribute magical beasts. Yun Bing is a third-level supreme realm with a mythical template. He possesses space and dark attributes, and it is easy for him to capture first-level supreme realm monsters. Space confinement. Space solidification. Confine a certain space. and everything within the space will seem to be trapped in a spatial quagmire, slowing down or being completely confined. The power of space spread out, and the innate skills were activated, instantly affecting a distance of hundreds of miles. The entire huge mountain range, with Yun Bing as the center, began to become motionless. The leaves rustling in the wind stopped. The grass bent by the wind stopped, and the wind also stopped in Midra. Including the 3 dark at reduced monster tribes in this mountain range, thousands of monsters that were shitting, practicing fighting, and eating, no matter their realm level, were imprisoned in place and could not move. The 3 supreme level monsters that were fighting and practicing to make babies were also imprisoned and unable to move. Not even a toe or an eyelash could move. Chapter 328. Unlimited captures, groups of supreme beings. The solidified space imprisoned their bodies, but their minds were still able to think. All 3 tribes, all the monsters, fell into panic and fear. Especially the monsters in the supreme realm, the panic and fear in their hearts were the greatest. In the past, once a supreme human arrived, he would seek out the supreme monsters to fight with. At this time, there must be a high-level supreme being arriving. My life is over. Damn it, humans really deserve to die, imprisoning us in this world and treating us like animals. My life is over. The 3 first-level supreme beasts, whether they were making babies, practicing, or fighting, all had a sudden change of expression, and felt something was wrong. Yun Bing looked at the imprisoned mountain range of 100 miles in length and width, and said in amazement, "It only took such a small amount of energy to achieve such an outstanding effect. The mythical template is so terrifying." Xiao Yi nodded in agreement. "It's terrifying." Yun Bing thought about it and compared it, then said, "If it was an SS level template, using this amount of energy, it could at most confine a space of 10 miles in radius, but now it has confined a space of more than 100 miles in radius. A volume of a space of more than 100 miles in radius is dozens of times, or even hundreds of times, the volume of a space of 10 miles in radius. The power of the mythical template is at least 100 times greater than that of the SSS level template." Xiao Yi released his mental power and discovered a first-level supreme monster that was imprisoned as if it was under a spell of immobilization. He summoned the bronze palace with a thought. Buzz buzz buzz. A small and exquisite bronze palace appeared in his palm. A creature capture function is activated, can capture creatures in the holy realm and below. The bronze palace released a ray of light, which was projected onto the supreme demon beast. Swish, a flash of light appeared. The monster was not immediately captured and taken into the bronze palace. Chains appeared on its body, connecting it to this world and preventing it from leaving. Yun Bing said, "This is the restriction that the Supreme Alliance has set for these supreme realm monsters. With these restrictions, they cannot tear through space and escape from this secret realm." Xiao Yi nodded, frowned, and wondered, with these restrictions, can the bronze palace work? Before he could finish his words, the bronze palace projected another red light, which instantly shone on the supreme realm monster. Crack, crack. The chains that connected the monsters and the heaven and earth broke into pieces, and finally turned into specks of light and dissipated into the air. Swish, there was a flash of light, and the first-level demon beast in the supreme realm disappeared. Successfully captured. The supreme level monster information came from the bronze palace. Xiao Yi smiled, "It's possible. At the quasi-emperor level perfect bronze palace, let alone capturing this magical beast, even if it means capturing this ancient secret realm of darkness, it can be done." Yun Bing stretched out his hand and caught the remaining 2 supreme level monsters not far in front of him. However, there was a demon beast of the supreme realm that was giving birth to a baby, and both the mother demon beast of the great sage realm were captured. "It's really an eyesore. Xiao Yi, please collect them quickly." Yun Bing opened her eyes wide and looked left and right, and even leaned forward to take a look. There was a look of curiosity on the royal sister's face, but she said words of disgust. "Collect." Xiao Yi activated the capture function of the bronze palace, including the great venerable realm magic beasts into supreme realm magic beasts. All were captured and brought into the bronze palace's dimensional world. The bronze palace has its own incomplete restriction rules that exist independently and can automatically set restrictions. Once the supreme beasts are sent in, they will never be able to come out again. Xiao Yi patted her perky breasts and said, "What's so good about this? Let's move on to the next monster mountain range." The 2 of them leapt up into the air, transformed into long rainbows, and headed towards the gigantic monster mountain range that was taller than this mountain range. The speed of flying through the air was very fast, but Yun Bing thought it was too slow. He grabbed Xiao Yi's hand and directly escaped into the space. After the energy of the space fluctuated, he moved in an instant and directly reached the top of a huge mountain range thousands of miles away. The top tribes on this mountain range are engaged in a racial war, and are all gathered at the top of the mountain. Some great and powerful monsters transformed into darkness and escaped into the shadows, strangling the shadows directly and killing the monsters. Some of the venerable realm monsters released death rays, and their eyes were like laser cannons, piercing through more than a dozen monsters of lower realms. Some great venerable realm monsters release the characteristics of darkness, which stimulate the evil thoughts of hostile monsters, causing them to lose their minds and kill indiscriminately without distinction. The largest battle scene was between 6 First Order Supreme Beasts, which were fighting each other at an altitude of 10,000 meters. The slight aftermath of the battle spread out, and the black clouds within a radius of 100 miles in the sky were completely wiped out. After escaping into the space and being at the back of the space, Xiao Yi stood next to the Supreme Realm. But nothing happened to him. This kind of Supreme Realm level battle was the first time he had seen it. He watched it with great interest and found it quite interesting. But Yun Bing was a little impatient. He waved his hand and used his innate skill, space confinement. The spatial fluctuations instantly spread to the top of the entire mountain. In an instant, all the monsters were like being hit by a spell, and were imprisoned in the same place without moving. Be it on the ground, underground, in the shadows, in the darkness, the magical beasts in the air, or the energy rays and energy handprints in the air, all have stopped. This world seemed to be frozen, becoming a chaotic and disordered art space painting. Xiao Yi, quickly collect it. There is a powerful aura coming towards us, Yun Bing said with a serious expression. Xiao Yi nodded and activated the Bronze Palace's capture function at maximum power. Buzz buzz buzz. The Bronze Palace was at the back of the space, projecting the rays of light that penetrated the space and came to the front of the space. The light was like sunlight, illuminating the entire battlefield. The green and red lights sprinkled on all the monsters. Crack, crack, crack. Restriction chains connecting heaven and earth appeared on all the monsters, but when exposed to the red light, they broke into pieces and broke into countless pieces of invalid energy, and the restrictions were lifted. Under the illumination of green light, the capture function is activated. Swish, swish. Swish, the light flashed, and the magic beasts, the Supreme Realm, a great venerable realm, the Venerable Realm, the Grand Master Realm, and the Grand Master Realm were all captured and brought into the Bronze Palace. Suddenly, above the mountains, except for the scattered energy that was frozen, all the monsters disappeared. Xiao Yi counted and found that he had captured for Supreme Realm Beasts 120 great Venerable Realm Beasts, and over 1,000 Venerable Realm Beasts is for the Grand Master Realm and Grand Master Realm and Grand Master Realm and Grand Master Realm and Grand Master Realm, and there were tens of thousands of these valuable beasts, which could be said to be a great harvest. After the capture was completed, the Bronze Palace automatically returned to Xiao Yi's palm. Yun Bing waved his hand, retracted the space confinement, and let the scene return to normal, and said, "Here it comes." With two wushas, two graceful figures flew quickly from afar and arrived in front of Yun Bing and Xiao Yi. There is a pure and innocent lady in a purple dress, and a quirky-looking girl in yellow clothes. It was Ziran and Huapwei Xiangling. Chapter 329. Ziran, Yun Bing. You are really hungry. Even through a space between them, Xiao Yi could see how pure this queen in purple was. She was different from Yun Bing's cociousness and fieriness, and also different from Yun Xi's coldness and aloofness. She was a beautiful and pure queen with another kind of temperament. The graceful girl next to her has big, round eyes that reveal a kind of liveliness and agility, and seems very quirky. The lively girl put her hands on her eyebrows like a monkey, looked around, frowned and said, "Master, there is no one here, not even a feather. Maybe you have come to the wrong place." Ziran smiled, her smile blooming like a lotus, and said, "Look down there. The aftermath of the battle has not yet dissipated." Huapwei Xiangling looked towards the top of the mountain below, and sure enough, there was a huge battle energy aftermath, indicating that a large-scale battle had just taken place there. But the strange thing was that apart from the energy aftermath, there was nothing else. Where are the monsters? Have they all been killed? Even if they were all killed, we can't take away their bodies, right? Huangfu Xiangling scratched his head, his CPU almost burning out. Ziran smiled faintly and said to the person in front of him, "Supreme Kunpeng, don't you want to come out and have a chat?" Yun Bing shrugged, pulled Xiao Yi, and came from the back of the space to the front of the space. He appeared in front of the two of them and said expressionlessly, "What's there to talk about? Don't be so narcissistic. We didn't join the Supreme Alliance just for you." Oh, Huangfu Xiangling opened her mouth slightly. There really was someone there, and she was a stunningly beautiful person, who was as beautiful as her master in terms of appearance and figure. Little stars appeared in her beautiful and lively eyes. What a beautiful lady, she likes her. Ziran smiled calmly, "Long time no see. Are you and Yun Shi okay?" Yun Bing was a little impatient. "I'm fine, what do you want to say? Tell me quickly." Xiao Yi listened to the conversation between the two and felt that they had some discordant past, and that Yun Bing was the one who suffered. Ziran got straight to the point and said, "I'm here to verify a question. The Supreme Alliance needs to input your accurate template information. Is your template level mythical?" Yun Bing snorted. "What's the matter? Do you want to fight?" Ziran's pupils shrank. It was actually a mythical level. You are still the same as before, starting a fight at the slightest disagreement. Thinking back, I had to clean up your mess a lot. I was the one who smoothed over so many consequences. Ziran was shocked and said with a look of reminiscence. The four of us sisters are now living a happy life and each of us is pursuing our own path. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Yun Bing didn't say anything this time and remained silent. The pure and innocent Lady Ziran noticed Xiao Yi standing next to her. With a look of delight she approached him and looked him up and down, frowning and asking, "Venerable Realm? Yun Bing, you are really hungry. You, who disdain men, are actually hanging out with a little brother. We are for sisters, for best friends. And we haven't signed a contract for so many years. You are the one who can do it." Xiao Yi was unhappy and said, "Hey, who are you? Don't think that just because you are pretty, you can act like a big sister and teach Sister Yun Bing a lesson. Besides, Xiao is so thick and big, how can it be small? Don't call me little brother." Yun Bing also retorted, "At least I have a man to quench my thirst, but you, I guess you're comforting yourself alone in the middle of the night." Wang Fu Xiangling's eyes widened. What these people said were all lewd words. She hurriedly hugged Ziran's white and tender arms and said, "Why do you need a man? My master has me. I won't let her be lonely." Ziran's pretty face finally showed some emotions. He was a little upset and laughed out of anger. She said, "Yun Bing, long time no see. I won't quarrel with you." Yun Bing was a little impatient and waved her hand. "Then go away now that you have finished asking questions. I don't want to see you." Ziran's expression darkened, and he said, "Well, say hello to Yunxi for me." But then Ziran took Wang Fu Xiangling's hand and left. At this moment, a huge blue light gate appeared in midair, revealing extremely powerful auras. Two teams in combat uniforms walked out of the blue light gate. Each team had 6 people, a total of 12 people in the 2 teams. The order is written on the chest of the combat uniform. Swish, before the blue light door closed, a one-eyed middle-aged man with a black eye mask walked out, and a deep and majestic voice came out of his mouth. "Sir, you have seriously violated the secret realm rules and regulations. According to the punishment regulations, you are restricted from entering the secret realm this year. Please follow us out of the secret realm." Yun Bing curled her lips and said, "You left just like that. Who are you?" A one-eyed middle-aged man released the aura of a top-level supreme being, and the 2 teams of 12 people also all released the aura of high-level supreme beings and mid-level supreme beings. He took out a token with the order engraved on it and said with a serious expression, "We are the team of the Supreme Alliance that maintains order. Please don't embarrass us. We are also following the rules. You have slaughtered the magical beasts of the secret realm on a large scale, violating the secret realm code convention regulations. We must punish you." He pointed to the blue light door and said, "You too, please come in. As long as you don't violate the convention again, you can continue to enter the secret realm next year." Yun Bing's mouth twitched. He was speechless. He rolled his eyes at Xiao Yi and said to himself, "Look at what you have done." Xiao Yi's face turned dark. He used the bronze palace to capture tens of thousands of monsters. She was so excited that he didn't think about the secret realm rules convention for a while. Xiao Yi clasped his fists and said, "Brother, can you please be flexible? We still have things to do. Give us one day and we can leave here after one day." After saying that, he took out a box of supreme level enlightenment tea from the system space and threw it to the one-eyed middle-aged man. A one-eyed middle-aged man didn't take it, but from the aroma of tea wafting from the box, he sensed what it was. He swallowed and looked at the 2 teams. The 2 supreme teams were also looking at the Wu Dao tea with fiery eyes. In order to maintain the dignity of the chief of order, he pushed the box of Wu Dao tea back with a painful heart and said, "Sorry, we are faring just and do not accept bribes." Xiao Yi's face looked ugly. He didn't even accept the supreme level enlightenment tea. It seemed that this time, he couldn't extract the crystal fragments of the reincarnation at Rebutrul's. He had to wait until next year. "I ordered them to kill the monster." At this time, a pleasant female voice sounded in everyone's ears. The beautiful figures appeared beside the crowd. When the chief of order saw that it was Ziran, he clasped his fists and said, "Greetings, leader." The 2 order teams also clasped their fists and said, "Greetings, leader." Ziran smiled and nodded, saying, "There are some problems with these monsters. I asked Yun Bing to get rid of them. It doesn't count as a violation of the secret realm rules and regulations. You can go back." The chief of order smiled, his eyes revealing admiration, and said, "Okay, leader, we will leave now." He looked at the enlightenment tea leaves in the air with some annoyance and wanted to slap himself. It would have been better if he had collected the things and left earlier. This was the enlightenment tea leaves. Now the things were not collected and the person was not punished. Retreat. He waved his hand and led the 2 order teams into the huge blue light gate and left the secret realm. Wang Fu Xiangling stared at the enlightenment tea leaves floating in the air, and Xiao Yi quickly collected them. Yun Bing said awkwardly, "See you're on, thank you." Ziran waved her hand and smiled charmingly, saying, "It's just a small matter, no need to thank me. Have we become so estranged after not seeing each other for 1,000 years?" Chapter 330 Ziran. Who doesn't have some strange attributes? Ziran's beautiful eyes were filled with memories, and she said with nostalgia, "We used to be good friends who could wear the same panties. From the time we awakened to the great venerable realm, the four of us were inseparable, bathing and sleeping together. But you didn't even tell me about the contract. And you didn't even invite me to the wedding?" Yun Bing said disdainfully. "We swore before that we would marry the same person and be good sisters for life. Now I'm marrying Xiaoyi. Are you willing to marry him?" Ziran looked at Xiaoyi's overly handsome young face, and her words were a little choked after a while. She said, "It's okay to marry the same person, but this little brother is too young and not suitable for me." Being called a younger brother again. Xiaoyi was unhappy and said, "Hey, don't think that just because you are the leader and sister Yun Bing's former best friend, you can just make up rumors and say that I am younger. You haven't seen it before, don't say I'm small. Otherwise Tao will come out and scare you to death. A man cannot be said to be incompetent or to be small." Ziran shook her head and didn't answer. Yun Bing said, "Ziran, we still have things to do. Do you want to follow us all the time?" Zerang glanced at Huang Fu Xiangling and said, "Today is my day off, so let's go wander around the secret realm together. If you need help, maybe I can help you. I've been in the Supreme Alliance for thousands of years, so I'm quite familiar with this place." Yun Bing snorted, "If you want to follow me, then follow me." Huang Fu Xiangling came over, hugged Yun Bing's white and tender arms, and said with a smile, "My name is Huang Fu Xiangling, and I am the only disciple of Master Sister Yun Bing. You are so beautiful, and your figure is so perfect, just like my master." Facing Huang Fu Xiangling, Yun Bing's attitude became gentle. She touched Huang Fu Xiangling's silver white hair and said with a smile, "You are also very cute. A white-haired Lolita. This is my husband, Xiaoyi." Yun Bing pointed at Xiaoyi who was standing next to her. Huang Fu Xiangling looked over, a look of disgust appeared on her pretty face, and she said coldly, "Hello." Xiaoyi frowned. "Is this white-haired girl sick? What's wrong with this disgusted expression?" Yun Bing frowned, looking somewhat displeased. Ziran notched and stood between the two of them, blocking Huang Fu Xiangling's sight, and said apologetically, "I'm sorry, Xiangling has experienced some bad things and is very repulsive to men." Yun Bing and Xiaoyi suddenly realized. Ziran whispered to Yun Bing, "Yun Bing, there is something I want you to help me with. I had no choice but to do what happened 1,000 years ago. I can't watch you and Yun Shi jump into a trap, even though you knew it was a trap. I can't watch my good sisters die." When the long-buried matter in his heart was brought up, Yun Bing's face turned angry and he said, "Helpless? Can helplessness just drag things out? That was Yun Shi and I's only chance to find our parents, but you ruined it. You know, for people like Yun Shi and I whose parents disappeared when we were young, no matter if it's a trap or a way to die, we have to find them and protect them even if it costs everything." As she spoke, Yun Bing's voice became sad, and mist appeared in her beautiful eyes. Since Yun Bing was not communicating in private, everyone heard what she said. Xiaoyi's face dark and he didn't expect that Yun Bing's wife had such a past. Ziran's face was filled with guilt. "I'm sorry." She added in her heart, "Even if it happens again, I will not let you die." Xiaoyi patted Yun Bing's back and said softly, "It's all over." Yun Bing turned around and hugged Xiaoyi, trembling, and said, Yeah, I lost my parents. But I still have you and Yun Shi." After hugging for a long time, Yun Bing finally calmed down, wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes, and then let go. "Considering that you helped me just now, I will help you this time with reluctance." "Tell me, how do you want me to help you?" Yun Bing whispered pridefully. Ziran smiled. Yun Bing was still the same Yun Bing, with a sharp tongue but a soft heart. She was her good sister and best friend, Yun Bing. Xiangling doesn't just hate men, there's also something wrong with her sexual orientation, Ziran whispered pridefully. Yun Bing widened her eyes and looked at Huang Fu Xiangling in disbelief. "Is this man gay?" Ziran was a little worried, and continued to whisper, "She often wants to have sex with me. And even says she wants to spend her life with me. How can that work? A woman should live with a man." Yun Bing raised an eyebrow and said in a voice transmission, "A kiss, then you gave it to her?" Ziran blushed and said in a voice transmission, "Don't talk nonsense. I didn't give it to her. Besides, how can I give it to two women?" Yun Bing thought to himself, "That's right, I don't have it with me, so it's useless to give it to me." Ziran's mouth twitched, and she transmitted her voice, "You are still the same Yun Bing, you speak without restraint, and you can say any vicious words." Yun Bing's face darkened, and he impatiently transmitted his voice, "Don't think you can be that good. You even secretly watched a movie that is not suitable for children. And narcissistic ally compared your figure with the heroine in the movie, saying that the heroine's figure is not as good as yours." Ziran's pretty face turned awkward, and she quickly changed the subject, saying, "Who doesn't have some strange attributes? Okay, let's get back to the topic. I want you to help Xiangling change her perception of men, so that she no longer hates men and her orientation can get back on track. Yun Bing was speechless, and said in a voice transmission, I am not omnipotent, how can I help? Ziran glanced at Xiao Yi, transmitted his voice to Yun Bing, and continued, I have an idea. Xiangling has a very stereotyped impression of men, because of her family experience she believes that men are cold and heartless and that rules are above all else. All we need to do is change her perception. Xiangling's surname is Huang Fu. She is the illegitimate daughter of Huang Futian, the lord of the Imperial City Lord's Mansion. Huang Futian accidentally had a relationship with a beautiful maid, Xiangling's mother. Xiangling's mother died of complications during childbirth. She was a maid. Not a formal marriage. Xiangling's identity was not recognized by the Huang Fu family. She was expelled from the family since she was a child, and had no love from her father or mother. So, she is very disgusted with her cold and heartless father, that is, men. Yun Bing nodded, looked at Huang Fu Xiangling sympathetically, and said in a voice transmission, if you have any ideas, I will help you. Ziran transmitted the message, let Xiangling and Xiao Yi get in touch with each other, let her know that not all men are cold and heartless, just change her cognition and stereotypes. Yun Bing nodded and said, okay. Xiao Yi noticed Yun Bing and Ziran flirting with each other, and was a little curious. He came over and blew into Yun Bing's small and delicate ear, and asked in a low voice, what are you doing, reminiscing about the past? Yun Bing felt his ears itchy, rolled his eyes, and said, yeah. Xiao Yi asked curiously, are you very familiar with the leader? There are 3 other people who are so familiar with you? Yun Bing glanced at the pure and innocent sister Ziran, curled her lips and said, yes, I know how many hairs she has besides her. There is Yun Xian, the queen of Hanghouse. By the way, do me a favor later. Chapter 300